In this video, I'll show you how to go from a single county to controlling an entire empire, using only the basic tactics that even my grandma would understand. And because CK3 has a ton of RNG, I've split the video up into two sections. The first run was very straightforward with almost no problems popping up, and the second run had many problems. Feel free to watch one or both. I've added timestamps for everything. Now let's look at the first run. We're going to keep it fairly simple. We're not going to use any advanced techniques, although I may from time to time discuss a few things that you might want to keep in mind if you want to do a little bit more advanced stuff. So we're going to do an 867 start date. So up here at the top, we click that. We don't want any of these. We're going to go to play as any ruler that we want. Up here in the Irish Isles, there's a lot of options, but Ormond is actually one of the best ones. I feel like just because you get a young ruler, starts at 24. Most of these other people, they're old, man. 76, so you're about to die. 52, you're about to die. Again, I don't want to start with two. We're going to start with just one. So a lot of these guys are kind of off the table. So we're going to go Ormond. And one thing to keep in mind, if you want to make sure you're getting decent stats here, like this one right here, the minus stewardship is not good. I actually don't like that. I might re-roll it just because I don't want to deal with minus steward. We really want to make sure that we can have up to 7 fiefs, and we're going to get some debuffs. There's another thing. If you re-roll this and you have a negative to your, well, I'll show you. So let's say you get some stuff here. If you don't even know what you're looking at, that's fine. But if you want to re-roll, you basically go back, go to main menu, and then you just do it again. So yeah, you basically just recycle it. You go A67, start as a new ruler, and then we'll see what we get this time. I don't want to do this too many times, but I kind of wanted to show you. So right here, we actually got 2 positives. So if you see, these are kind of highlighted in green. So this is a virtuous trait based on our religion. Not really that important. The only thing you need to worry about here is that you get a +1 piety per month, which is really good because we need piety to declare a lot of wars in the early game. So that's all we really care about. Temperate is really good as well. We get plus stewardship. Chaste is actually an amazing perk because it reduces the chances of having kids. So you would think you want to have a lot of kids. Well, for us, we want to manage our succession a little bit better. So if you have less kids, this is actually pretty good. So we're probably going to go with this. Ambitious is really good as well. Look at this, +1 across the board. So for sure, this is a really good start. I will definitely go with this. But again, if this was, say, if this had some of the red traits, which means that we would get minus piety per month, it would be outlined in red. Those you would probably want to go back and re-roll just until you get rid of all of them and make sure you have some decent ones. You know, getting plus stewardship is probably the most important in my opinion. So we're going to go and start it off. Piety. Piety is used for your religious stuff, so you can use it to reform religions. In this case, we're using it to declare wars on people of, yeah, see, we use piety to declare war on these guys. They're all insular, so same religion, you use piety. So that's why we need a bunch of piety in the beginning. Let's go through the starting moves. CK3 is a little bit complex because of the starting moves, but once you get past the starting point, it's not too bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off dealing with these on the top row. So lifestyle. For our start, because we're going to be expanding very quickly, we want to take all martial stats. So we're going to go martial, and then we're going to pick this one in the middle, mostly because of this control growth, which we'll go over in just a second. Right now, it's probably a little too much, but it'll make sense soon. So we're going to go martial, authority focus, and then we're good to go. So that's done. We need to worry about our heir not being married. That's really not important, but we are not married, which is actually very important. Now, there's a couple ways we can approach this. So we are 24 years old. We don't have any children. If we take somebody very young, we are going to have a ton of kids because we're 24. If we take a young wife, we could have, 4 or 5 boys. And that means we're going to deal with a massive succession, which is not the end of the world, but it also could be kind of a pain. So what I like to do, if you have a young character, either wait till you get married or just marry somebody who's quite a bit older, and then you'll actually have an easier time. So we're actually going to go 28 is still kind of young. I was hoping to get somebody in her late 30s or early 40s, but it looks like there's not a lot of options here. So what we're going to do in this playthrough, we're actually just going to deal with it. Let's take Alien. We'll take her. That's fine. She's not young. She's 28, but, she'll have to do for now. So we're going to probably have a lot of kids, is what I'm saying. So we'll deal with a pretty rough succession. We got that set up. Now we have to look at a couple different things. Let's look at our military. So we start with pikemen and a regiment of light horsemen. I don't really like using either of these. I mostly prefer to use bowmen and light footmen just because they're a lot cheaper to run. And when I say cheaper, I mean we don't have to pay as much to use them. So you use prestige to use these guys. These other ones are actually really expensive to use. So we're going to try and transition into mostly archers. Every county that you own, you can garrison those troops. And by garrisoning them, they actually give you a bonus. So up here, the military tab, we can click on their tab, this little recycle button. This allows us to station them somewhere. So they're going to get an attack bonus and a defense bonus, which is exactly what we want. So we'll let that run. That's good. What else we got? We don't have a court physician. We got somebody that's average. That's fine. Average is actually really good. If we didn't have anybody that would be decent at it, we would want to make sure we get somebody, which I'm going to show you next, but average is fine. We can work with that. Very, very important. So next thing, what we're going to do is we're going to deal with our court. So let's look at our court. These guys are average. They're not great. We could probably do with replacing some of these. The Chancellor is probably important and the Marshal is extremely important. So we definitely want to have a better Marshal. Doesn't look like we have anybody, so we're going to use our court system, our courtier, to get people that can replace them. So what we're going to do is we go to our courtier tab. So again, it's the courtier tab is F5 or this little blue thing, and then this middle button right here. And then we're going to set some filters here. We want to look at only adults, so we don't get any kids here. We're not marrying kids off right now. We're going to go to marital status, unmarried, and we want to look at all the females. Very important that they're female because females bring males to the court. You can only plug males into most of these. You can do females for the Spy Master, but these other 4 have to be male. So that's why we're looking at only females to marry. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then 2 family members. So we got 3 regulars and 2 family members. So let's go ahead and see what they can marry. So very important also, when we click this Find a Spouse button, we're going to go right here, matrilineal marriage. If you do matrilineal, the men will come to your court. If you don't do matrilineal, the female will go to their court and we lose control of these people. So very important to make sure you do matrilineal. We're basically finding medieval cucks. Basically, they're going to take our females' names and they're going to be, you know, yeah, basically what I said. So this guy's got 19 martial, which is actually quite good. No good prowess, so he's not going to be a good combatant, but he'll be good for a martial. So we'll take him. We could find more people for these other ones. I don't really care. Stuart's not that important for what we're doing. Chancellor, like I said, it's nice to have, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's go and do our Spy Master next. So you click on them, and then you see up here, you see Find Spouse. So you click on this empty one, and it'll bring up the search. Now, again, we want to start, make sure you do matrilineal. And then now in this case, we don't need anybody else. We just need to get really good combatants. So we're going to go all the way down here on this sort function. We're going to go down to prowess. Now this is going to find all the really strong combatants in here. So this guy's got 17 prowess. That's really good for the early game. So marry her off. Sorry, you're going to have to deal with this gigantic hunk of a man, but you know, good luck having kids with him. Next lady, matrilineal prowess. Whoever's on top, 15, that's fine. So he has a claim. The claim we can just ignore right now because we're tribal. It doesn't really matter. Let's keep going down the list. So this lady, matrilineal. Oh no, we just married her off. Sorry. We got to do our sister now. So our sister, matrilineal prowess. Now you'll notice your family members get higher priority. So you actually get different people. This guy goes all the way up to 21. Your regular courtier will generally get worse people than your family. Your family will always pull in better people. This guy's 21 prowess. That's really good. So we're going to take him. The other sister, sorry, we are whoring out our family. I apologize, but it is what it is. This is medieval times. We're going to get really good combatants. So now we got 2 people at 21 prowess. Very, very strong start. So we're good. We don't have to worry about too much else here. Let's go ahead and unpause for a second and get all these marriages going. Right? And then we're going to need to replace the marshal when he comes into the court. All these marriages will get spanned by them. And then, okay, so our wife joined. Now we need to switch her. Right now she is contributing assist ruler. She's contributing +1, +2, +3, +1, +1, which is okay. We could do that if we want. I think right now we'll probably switch it to chivalry right now. So instead of only getting, you know, whatever we're getting there, most of those are kind of not that important. We want to have good chivalry in the early game because that's going to help us get more levies faster. It'll help us during combat, things like that. So your wife basically boosts your main character stats based on whatever you set her to. So right now we're going to do chivalry, and soon when we get more land, we're going to need to switch her to manage domain. So we would go from only be able to take 5. Now we can take 6. So pretty important to make sure you toggle your wife based on what you need. that's going to be good for us. Prowess is better than martial skill only for people that are going to be fighting. So our martial skill is good for the martial. So let's go ahead and swap our martial out here. So you can see this guy's only got 10. We're going to swap him out for this guy that we hired. He married into our court. He's 19. So now we got a 19. Obviously, higher numbers better. But more importantly, prowess is very important. If you go to the military tab, you go to champions. These guys, every prowess gives 100 damage. So if you're looking at the difference between what we started with, we had guys that were doing 8 prowess. This guy is almost triple. So he's going to do almost triple the damage. So we're talking a massive, massive difference. So yeah, prowess is really important for your champions. Not really important at all for anything else. You don't need prowess to be a marshal or a chancellor. It's totally useless. But for champions, you want to have good prowess. So you want to have a nice mix of everything. Off to a good start here. I like the RNG that we got. Now, obviously, when you run yours, you're never going to get the same courtier that we have. You're never going to have the same starting person. These are all RNG. If you don't like it, you can always restart and just try it again. So now what we need to do is see who's the weakest of our neighbors that we can start taking land from. You always want to just check and see who's an easy target. Now, none of these are particularly easy, and the problem that we're going to run into is if we could declare war, these other guys are just going to come in and raid us. And if we get raided, they're going to start stealing our people. They'll kill some of our courtier, all that stuff. So that's kind of a tough one. What we're going to do is we're going to sit tight for just a little bit. If you look up here, our bowmen that we recently hired, they don't have any troops in them. They have 5 out of 500, and they're gaining 50 a month. So if we wait 10 months, we'll have a full complement. We probably don't need to wait a full 10 months, but we'll wait a little bit. Now, in the early game, I recommend taking anything that gives you prestige. Right now, we can get 75 gold or 350 prestige. We definitely want prestige. It's a lot more useful for what we're trying to do. So definitely take that. So we're going to be boosting up our bowmen here ever so slowly. And what we'll see is they'll probably start raiding each other soon. And once somebody goes off, they send their army to go raid. We'll just attack them because they won't have anybody to defend. Oh, there you go. See, they popped out some raiders. So this would be a good target for us because they're out. They're not going to be defending. So what we're going to do is that you generally want to spawn as close to their capital as you can. So we're going to move our rally point. You can move the rally point easily. You just click on it and then you right click where you want it to be. And then that's where your troops will go. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and declare war on these guys. So declare war. We're only wanting the county because that's all they have. We'll raise our army, let him get out of the way. Oh, he's actually going back to defend. Coward. I thought you were going to raid. We'll push him off. That's not a big deal. Yeah, we just absolutely destroyed these guys. 61 losses, 227. We got a little bit of fame and whatnot. So we're just going to sit on it, take the land, and then we'll be good to go. Now, one thing we do, we have to be careful to not get raided ourselves because we don't want to lose our wife. We don't want to lose other people. So every time you win combat with somebody that has knights in their party, there's a chance that you could capture them. So you can see right now we got this guy, captured him in battle, 17 years old. He's only got 3 prowess. He's pretty much useless and we can't sell him. If he was worth something, this thing would be highlighted and you could sell him. But yeah, he's basically useless. So he's just going to rot in our dungeon and then he'll die there. All right, so wife is pregnant. Nice. So we're having a baby. So that'll be our first kid. Hopefully it's a girl. The more girls we have early on, the better, because that means we can just keep spamming kids. And girls are very, very useful. Boys are useful, but girls are a lot more useful in the long run because you don't have to deal with succession. Now, we did take more people, so right away we could end the war right now if we wanted to, but I recommend taking a look at who you captured right when you end. So right now we have the chiefess and we have, looks like a kid. We can't really do anything with these people. We'll probably just leave them be and then we'll end the war. We'll take the land. So, okay, so we got land. We have a couple options here. Now, this is not something that we plan on keeping in the long term. We want to keep lands that are part of a contiguous duchy. So Munster is a duchy that we want to own, and Connacht, I'm probably butchering it, and Munster. We want to own all these lands. Anything outside we'll end up giving away when we hit our domain limit. But for now, we'll just keep it. So I don't need to do anything to this. We'll just leave it alone. All right, so this guy's actually being raided, and his army is really weak right now because he's getting slammed. So this might be a good opportunity. One thing that I like to do in the early game, if you can take a bite out of these double, so these people that own 2 pieces of land rather than just one, like this guy owns Ailech and Athlon, he owns 2, this guy owns 2, this guy owns 2. If you can attack them early, it's good because you have a truce. You can't break the truce. So rather than waiting around for a bunch of time, like if we take all these singles and then we go after the doubles, we're going to have a long downtime where we're waiting. So attacking these guys, this guy's pretty weak. We've got more troops and better troops. Let's take Thomond. This is definitely one that we want to keep long term as well. So let's go ahead and raise all, send them in right away. And let's actually double check and see who's our marshal is doing it. That's fine. He can lead. Yeah, he can lead the troops. All right, so we're going to slam into these guys. They just got weakened by being attacked by somebody else as well. So this should be a pretty easy battle for us. Yeah, we got it. We're going to take the capital. We'll take his land, and then we should be in great shape. Pretty easy battles. There we go. So we got a player heir. It's a daughter. Perfect. Okay, we're going to keep having kids. The daughter's going to get booted from being an heir, but that's fine. She'll get married off and she can be useful to the empire another way. This guy is actually decent prowess. He's not great, but he's decent. He's also wounded. So once that goes away, his prowess is going to go up +2. He's actually a +12. So we might want to take this guy in. I always like to keep an eye out for either we can sell people to make money. Yeah, these guys aren't worth anything. Or we can bring him into the fold so we can use them in other ways. So in this case, we can use him as a combatant. So let's recruit him. You do that by clicking on this button right here, negotiate release, and then click recruit down here. And he's going to join us. There we go. We got it. So yeah, in this case, we are just going to end it. No big deal. We'll disband our army. Now, very important. This is the thing that I always struggle with remembering. I always forget this. Every time you take a piece of land that you want to keep, go back to your council and then switch your marshal from whatever he was doing over to increase control in counties. So we're going to increase control in this county. May have to wait a day. There he goes. As I mentioned before, we want to take those perks that increase our control. So right now we get 0 control out of 100, which means we're getting minus levies and minus taxes. So we're only getting half the men that we should and 0 money from this county. We want to get that up to 100 as fast as possible so we can get all the troops and all the money. It'll go up on its own naturally because there's a little bit of base value. We also got that 0.3 from the authority focus, the thing we picked in the very beginning. And then we're also increasing control in county because of our counselor. So this makes a huge difference. If we didn't have any of these, we'd be going up 0.1. We're actually going up 1.2. So it's like 12 times as fast. It's a massive, massive difference. And it's going to go up even faster once we get the next unlock. This is going to increase it by 0.3 again. So it's, again, we're going to get our land online very fast. And we're going to go from 1 county to owning 7 very quickly. So again, having this is very important in the early game, and after that, you probably don't ever need to worry about control again. Very rarely. All right, so what's next? We took this guy down from 2 to 1. If we could take this guy down from 2 to 1, that would be really nice as well. But he's got 1,000 troops. It's probably not worth it, struggling with that. So let's look at maybe Desmond. Yeah, this is a pretty easy target for us. We can definitely take this. So we're just going to keep as fast as you can expand, as long as there's nobody in your neighbor that's raiding you, just keep going. Keep pushing, keep pushing. This is going to be a good battle. We kind of have similar numbers, but we have better troops. The reason we can win battles like this is because in the beginning, we took a lot of extra men-at-arms. These men-at-arms are really, really, really good. Most likely, the enemy has a lot of levies. Yeah, they have a lot of levies, so they're not performing as well as we are. We did take a prisoner, so let's check and see if he's any good. This guy is garbage. Yep, get him out of here, man. Yeah, we don't even want to look at him. All right, so another battle. Again, they're just going to go back and forth until it's GG. Oh, and I keep forgetting to station the men-at-arms. We'll have to do that. Yeah, a lot of the stuff I'm not even going to go over because when you get a bunch of these pop-ups, it's kind of hard to know which one to do. Just know that 90% of the pop-ups, maybe even more, maybe like 95% of the pop-ups are kind of irrelevant. They don't really do much, so you can kind of click whatever. Some of them are actually pretty important, but most of them are not. All right, so we captured their leader. Yep, so we captured the enemy war leader, which means we can end the war immediately if we want. But this early in the game, I don't recommend doing that. We're not really in a rush, and we want to build up our resources as best we can. So if we go to our prisoners, we can ransom him off for 50 gold. That's a lot. We only got 124 right now. So we'll definitely ransom him off, which means the war goal is going to go back down to 50. Yeah, so back down to 50. But it's fine. We're in control of this war. We're going to win it. So we'll end up getting the money and we'll get his land. Whereas if we ended the war right there, we wouldn't get the money, but we would still get the land. Oh, we captured another. So we're just taking all their people. Yeah, we cut this guy's foot off. That's kind of cool. So this guy is terrible. They're all terrible. Actually, this guy's decent steward. Our steward right now has 10, I believe. So we could, oh no, he's 11. So we could replace him with 14. I probably won't. 2 or 3 is really not a big deal. But yeah, we could. Oh, actually, that reminds me, council, we could gain higher taxes. It's probably useless in the early game. So we can just go develop your capital and just leave it on there. So that's no big deal. All right, we got to finish this siege. Hopefully they don't whittle us down to where we don't have enough troops to actually siege them down. So we have an available perk. Again, we want to go serve the crown because we're going to need that control growth. So we're going to go put that point into that. So we're going to get a plus 0.3 growth per month. So before we were at 1.2, now we're getting 1.5. Again, it's even faster. So we're going to get all of our lands online pretty quickly. We didn't get any prisoners, any new ones, so we're just going to end the war. I don't want to keep fighting this guy. We need to chill now because our army just got beat to hell. Yeah, we have like no troops left. So we're probably going to just chill for a little bit. And I'm actually going to switch our increased control. Let's switch it to Desmond. Oh, interesting. It actually started with 25. No, let's put it back. Yeah, you don't have to micromanage it. It's really not a big deal. You just want to make sure you have increased control going as long as you have stuff that you plan on keeping long term. Let's start looking at our next target. We can't do anything now though, because like I said, we got to recoup. Or yeah, you know what? Let's not even look. Our troops need some time to recoup. We got 1,200. We're actually in a spot where I think we can lash out again. Let's start going after some of the bigger ones. Like I said, I want to split these guys up if we can. So 1,200 there. This guy's got 1,300 there. These other ones are easy pickings. Oh yeah, not that guy though. He's got a strong ally. So we'll probably leave him alone till he dies off or something. Let's go take this one because we are going to hold this long term as well. So let's go ahead and take... Doesn't really matter. We're going to own them both. So we'll just go for the closer one. It's really not a big deal. We'll move our rally point as close to their capital as we can. And then we'll just immediately move them. This guy's raiding. Oh, you know what? Can we catch him? If we can catch him off guard, that means... Oh yeah, look at that. We're going to catch him off guard. Beautiful. Okay, so just so you know, I wasn't planning that, but anytime you go to battle with somebody, if there's no fort or no castle, whoever gets to that tile first gets defender's advantage. So if you look at this piece of land, this is a wetlands, and it's actually, there's some attack modifiers, and there's also some defender's advantage. So we get a defender advantage of +5. You get retreat losses, so they're going to take more losses from retreating. We get basically, you want to be on defense most of the time, especially if it's a good piece of land like wetlands, the hills, things like that. So we got there before they did, so we actually have a huge advantage against them now. So this is, uh-oh, our brother died. Oh no. Oh, and I forgot to marry him off too. That was dumb. All right, so he's gonna retreat back. Let's go siege the capital down and get this thing done. Oh, our dad died. We didn't get any stress from it there, so no love lost there. And we did actually get a book. Nice. Anytime you see, you got to keep an eye out because you won't really get pop-ups for it sometimes. But if you go to your inventory, you can put these items, you can equip them. So right now we're getting a +1 prowess and we're getting piety per knight. We've got a decent amount of knights, so this will actually make quite a big difference. Yeah, we're getting 0.9 from that. That's actually quite a bit. So we'll take the land. So be it, disable. We got another piece of land that we can start working on. So this one is starting at 0. Let's actually move our marshal over to this one. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're getting decent control in all of these. Yeah, this one's going to be 1.5. Okay, so we almost own all of our core land. We have 3 more to go. We can actually take Brifne right now. Brifne? I have no clue. I'm butchering all these names. 100%. So I'm sure I'll see it in the comments. So let's go ahead and do this. So we want to try and take these lands as soon as we can, because the sooner we get the lands that we want to hold long term, the sooner we get all of our levies in place, all of our tax income in place. Oh, we're getting raided. There's no way we get there in time either. I'm going to cancel the siege and see if we can get there in time. Actually, if they get that raid off, they could take some of our... Yeah, there's no way we get it off. And we ran into these guys again, unfortunately. That sucks, man. Okay, so this, I told you don't want to get raided, and this is exactly why. So captured and siege. So they captured some people. They killed a bunch of our courtier in the siege, and our counselor died. So they did a huge amount of damage just from that one little thing. It's so stupid, man. On the bright side, we do have a better steward, but we're going to hunt these guys down. We're not letting them get away with it. Nobody raids us for free. You will definitely pay. And if we capture anybody, we're going to execute them immediately. Actually, we might not, actually. Maybe that's not a good idea, but... All right, oh yeah, we got him. We stack wiped him. So stack wipe means they didn't have a chance to retreat. We just took out their whole army. And then anytime somebody raids you or has done raiding, they have a certain amount of loot and prestige on them. If you capture them, you get to take everything that they had. So we got all that back. All right, back to the task at hand. We got to take this land. We did get another perk. So we could also take strict organization. This one increases control growth in county by 20%. That's pretty good as well. So we were at 1.5 before up here. We are now at, we're still at 1.5. Let's see, does it need time? Yeah, maybe I misunderstood with that. So let's go finish this war. We'll go back to it. Oh, they took our sister. That's fine. We'll get her back when we take their land. We captured the leader. Again, we don't want to end it that way most of the time. We probably want to get the money. This guy's, he's going to give us 48 gold. So we'll probably just let the siege progress. Actually, what we should do is let's see if there's another easy target. How many troops does this guy have? Oh, he's really weak right now. Yeah, he's really weak right now. Shoot, we should probably actually take him out. No, I want the money. I'm greedy. We want the money. So we're gonna wait until he has a little bit more gold. We'll wait a few more months to tick by because we need to do the siege anyways. And then we'll see if this goes up. Yeah, he's got 49 there. He's got 50, so we can let him out. You generally want to wait so you can maximize the value there. Just wait a few months till they have all the money, and then you can get the full value out of it. So we're going to actually start increasing our rank now. So we own... Oh, we just lost our Chancellor. Whoops. So these guys, all the ones that we have for Chancellor are actually pretty bad. They only go up to 9. That's not that great. Let's see if we have anybody we can marry off. Oh, yes, our mom. We can whore our mom out, unfortunately. Sorry, mom. It only goes up to 12. That's not great. It's because she's old. She's 49, so the amount of people that are willing to marry her are a lot less. But that's okay. 12 is not bad. So we'll let her marry him. He'll come into our court. And this is what I was saying before, how females are much more important in the early game, especially because you can fill your seats easier by going out shopping. Okay, so we did take some prisoners. Let's see if we can ransom anybody. Yeah, see, we took all their money, so they don't really have enough. Sometimes the ransom will show up here. I usually like to do it manually because there are times where it just won't show you. Like this lady, they only have 5 gold right now, but they can go up to 25. So we're just going to leave that. Yeah, same thing. They only have 5. We can get up to 10. You know, let's ransom the kid off. We'll at least get 5 from them because the kid we don't want anyways. And then we're going to take their land. They're basically landless now, so that lady may not even be worth anything. Yeah, she ain't worth anything now. And she's still married to this guy. If you recruit a female into your court and the male does not automatically go, you have to pay for him to join your court. So generally females are good if they're single. Oh, see, like this lady's going to be good. So her husband is going to die soon. He's 61 years old. So we're actually going to recruit her into the court right now. And as soon as he dies, we can replace him. So let's go ahead and do that. So she is very welcome into our court. All these other people are terrible. I'm really only looking for prowess right now, but everybody that we've captured is bad. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Now, very important, as soon as you go over your domain holding limit, there's a couple things you need to do. So we could increase our title. So right now, our highest title is a duchy, or sorry, basically a county. So each of these are counties. If you go up 1 level, it means this Duchy of Munster owns all 4 of these counties. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create that title. If it exists already, you can take it from other people. If it doesn't exist, then you create it. Now, this is a good way to gain lots of prestige in the early game, and it doesn't cost that much. It's only 87 gold, and we get 300 prestige, so really, really strong. So we're going to do that. That doesn't give us an extra domain holding, but it does allow us to have more champions. So that increased our champion limit up a little bit higher. You do get some benefits going up. Once we go to the next rank, though, once we go to the kingdom rank, that's going to be where we're going to get extra benefits. We'll have a higher domain limit and a few other things associated with it. But we have 1 piece of land over, so we have 6 out of 5. So we are getting a debuff from this. You generally don't want to go over unless it's like absolutely necessary. And in this case, this is land that we have that we don't want to keep long term anyway. So we're just going to give it away. We could grant it to somebody in our court. We could give it to somebody who's a guest, and we can immediately take them into our court, or we could just find some random person, just RNG generate them. So let's just do Noble of Irish Culture. This guy just pops up out of thin air and we get a free... Oh, nice. He's got 12 prowess. He's actually decent. The only problem here is he's ambitious, so he might rebel later, but we're going to be giving him a ton of land, so he'll be easy to control. So now if you look at our domain holding went to 5 out of 5. Here's one thing to keep in mind. Make sure you have to be very careful when you give away land. So right now, I made sure that we started the duchy title first before we gave away the land. You can only give away land and have them as your vassal if it is a lesser title. So right now, before we started the duchy, we were only a county title, right? So we only owned counties. If we gave away the county to somebody, they would have become independent. So very important, do not give away same rank as you. Do not ever give away the same rank as you. You have to be a higher rank and then give away a lesser rank, and then they will become your vassal. So that's why we became a duchy first, and then we gave away the county to this guy. If we did not start the duchy and gave it away, they'd just be independent. We'd have to capture them again in the future. It's a huge pain. So I've done it. Everybody does it. You only do it once, and then you learn the mistake the hard way. And then as right now, if we were to give away a duchy title, they would become independent because we are a duchy right now. We need to become a king to give away a duchy. You have to be an emperor to give away a kingdom, and so on and so forth. So that's basically how that works. We're in very good shape. We own most of the land that we want to keep. We can't take any more of these guys because we have a truce. Anytime you go to war with somebody, if you are the aggressor, you have a 5-year truce with them, and you can't attack them without taking a massive, massive penalty. So like if we attack these guys, we would lose fame, we would lose 250 prestige, we would, our general opinion, everybody would hate us. It'd be really bad. So you generally don't want to break a truce unless you just don't care. So these two guys, we want to take their land. Oh, we can actually go to war with this guy, even though we just went to war. So this is another important concept in CK3. Anytime you have alliances, truces, anything like that, it's between people, not between kingdoms. So we attacked this guy and took his land. The truce was between our ruler and their ruler. So if their ruler dies, that truce is gone. You can immediately attack them again. So even though we just took land from them, we can go and attack them again because the truce is between people, not the land, not the government, not the title. It's between the actual people. So if the people die, everything is null. So basically, we are going to go to war with them right away and just instantly. We got a little bit lucky with the RNG on that. We don't have to wait. These are the last two pieces of the land that we want to keep. Really, really fortunate with that. All right, we should stack wipe. Yep, we got a stack wipe and we got another prisoner. Oh man, this is terrible. What is this guy?
What the hell is even that?
Oh, he's a stuttering Stanley with no leg. Got it. What we want to do is keep an eye on who is our lowest ranking champion. So if you scroll down your list, you see right here, this guy has a helmet. This guy does not have a helmet. So it stops right here. So we actually have people in here fighting for us that are 4. That is awful. Yeah, we need to get rid of this guy. So we're actually going to recruit this 10. 10 is not great, but it's better than 4. So we'll do that. So he's going to join the court. And then let's see what happens here. The 4 dropped off. Now the 4 is not the minimum. The 9 is the minimum now. So anytime we see a prisoner that's higher than 9, we should definitely recruit them and then make sure we're using higher tier champions. So very important to do that. The other thing we can look at is marital status, unmarried, and men. But we want to look at old people, all the geezers. So the oldest guy we have here is 48. That's actually not that old. But let's say, for example, if this guy was, say, 60 years old or 70 years old and he was unmarried, this is really, really good. So what you'd want to do is you want to marry him off right away to the youngest person you can find that's legal age. If you do like a 1-year-old or a 5-year-old, they actually don't get married. They have an arrangement. It's a betrothal. And that betrothal is basically a contract saying that we agree to marry you when she's of legal age. It's basically useless because the guy will be dead before they turn age. So always make sure you go for adults. 21 would be the youngest. If this guy was 70 years old, we'd be marrying a 21-year-old to him. Once he dies, now you have an unmarried 21-year-old female. It's just another way to pick up these little, you can get another person, a good champion. You can get another good council member, whatever you want to use them for. So always keep an eye out for that. This guy's too young. 48's too young. He's not going to die anytime soon. The other thing I was going to say is you probably want to marry off your champions too, because they are likely to die in battle. So let's go through and see if there's any. Now, most of these people were married because we got them through marriages. This guy is not married though. So let's go ahead and find him a young wife. I don't care who they marry. I don't care about stats. None of this is relevant. Just ignore all of it. Just look at how old they are. If this guy is likely to die either from old age or from battle, marry him off to somebody young, because the younger they are, the better candidate you'll get when you replace them. So we're going to go a nice young lady. This guy doesn't have a spouse either. So same thing. We're going to find him a nice young lady. Let's keep this going. We'll take the land here. One thing we also needed to keep in mind is we can hire more men at arms. I actually think we should do that. We'll take a light footman. So light footmen are good because they counter heavy infantry. The AI loves to use heavy infantry, so I find them to be pretty good. And I just like archers. Just imagine these guys being fiend champions and just destroying everybody. So we'll go ahead and start the light footmen, max them out. They're very inexpensive to maintain, so that's why I like them. They're not the best, but again, we're going for high numbers. And there we go. We did get a prisoner. Oh, nice. We got the chieftain. Now, like I said, this is one of those times where you really want to slow down. If we end the war right now, all those people go free, but we can take some time to ransom these people off. Oh, they don't even have enough gold to do it. So this guy's only got 85. We'll take the full 85. I'm going to take all their kids. Give me all your kids. We're going to have like a little orphanage of other people's kids. And then we're going to train them to be soldiers and just let them die for us. So not only did we take their money, we took their land and we're taking their kids. And hopefully we take their wives too, if we have the opportunity. So there's 2, 3 kids. We got a little orphanage going here. We took their money and now we're going to take their land. Now we're over our domain limit again, but again, we have our wife set to chivalry. We want to switch her over to managed domain. So now we get 6 out of 6. We are in great shape. We don't have to worry about that. We can start another duchy. So we're going to do another duchy. We can create the Duchy of Connacht, which is this one right here. This is the one we want to own long-term as well. So we own both of those. That's perfect. And we need to station our men-at-arms. So let's go ahead and put this guy. Let's actually put him right here. And then I'm going to move whoever was here over. So we can start attacking these guys. They're raiding each other. We can just go in and take... Oh, this guy's... this guy's got 2, but he does have an ally, Strathclyde. So this is kind of a close war for us to take, but I'm tempted to do it right now just because I want to split this land up as soon as we can so that we can take the second one relatively quickly. So I'm actually going to go ahead and declare war. And plus his army's off raiding anyway, so... Oh, you know what? Actually, we could just stack wipe him right here. Let's do that. Let's go to war with these guys. 1,500. We have equal numbers. It may look really bad, but the thing is they have an ally. And Strathclyde is located right here in Scotland. So these guys will take time to muster their troops, travel across the channel, and travel down here to fight. So we have all that time to come over here and smash these guys. So it may look like they have a lot of troops and they're equal numbers, but it's really not because we're going to defeat them in detail. That's one thing when you're declaring war against opponents that are either similar size or bigger. Take in mind the geography and how quickly you can take one out. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so raise army. We're going to pounce on this guy immediately. He's not going to get out. Oh, he is going to get out. All right, we caught him anyways. It's not going to be a stack wipe, unfortunately. He's going to probably retreat back to his capital, so let's go. Oh, see, here's his ally. So we already defeated one of their armies. This other guy, oh, somebody died. Oh, no, our marshal died. No, he was so good, too. He was 19. I mean, we have a good one, though. 17's pretty good, too. That's one of the things when you have a high marshal and he's also got high prowess. If they die, it's kind of a hit, but, you know. They're actually retreating. I'm going to let them go. If we can catch that small party, that would be lovely. All right, we can catch him. The bulk of their army is going to be gone by the time the 349's left only. Yep, we're going to get the 395 by himself. There we go. Stack wipe. Stack wipe. Got it. Nice. And we did it. We captured the leader. Now, this is one of those instances where it probably makes sense to end the war fast because we still have to deal with 1,100 troops. We could go down there, dominate them, come back and take this land. But think of how much time we lose by doing that. Like, if we end this war right now, we could immediately declare war on these two guys. We can declare war on this guy down here. Enos is coming up soon. So in this case, we'll take the L on the money. Like, if we sell this guy... Wait, he's only worth 25? Oh, because it's the heir. So yeah, only 25 gold for sure. We're going to take the early way out of the war. Yeah, so we'll end the war quickly. And then we'll just go to war for somebody else. Now, again, we took this land. We don't want it because that pushes us up over our domain limit. So we're going to go and donate it to the same guy we did before. There's a couple ways you can look at it when you deal with vassals. You can have a small handful of really strong ones, or you can have a bunch of small vassals. The reason I generally like to control maybe 1 or 2 big vassals rather than 10 small ones is because it's easier to keep one person happy than to have to worry about keeping 10 people happy. So, because even when they're weaker, they can still gang up and go against you. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this recently conquered land to the same guy that we gave this away to. So we click on him, we're going to right click on his picture and go grant titles. And then we're going to click on the county that we just took and we're going to give it away to him. Now we also can start the Kingdom of Ireland. So when you start taking land in a certain area, so remember earlier we were talking about counties is like the smallest, oh, not the smallest, but county is like the smallest one that you can own personally. Then you go up to a duchy, which owns a little bit more land. And then you go up one more rank to the kingdom title, which is most of this. You can create the county if you have enough of that land. You don't have to own everything to start the kingdom title. You just have to have, I think it's the majority of it. Yeah, so in this case, we need 8 out of 14. So more than 50%, and then we can start it. Same thing over here. If we wanted to start the Kingdom of Wales, we'd have to have 7 counties here. If we wanted to do England, we would have to have 21 counties. This one we qualify because we just took another piece of land. So we're definitely going to do that. Although I'll probably hold off until we can actually start it because we'll save our money just in case we need it for something else. Oh, we can ransom the guy. Yeah, nice. So we can ransom the kid. Take him back. We don't want him. We'll take our 25 gold. I don't know how long the truce is. So the easiest way to look at your truce is to click on your main character. And then you see right here, you'll see the truces. So we got 47 days. That's really, really soon. And then the one we just finished the war with is actually 5 years. So that one's going to take a while. But this guy is only 47 days. Let's do a really quick lightning war if we can. Leinster is going to be an easy target. So let's just... We'll flash attack this guy. Basically storm his capital. Hopefully capture him. That's exactly what we wanted. So we want to end this war as soon as we can because as soon as the truce is done, we want to attack this guy. So what we're going to do, I think we're just going to end the war sooner. And that released our sister, actually, because this was the guy that raided us and took our sister. We got payback. We just took his land back, and now he's screwed. Let's go ahead and update our control. So we're going to increase control on the one we just took. And then this guy, yeah, we did that war so fast. We still have a truce there. 14 days. So let's wait 14 days until that's gone. There it is. So we can declare war. We're immediately going to do it. We forgot to give the land away. So let's, again, give land away to this guy so he can have Leinster. And that puts us back below our domain holding. All right, there we go. We got it. No prisoners, unfortunately, so we can't really ransom anybody. Okay, let's end the war, and then we're going to start the Kingdom of Ireland. So right now, again, we are over our domain limit. We pick up a +1 domain limit by getting a kingdom rank. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back up here, create titles, click on this, or you can get there if you want to from this down here in the bottom right. You can do kingdom titles, and then if you zoom out a little bit, you can see it pop up right here. You click on that, and then there's a create title button down here. So again, we own 8 out of the 14 at least, and that means we can create the title. So we become a king. We get a couple things that we can throw up on the wall. Oh, that is really good. We get a +1 knight, which is really, really strong. It's hard to get knights in the early game, so getting a +1 from a banner is really good. So let's go ahead and put these on the wall. So you get to your court system by this over here, the royal court in the bottom right. You see it's got this number 2. That means there's 2 things we can do there. And if we go up here to court artifacts, we can place them on the wall. So we'll put both of these up. And there they are. And you hover your mouse over it, you'll see the bonuses. So we get some prestige for each knight, and we get a +1 knight. The prestige per knight is not that big of a deal. +1 knights is really good because it's a lot of firepower to your army. Knight effectiveness is okay. +3 is like kind of pointless. It's kind of like Bannerlord where they give you a +1%. It's really not that good, but if you get 20 of them, then it's good. But you know, +3 is whatever. It really doesn't make a difference. The thing I'm really proud of here is that we have a really stable kingdom. A lot of these lands are good control. We haven't had to deal with any rebellions yet, and we've been growing our lands and not our vassals' lands. It's really important to get your lands first, because then you're going to have a lot of money flowing, you're going to have a lot of troops, all that stuff. So very important to do that. Now we need to clean up the rest of the island. Let's do this as quickly as we can. Let's take out the smaller one first. So we're going to take the earldom of Oriel. That's another thing I forgot to mention. As soon as you start a kingdom, you get extra bonuses. Like I mentioned, you get a +1 to your domain limit. There's also another thing called an accolade we can start. So if you look right here, most of the important stuff you'll find right here. You don't have to go searching for it. So it'll be right here in this tab. So if you see right here, we can create an accolade. Let's see what accolades we can start. We start the accolade by clicking these plus buttons right here on the empty one. So we'll create it. Let's see what everybody has. Oh, perfect. We got lucky. This guy has archer to start with. I really like retinue archers because the accolade is basically different bonuses based on the stats that your people have. Like this guy, he's got blade master, forest fighter, brilliant strategist. You know, all these determine what accolades that they'll start with. This guy starts with a potential of archer, blade master, or contender. Archer is really strong, in my opinion. I really like it. And then stalwart's actually pretty good as well because it gives your army toughness. If you look right here, all of our archer regiments get +4. So this regiment right now has 500 as a max. As soon as we put this guy in, that shoots up to 9. It's going to go to 900. It is a huge, it's almost double the size of your army basically just by having one guy. And not only that, but they're stronger. So archer damage +10%, archer toughness +10%. And as this guy goes through battles, he's going to get stronger and stronger. And then he will end up at rank 6. Which means we're going to get +8 regiments. So it'll be more than double what we currently are allowed. They'll be cheaper to maintain when we raise them. They'll do 60% more damage and 30% stronger. So really, I can't stress this enough. Get your accolade as soon as you can and get a good one. So if you're using archers, use archers. If you're trying to go with a different format, like let's say you want to use... These guys are all going to be archers, aren't they? Let's see if I can find one that's not an archer. Basically, any unit can have it. Like you can get somebody that specializes in pikemen, somebody that specializes in light footmen. You just try and find the one that fits what you're trying to do. I think in this case, we're just going to leave it because we got a good roll. You can switch these out. Like for example, we can switch these back and forth. We want to have archer on the top though. This is the primary one that's going to get passed down and the secondary is kind of RNG. But stalwart, if we didn't like the bonuses that were on this one, we could change it. And we have 2 different options. Like let's say we want to do blade master. We could switch this for archer and blade master. Or let's say we do like stalwart. We can switch it back. So it's no big deal. And then we create the accolade. It only costs 150 prestige. It is so cheap. It's really OP. I think it's probably a bit too OP and they should probably dial it back. But that's how Paradox is. They love their bonus stacking modifiers. And this is just one of those ones that's kind of overpowered. So we go back into our military. So we have 5 out of 9. So if you see right here, we can increase it up to 9. We'll go max. That's it. We have a massive amount of archers now. Oh, nice. So when you win battles, sometimes you can capture their flags, their banners. This one gives us +6 dread. A lot of this stuff is really not important. We could take it or we could shred it and get 75 prestige. Let's shred it and get the prestige. I don't really care about that banner. It's not a good one. If it was giving us like knight effectiveness, that'd be pretty good. But the other stuff is just not that good in the early game anyways. We got a perk. We could continue down this line and maybe unlock some of these. I don't find most of the perks in Martial that good for the early game for what we're trying to do. Another one I like to go down is this right side because getting knight effectiveness and plus knights. This one basically boosts the strength of your army. This one boosts the strength of your army a little bit as well. So this one's pretty good. Ooh, you know what? We are getting a lot of archers now though. We could probably use the archer. Yes, if we go down here, this increases our archer damage by quite a bit. And then we're going to need to use a lot of our prestige for declaring wars. So Cassius belly cost is anytime you want to declare war, you have to pay something for it. This reduces that cost by 50%, so it's actually really good. So I think we'll go down this route. I generally like to go down Gallant, but I'm kind of hesitant because you have to use 4 to get to household guards. On this one, you only have to use 3. So I think we'll go this route. We'll get hit and run, and then maybe we'll switch it to something else. But either one would be a good choice. Going this route, this side's kind of not that good. This side's really good, going down to this 4. This side's good going down the middle. All right, we'll take the land. And again, we are over our domain limit, so we're going to immediately give it away. So give it to this guy. Oh, shoot. We're at war? I guess we're at war with these guys. And they only have 200 troops. Come on, man. We're going to have to go down there and waste our time and money to do it. Oh, well. So anytime you take land that somebody else just declared war on for, you actually end up at war with that person. So what happened is these guys went to war over this piece of land that we took. And so now the war target transferred to us as soon as we took it. So, oh, nice. He's coming up. Maybe we can take him out right here. If we take him out right here, then that means we won't have to worry about going down to his land. Because we outnumber him more than 10 to 1 at this point. This is going to be an easy stack wipe. All right, we're going to have to chase this guy. Please end the war. Please end the war. The problem with staying at war with these guys is we can't declare war. Oh, we got another pregnancy. Nice. Maybe it'll be a son. Now our wife is getting up there in age. She's 37. They stopped getting pregnant around 45-ish. Okay, so we can end the war. Let's do that. Disband our army, and we're going to redeploy them up here as soon as we can. Actually, can we declare war on these guys? No, we still have a truce. So we have only 3 more pieces left. Wait, who owns this? Interesting. Dublin is usually owned by one of the big Viking groups, and it's really hard to get it off of them. But man, they actually, somebody else took it from them. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something a little advanced here. I don't recommend doing this unless you kind of know what you're doing or you feel comfortable. But we're going to do 2 wars at once. Shouldn't make much difference because we're going to do with the same person. But basically, what we're going to do is we're going to declare war for Ulster. Their ally is this guy, who we want to attack anyways. So let's go to war with them. And then we're immediately going to go to war with this guy. As soon as you raise your army, you cannot declare war. So you have to do them both at the same time. So we're going to declare war on him, the Earldom of Dublin. So now we have 2 wars. But again, it's against the same person. So if you look right here, they have very few troops, so it's really not a big deal. This guy's going to be here first, so I'd rather take his army out. He's going to spawn on his capital most likely. Yep, perfect. So we'll take him out, and then we'll split our army and go take this one. Here we go. And we're going to siege him down with 2 armies. So this guy has no troops left. This guy has 800. No big deal. We can handle 800 with either of these guys. We're going to take both at once. This is actually going really fast. Another daughter. Wow. Okay. We took the land. They're attacking us. We can definitely defend that pretty easily. Oh, don't crash. It crashed. Oh, come on, game. So again, we're going to finish the siege on Dublin, and then we're going to go defend in the south. A son. Oh, you know what? That's funny. So it crashed when we had a daughter last time. It crashed. So it reloaded. Gender of your children are not determined until the birth actually happens, not the conception. So if you want to cheese it, you can just keep reloading, force the game to crash if you don't get the kid you want, and you just keep doing it that way. Same thing with their traits. Like if you have an inheritable trait and the kid doesn't have it, you can create a save right before the wife gives birth and just keep reloading until you get what you want. Oh, we gotta scoot on down there. It's kind of nice that we have a son now. The problem with having female as an heir is most people don't like female rulers, so it'll make it harder. We can end both wars. Nice. Let's see if there's any money to be had before we do it though. And there you go. We only have 1 piece of Ireland we need to take, and we can't do it until the truce is done. So what is it, 876? We started, what, 867? So what, 9 years, we captured almost the entirety of Ireland. That's actually pretty good. We're having a little bit of luck on this one, but I mean, even if we had to struggle, it wouldn't be a big deal. Ireland is not the hardest part. The hardest part is going across the pond. Again, we're going to give land to this guy. The 2 things that we just took, we're going to give it to him. He actually probably can't hold all of them. Yeah, see, his domain limit is 6 out of 4. So he's most likely going to give some of those land away to somebody else. Actually, you know, we need to make sure that he can do that safely. He needs to be a duchy title as well. So let's go ahead and make a duchy and give it to him. No, High Chieftain, yeah, so he can have vassals. That's fine. We can create more if we want. If we need the prestige, we can. We'll sandbag it for now. We don't need to do it right now. Yeah, so that's fine. And then our truce with this guy is going to go until 2 more years. So we can't unify all of Ireland for 2 more years, but that's fine. We can start working on the main, I guess they call this is Great Britain. The big island is Great Britain, I think, is what they call it. What we're going to do at this point is we need to start looking for easy targets. This guy's at war with somebody, so this might actually not be a bad target right here. He is at war. He's defending against Anjou. So if we were to attack him, we could take 4 pieces of land. Oh, he owns all of these. Okay, let's go over a couple things here. Very important when we're starting to expand here. This is going to save you a lot of headache here if you pay attention to this part. So anytime you go to war with somebody, you have to be mindful of what you're actually getting out of the war. So for example, if we go to war with this guy right now, if we want to conquer a county, if you look right here, you gain contested titles. So we would actually get the title of the county of Dyfed. If anytime you do a county war, you automatically get personal control of that. If we go to a duchy, let's say we go to war for the duchy of something, which means instead of getting just 1 piece of land, we could potentially get 2, 3, 5, whatever, however many is in the duchy that they own. So if we go to war with this guy for Powys, there's 2 counties in this duchy. So if we go here, we get 2 pieces of land, but you either gain the land or you get vassals. In this case, we'd actually get 2 vassals. So you don't actually control the land. It goes to people that are underneath this guy. So you actually, all you're doing is transferring the vassals to your name. It's kind of a pain because they hate you. And if you do it enough times, they're all going to band together and declare independence from you. So what you want to do is you want to try and take the land that they personally own first. So for example, this guy, if you click on his picture, you go right here, you can see the county titles that they own. This guy also owns 2 duchy titles, but he doesn't own the land in there. He only owns 1 county. He only owns this one, Dyfed. So if we go to war for the duchy, we're not going to get any of this land. It's going to be vassals, which is a real pain. So anyways, what we're trying to do is we want to find ones where we can actually control the land. Not that we want to control it ourselves, but we want to give it to somebody that we want to give it to. What we need to do is go see who's actually possible to attack right now. So actually Wessex is really weak. They have no alliances and we have similar numbers, but that's not a good target. We should take some smaller people out first. This is a really good target. Let's look at the duchy. So this is a perfect example. 700 troops to our 2,800 or 2,600. We want to know how many counties does this guy personally own, because everybody else, we will actually get vassals. So we'll get 2 vassals. So you can see right here, he owns 2 pieces of land. We will inherit the other 2 vassals, unfortunately. So you can see right here, 2 vassals, and we'll get the other 2 pieces of land. So that's unfortunate, but it's not terrible. It may not actually be a bad idea. Let's go ahead and do war for the duchy here. I think this is a good war for us. Now, we have to go across the water, which is going to cost us some money, but, you know, it takes money to make money, baby. You got to do what you got to do. All right, hopefully we don't have to conquer too many lands here. Oh, our mother died. Yeah, we're getting stressed out. We have had a bunch of people dying on us. All right, we still have to keep going. Let's take the next one. Actually, let's see if we can get a fight. Maybe we can end it if we win a big battle. Uh-oh, we're getting attacked. All right, so not much we can do about it. We're getting attacked by somebody else. Oh, it's the Northmen. That's fine. So once in a while, you will get attacked by Vikings. It's just part of the game. It's kind of annoying, but they're pretty easy to deal with. And they usually like to do it when you're in the middle of a war. So, so we'll deal with it right now. But I mean, we just finished the war. We can just finish it off right now and then immediately transfer over there and defend. Let's go ahead and end this war. We'll divvy up the lands however we see fit. So as I mentioned before, this guy that we took the land from, he owns 2 personally, and he had 2 vassals. So these guys absolutely hate us. Really absolutely hate us. Look at -100, -100. So probably not a good idea to give any land to them. We actually want the vassal that we put in place to take that land from them. That's what we want in an ideal world, because then that means we wouldn't have to deal with them being mad at us. In order to help them do that, we're going to have to give it away to somebody. Let's go ahead and create the duchy title to make them a little bit stronger. So we're going to create the duchy that we just conquered. We're going to get in here and give this to somebody that can hold their own. I think what we'll do is we'll give it to our steward. So when you do this, let me do that one more time because this kind of went fast. So to give away land to somebody, you can come down here, you click on, make sure you don't click on an empty land. You have to click on the capital, and that'll always be where the text is. So like if you click right here, you can't give anything away. You have to click on the actual capital, and then you see this grant to. So we'll click that. Let's give it to one of our main guys. This steward actually does not own any land yet. We want to give it to somebody that's going to be strong. Immediately we give that away, but we also want to give away this land, and we want to give away the duchy title. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down until we see a highlight. So here's the land we're giving him right here. It's highlighted. And if you mouse your mouse over the shield, it'll show you what land it is. We also want to give him this other piece because we don't want it and we want him to have a good chance of defending it. So we're going to give him both of these. We're also going to give him the High Chiefdom of Duybarth. I butchered that, I'm sure. Somebody will correct me, but there we go. There it is. So we're going to give him all 3 of those titles. He's going to have 2 pieces of land and the Dutchy title. And we're probably going to have to... Yeah, they're vassals in our realm. So vassals always look at 1 rank higher to see who they actually report to. So for example, these guys only own a county, so they report directly to the Dutchy title. So remember we just gave this guy the Dutchy title? So they actually report to him as their vassal, not to us. So if they get mad, they overthrow him, not us. So that's why I said it's actually pretty nice to give it to somebody who's really strong, because then they can manage their own issues. All right, so we've got some land over here in Wales, so we don't have to worry about that for now. Let's worry about our war. So we are at war with the Northmen. They're going to come from the ocean up here, and they're going to land and try and take this. So let's go ahead and preempt them. Let's get our troops back there. So we'll ferry them back over the water and try and meet them off the boats. Okay, here they come. Yep, here they come. So again, they have a pretty big army, but these are really low tier troops, so don't worry about it too much. Oh, it says we're actually going to lose that. That doesn't seem right. And we can't use our general. Oh, he's in our army already. Yeah, he's dealing with his own problems. Let's see. We might lose this battle, but we'll see what we can do. Oh, this is really close. We're going to lose it, though. Yeah, we're starting to lose it. All right, so let's go ahead and retreat. We're going to retreat from that battle. We're not going to win that. It's not a big deal. Losing a battle is not the end of the world, especially against these guys, because these guys do not regenerate their troops. If you fight against a normal kingdom, they will regenerate their men-at-arms in the middle of war. So let's go ahead and take this one. This is going to give us a little bit more movement speed. And then once we get here, that's going to give us a pretty big boost to our fighting capabilities. What we probably want to do is fight this guy, fight their separated troops first, and that should allow us to cascade a winning battle here. So these guys are separated. This 3100 is going to take time to get to us, so we might actually be able to wipe them out before they link up. We'll get some good damage in on these guys at least. Yeah, look at that. So before they even joined, we wiped out more than half of their army, which is going to allow us to cascade a win. Yep, that's an easy win. So like I said, if you lose a battle or two, it's not the end of the world. It's not like most games. This game, you actually have a chance. As long as you don't lose your entire army, you still have a chance. 2 battles. We actually won this one, and we got 350 prestige. It's pretty good. Yeah, so not bad at all. And all it cost us is a few troops, which they'll regenerate in a couple months anyways. Who cares? We still cannot declare war on this guy, unfortunately. 6 months, so we're pretty close, though. Oh my god, this guy's got some massive allies. Yeah, West Francia. So these guys are huge, West Francia. That's not gonna go our way, so we'll have to leave Cornwall alone for a little bit. Could take more land here. Oh man, this guy is really weak. 400 troops. And let's see how much he owns. He owns all of it. If we do a duchy war, we're not getting any vassals. We'll be able to give all that land away, actually. So that's actually really good. So let's do that. Again, if you zoom out and you're new and you're looking, oh, this is complicated. Everybody has massive armies and it's like, what do I do? What do I do? You just have to be patient. Just wait. This guy was just a sitting duck. He's got 400 troops. And look how much land we get from that. Wessex, not too bad. We're not too far off from being able to take him. Some of these guys are huge. You just leave him alone. Leave him alone. Ignore him. Come back. Pick off all the little easy ones you can get. Like this guy, we could take this guy next. He's only got 1,300 troops, no allies. You just pick off every little piece you can, and then you kind of work your way up from there. And then soon enough, you'll realize you have like 5,000, 6,000 troops, and you could take on pretty much anybody on the map. Let's get that going. All right, this guy's going to send some people to try and raid. So what we're going to actually do is split this off. We don't really want to deal with him taking any land that we have to take back again. We'll just fight him. Beautiful. That takes that back. And we did get some people in our prison. So we captured 2 people here. Now, the easiest way to look at your prisoner hold, if you want to know who was recently captured, just look at how long they've been in prison. Like the last time we took somebody was 12 months. And then these 2 guys we literally just took because it'll be a couple days old. So this guy, not good. This guy's got 15 prowess. For sure, we want to take him in because 15 is pretty good. Now, we are going to probably have to deal with a rebellion here, 6 months. This is going to be a peasant uprising. There's not much you can do about these. You just got to deal with them. They're pretty easy. We'll go over it in a second, but no big deal. We can ransom some people, so let's do that. We can vassalize somebody. I don't really want to do that. I'd rather just take their land and give it to somebody rather than dealing with a vassal. Oh, Francois, we just took him into our court and he's already talking trash about our wife. How dare you, Francois? Anytime you get this pop up, these are the peasants. You have two options. You can grant them a tax lien, which basically means you get minus 75 control in all the counties where they're going to pop up. Or you can say no, you have to fight them, and it only drops it by 25. So obviously we're going to do minus 25. We'll just fight them. And you can see they popped up over here. So there's 7 stacks. They're small. They'll start shuffling around. It's fine. We'll finish our war, and then we'll go back and deal with them. It's not a big deal. They're more of an annoyance than they are a real threat most of the time. All right, now we want this war to end before we have to unsiege that. Oh, you got to be kidding me. 99%. He's going to unsiege it, dude. Oh, we got it just in time. We're going to have to leave for a little bit because we don't want the rebellions to progress. Yeah, they're going to start taking stuff. So let's just go. I don't know if we can get there in time for that. Nice, we got it. If rebels take over your land, then you actually get a pretty big hit to the control there. And so you got to spend quite a bit of time undoing that. So now what we're going to do is we want our son to be able to use all the lands that we're doing. So we want to change his education focus. You get to that by clicking on your main character, and then you go down to his tab. Right here, you can see your children. This guy's the current heir. So click on him. This button right here near his head, education focus. We want to switch this to stewardship. Depending on what you want to do, we're going to go stewardship because we want him to be able to control a lot of land. So we'll put that. And then we're also going to educate him. Actually, we will do it because we have high stewardship, so that's fine. Whatever focus you want him to do, you want to pair him with somebody that has high in that area. You also want to make sure that person has the educational trait. Unfortunately, our education sucks. We only have a 1-star. So that's going to hurt a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so Peasant Uprising's done. We do get... Anytime you finish a Peasant Uprising, you take the leader captive, and they're usually like really, really legit. So if you look right here, this little sickle, this means he was a peasant leader. So he's probably got good stats. Oh, he's actually not that good. 10 prowess. He's got good martial skill though. So I will take him, and we can use him as a general. He can lead an army. So that actually is not a bad idea. Now we need to get back over there and worry about finishing this war. So let's go over there and do that. That is so dumb, man. 99% and it's not going up. He's got 18 troops, and he doesn't want to peace out. This is like some Tail Worlds logic right here. Yeah, we'll actually go in there and take over that siege. Dude, everybody is talking trash about our wife. That's the 4th person.
This needs to stop now.
Oh, it's a spy master. No, we're not. Yeah, you don't worry about our spy master, man. She's keeping us alive, so we're gonna tell our wife to just chill and deal with it, lady. Now, one thing, anybody that's sieging a fief down, if you conquer the army that's sieging it down, you get all the siege progress that they had. So one thing that you can do is you can let somebody else deal with the siege and then just take them over at the last second. So like now we got more than half progress on this siege, and we got it for free. So it's kind of cool. So we'll take the land. Now this guy, like I said, he owned all these personally, so we can give these away. We don't inherit any bad vassals here. So let's see. Oh boy. He didn't take these over yet. We're going to keep giving it away to the same guy. We want to make him as strong as he can possibly be, because then what he's going to do is eventually he's going to either kick these guys out by killing them, or he'll just be strong enough to where they won't rebel against him. The problem is if these guys rebel and take over, then these become our direct vassal and they hate us, so we don't want that. So we want to make sure people that like us have all the power they can get. There you go. So now he owns a ton of land. He goes right up to his domain limit, 6 out of 6. So he can actually hold a lot of land. This guy's going to be a legit vassal. He's going to be very strong. So we got a pretty big chunk out of the Kingdom of Wales. We can actually start that kingdom pretty soon. Oh, we can do it right now. 7 of 12, we own 8. Yeah, that's fine. We don't need it yet. We don't want to do that. Now, you have to be very careful. If we had a bunch of people that we were splitting the land up with, we would not want to take land here and risk splitting up the kingdom due to an inheritance. So that's one thing that I would not have taken more land in that area if we had to deal with more succession issues. In this case, we only have one son, so no big deal. We can keep conquering in the same area and it's not going to make that much difference. Just keep that in mind. Now, I probably want to start picking on some of these smaller guys. Yeah, that's not... He's got a lot of allies. Oh, look at that. 400 troops. This is just... They're making it easy for us, man. All right, how many vassals do we get here? We get 1 vassal, Uba. We can definitely take that. Let's just double check and see if there's anybody else that's kind of equally easy target to pick off. It doesn't look like it. Jorvik is actually looking pretty weak. He's being attacked. Okay, so what we're going to do is... This guy's getting gobbled up right now. We need to take it as soon as we can, because if we don't do it, somebody else will take it. Go ahead and ransom these people off before the war's over. And then he's going to be completely broke. Cool. So we got 2 pieces of land here, and then we inherited 1 vassal, unfortunately. Oh, this guy's really old though. Let's have 1 person for each kingdom, maybe 2 for England as far as vassals. So what we're going to do is we need to start planning out who we're going to give land away to. So we've got 1 person helping us with Ireland. We'll have 1 person helping us with all of the Wales. England will probably split up into 2 or 3. And then Scotland will probably have just maybe, I think 1 is probably fine. Maybe 2. Let's give this away to somebody. Let's just get a random noble and hopefully we get a good one. Yeah, he's actually pretty good. 16 Stuart. So we're going to go ahead and give him some land. Give him that. Now he doesn't hate us as much. And we need to get his title, the Northumbria. Actually, you know, we should probably do that. It's going to cost us a little bit. Yeah, 250 gold. No, I don't want to spend the money. We'll keep the money. So let's start looking at other easy targets that we can take. So East Anglia would be, oh, they picked up an ally, unfortunately. They were easy at one point. Let's see who else. Jorvik, they are very weak. They do have allies, but their allies are just, they got smashed already. So let's look at Jorvik next. And again, we have 2 options here. We can take Lancaster or Jorvik. We want to look at how many vassals we're getting. So we get 2 vassals here, which sucks. We would get no vassals here. So this is definitely the right pick. So if you're trying to figure out which one to do, don't always just look at which one you're going to get more land from. You want to look at land that you personally control so that you can give it to somebody and make them happy, make them stronger, and they'll be loyal vassals, right? You want vassals that are loyal. In this case, this guy must own all 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So by doing Jorvik, we're going to just completely decapitate this guy. He's going to have no personal holdings after this. Pretty easy war. Now, once in a while, once you become a king, people will start paying you homage. You get notices like this. So you get free gold. Sometimes they'll give you some other stuff too, like prestige and, oh, here we go. Yeah, we get gold, prestige, and we got some renown for it. So it's really, really good to have vassals that do this for you. Now, we could pick up a legacy. I'm going to save it for now because I don't know if we're going to need our renown to disinherit somebody. So we'll just hold on to it for just a second. So basically, these legacies, basically when you get enough renown, you can spend them on bonuses. These are really not that good in the early game, but then once you get towards some of the later ones, they're really, really good. Like some of these, life expectancy +5 is quite strong. The one on army is pretty good. You get +1 number of men-at-arms regiments, which is really, really strong. And then you look at the first one, it's like prowess and knight effectiveness. It's just not that good. So we'll hang on to the first one just for a little bit. Oh, Mon popped out as a decent size. We could probably take him out soon if he doesn't have a big alliance. So hit and run will be the next one. Like I said, we want to boost up our archer damage and skirmisher damage since we're using pretty heavily on both of those. We could also hire another men-at-arms, but I don't think we need it yet. If we go too big, we're going to use up all our prestige because of our government type, these guys cost prestige to use, not gold, or not as much gold rather. Sorry. I think they still use gold. It's just not that much. I'm going to do the stress loss because we are pretty close to the limit. We don't want to have too much stress. So we'll back that off a little bit. And looks like we took somebody important. Oh, we can't get money for it though, unfortunately. So we're just going to end it. We don't get any vassals for this one. So we're just going to give it right away to this guy that we promoted last time. So he's going to really like us now. Yeah, look at that. +100. He loves us. We probably want to make him a duke though, or a duchy holder. So Jarldom of Jorvik. Let's go ahead and do that one. Oh, it's Usurp though. I wish it was create. Yeah, Usurp is way more expensive. And if you wait long enough, the title will disappear and then we can just get it for cheaper. So we'll hold off. We don't need to do that just yet. How's his holdings? His holdings are 5 out of 6. So he can hold more. He's in good shape. We don't need to deal with that too much. Next, let's finish off the rest of Ireland. I don't want anybody else on here just because it's nice to have clean borders. There's other things that you can do. So for example, if you want to convert religion so that you have all the same faith in your one island. So right now, this one is Asatru. So we could convert that. It's really not a big deal. We'll do it though. Yeah, it's fine. It only takes 5 years and then we'll have all the same religion here. All right, we captured the head. We should be able to get some money. Only 10, but he's going to go away as soon as we sign the peace deal anyway. So we'll take 10. Take the money. We'll give it to this guy. It's this. There we go. So now our vassal owns all of this. We own all of this. This vassal owns all this. This guy owns all this. We have very clean borders. I love having clean borders. Let's start looking at some other weaker ones. Mon might be a good target if he doesn't have big allies, and he actually does have... Yeah, he's got Denmark. That's probably not a smart one to attack. Look at that. Beautiful. Strathclyde has almost nothing left. So we're going to go Dutchy here, and we're going to take probably Strathclyde. How many vassals? We'll get 1 vassal out of it, unfortunately, but we'll get 3 of those. So let's go ahead and take that. We're going to try and burn through this as fast as we can. So one thing you have to be aware of, if you're at war with somebody and the people you're attacking are at war as well, if they end the war before you end the war, they will take a chunk of the land that you're trying to take. It's really bad. Anytime you see somebody attacking your war goal, kick them off. Immediately kick them off. All right, there we go. Kick them off. These guys are no longer sieging this down, so we should be fine. We'll take the whole enchilada here. Let's go ahead and end this war. I don't think we need to do much here. Oh, we do have... Actually, we captured him. Yeah, we'll take the 50 for sure, because it's going to go down the drain anyways as soon as we take this guy out. But we'll take our 50. We'll end the war, and because these guys were attacking, we're also at war with them. Yeah, it's at 800 troops. That's not a big deal. We'll kick them out, finish them off. This guy must have owned... Yeah, the kid owned 2 pieces of land rather than just 1. That sucks. All right, we need to put somebody strong here. We got to find somebody really strong to hold this because this kid already has 2. Whoever we assign up here needs to be strong. We need to boost them up quickly. Preferably somebody that's got good steward stats. I like the look of this guy, actually. Let's do this. And then we're just going to boost the heck out of him. Oh, we can create more titles now. So what I was saying earlier, if you wait long enough, when you take a bunch of land, that title just kind of gets dissolved. So remember before it was going to cost us 250 to start this duchy right here? Now it only costs 87. I mean, we're talking a difference of, what is that? Like a fourth almost? It's a huge difference. So don't immediately usurp the title unless you absolutely need it. I generally don't recommend usurping unless you have to. Take all their land, their title will get destroyed, and then you can do it for way cheaper. All right, get out of this stupid war, man. It's a defensive war too. It's not even, we're not even getting anything good out of it. So, okay, he's done. So I would like to take some more land up here for this guy to help him out. We need a good target though. The problem is Mon has a good, oh no, they don't have a good, okay, perfect. So we're going to for sure go after this guy. So we're going to go after the Duchy of Lothian. This, oh no, vassals. Jeez, all of them are vassals. Not a single one of these are owned by them, unfortunately. That sucks, man. Yeah, we don't want to take on a bunch of vassals. What I'm hoping happens here is whoever's at war with them right now takes whatever they want. We will take Annandale. That we can give because that's part of a different duchy anyways. That's for this duchy that we just gave this guy. So we're gonna do a small war. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I was hoping we wouldn't have to do that, but yeah, it looks like we are. You kind of have to be careful. It's not always, sometimes taking the most land is not always the best. All right, we are actually going to get attacked here by a few people. So let's go ahead and meet them in the field. Yeah, they have another 450 left somewhere. I think it's them. Yeah, they're up there. That's fine. They won't do any harm up there. Oh, yeah, they took land. So they're getting gobbled up. Let's go ahead and siege something else down. Get this war done as fast as we can. So chivalric dominance gives us knight effectiveness plus 75. This is the real bonus. This is what I'm talking about. None of this 1-2%. 75% is what I'm talking about. Now, we could go down even further here if we really wanted to. Or normally I switch to stewardship. We don't even need it though, actually, because we have good holdings. Our holding's so high. You know what? Let's keep going down. We'll keep it. We will keep it on martial and we'll get down to at least household guards. And then our military is just going to be super strong. Nobody's going to be able to touch us. Oh, nice. We got an Earl. So there's 50 gold right there. That's a big one. Now, what I'd like to do is not end the war immediately. I want to kneecap these guys and just completely destroy them. If he has no army, the odds of him getting attacked and gobbled up by somebody else is very high. And I'm hoping whoever takes it owns the land personally so that we can take it in a duchy war and not have a bunch of vassals. So there we go. We got the land. Disband. Let's go ahead and give... Yeah, it was this guy. So we'll grant it to him. Oh, we also need to demand his conversion. What is this? He's Catholic? Yeah, come on. See if he converts. He did. Okay, he converted. All right, we got another... Wow. Another 50 gold. So we're just making bank right here. Look at how much gold we have. We should probably spend it. I'm just so busy conquering because we have really good targets. But we should probably spend some time upgrading stuff. Let's see if we get an easy target. Now, Lancaster popped out. That was not there before. So this is probably an easy one. Oh, yeah, look at that. If you're pretty familiar, like right now we saw Wessex. It's been kind of Wessex for a while. And up here was something else. Lancaster just popped out. Anytime you see a new kingdom or a new, you know, petty king, whatever, they're usually very weak and easy to take. They're like just sitting ducks. So if we take this, and most of the time they own the land themselves, so we're not going to get any vassals, so we can just do this. Yeah, we're not going to slow down. We're just going to pop these guys. Let's go ahead and enforce demands. And again, we get 2 more pieces of land. We're not giving it to this guy because we want him to be all of Scotland. We're going to give it to our other vassal, so he's going to get these 2. So he's really strong. We're going to make sure he has Northumbria, York, and maybe Lancaster. And then we'll split these up to maybe 3 and these 4 to a different vassal. Something like that makes a lot of sense. There's a bunch of little guys that got popped out that we can just take over pretty easily here. Let's see if they still have that alliance. They don't. They lost the West Francia. So Cornwall would be a decent target, although that's kind of a lot of troops for the amount of land that we get from them. This one, oh man, this is so easy. All right, Dutchy, no vassals, no vassals. Oh, we got 1 vassal. All right, whatever. And the nice thing is we just took land right next to him, so we can immediately invade. All right, our daughter can get married. Let's see, is there anybody that we need to fill in our court? Not really. So we can probably just marry her off to somebody for prowess. Oh, look at this jolly giant. Look at that, 27 prowess. Holy crap. Welcome to the family. Sorry, daughter. Good luck with that. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna let this battle go through just because we can get the XP for it. Yeah, nice. And we got some prisoners out of it. Then we'll end the war. 30 gold, beautiful. There we go. And so this one's going to need to be a new one. I don't want to give this guy too many, so we'll start another vassal down here. Oh, actually, we have a guest. Oh, beautiful. This is another way. If you have somebody that's a guest in your court, you would normally have to pay them to join your court, but if you give them land, they will join your court and be your vassal. So we're just going to give him land. We're going to give him both of these. Now he becomes our vassal. We got him for free. We didn't have to pay for him. And we can create... Yeah, we can create East Anglia. Let's definitely do that. We'll give him East Anglia. There, now he went from -71 to +21. He loves us now, so really good. Also, keep in mind, sometimes when you take land, you'll get vassals that aren't rightfully yours. I mentioned before, vassals, they always look 1 level up. So if they own a county, like this guy owns a county, he looks to the duchy that he's a part of, the Duchy of Northumbria. We don't own Northumbria Duchy. The title's not ours, it's one of our vassals. So this guy technically should be a vassal of him, not us. We can give the vassalage over to him and it'll show up as a pop-up right here. I recommend doing that at all times. Don't keep vassals that aren't supposed to be yours. There may be a benefit to not doing it, but in my opinion, it's probably better just to do that. Now, Wessex is going to be a problem, but this would be a good time to stomp on them. They have very, very weak allies, and they're at war with somebody right now, so they're already burning through their manpower. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to declare war, but we need to find out where he owns his land, because we want to take the duchy that he owns most of his land in. So if we hover over here, he owns 2 pieces of land in this one and 2 pieces of land in this one. So this is Kent and this is Wessex. So we could either take Wessex or Kent. Wessex would be a lot more painful for him to lose. Kent would be easier for us to manage, though, is the problem. So it's kind of like, which one do we do? That's actually a tough choice. I have to think about that one. If we take Wessex, that's like their best duchy in their kingdom. So that would really handicap them right now. They're at war over in Kiev. What the heck? They're at war over here. That's really bizarre. Okay, they must have some family member that inherited something or whatever. I think what we're going to do, it would weaken him more if we took Wessex, but we're going to take Kent just because I want to get a vassal established here that's going to be able to hold his own. And I think if we give him this, he's going to have to deal with other vassals that are going to overpower him. I think it's not a good idea. This one is not going to give us as much land, but I think it's going to be better for us in the long run. So here we go. War with these guys. What we probably want to do is take out his armies so that he's just completely destroyed in whatever other wars he's in. And that'll help weaken him overall as well. Oh, was that a mistake? We got 8 days. No, we'll get it in time. Yeah. Oh, he messed up. So he was attacking us thinking that we weren't going to have our army fully reinforced, and he just got destroyed. Yeah, that was a big mistake on his part. Not a stack wipe, though, unfortunately. That was a very good way to start the war. I don't know where these guys are going to end up, but we need to start working our way down here. Fortunately, I think we're going to have to conquer our way through, because otherwise we're going to get a ton of attrition, which I really don't want to do with attrition. We'll go over the bridge. We'll take it a little slow. Let's see where this guy pops up. We could probably use our other army to chase. We usually use one army to siege and one army to chase, and that's exactly what we're having to do here. Oh, they got an ally that's going to nickel and dime us. So can we make it over there without taking attrition? No. Yeah, we can if we do that. No attrition there. So we'll go this route. I don't know if we'll get there in time. Oh, nice. We got it. So that should be a stack wipe. Oh, that's embarrassing. They got out with 7 troops. All right, no stack wipe. All right, another martial perk. We're going to keep going down that route. That'll make our battles even easier as time goes on. Wessex is attacking Mercia still, so they're going to waste a bunch of stuff. Oh, look at that. Wessex is getting stomped by, what is that? Nottinghamshire? Yeah, they're getting stomped. Mercia's giving them the old kibosh. All right, there. Now we can get into Kent proper without taking a bunch of attrition. So I would like to get over here. Is there a route that avoids attrition? Yes. All right, so we're going to do that. It doesn't look like they're going to try and siege us down over here anymore, so we're just going to bypass. Oh, they're going to try and take that back, so we'll defend it. No big deal. Oh no, we got to deal with the freaking Peasant Uprising. Okay, yeah, we're not going to give in. We'll let them rebel. It's only 2. That's not bad. So we'll take these guys out, and then we're going to go across the water with half our army. Oh, wow, we can actually end the war immediately. That is so fast. For as little troops that we lost in this, that's really good. Yeah, if we end the war right now, we can go deal with the rebellion right now. If we don't end the war, we can take more money from them, but I don't know that it's worth it. They're already really weak. We can't really do much more damage than what we've already done. Yeah, let's just end the war. I'm good with it. And then we need to promote somebody here. Let's see if we have a good steward. Yeah, we don't want to give it to an existing vassal. We don't want that. This guy looks pretty good. He's got 18. We're going to give him those 2. And also if we can we create the title of Kent? We can't. We can only usurp. So we have to wait for that to clear itself out. Let's go deal with the rebellion. Let's just take our bowmen, our dudes. Yeah, let's leave the levies. We'll disband the levies and we'll go handle it right now. It's going to be cheaper that way. Yeah, only 15 gold. And then these guys can get disbanded. The levies can go back. All right, there's one down. Now we should start looking at our next target. Are these guys still at war? Yeah, they are. So he might get split into smaller kingdoms, which is going to be really good. Mercia burned some of their manpower in that war too, which is probably going to help. He's got some mercenaries though. I want those guys to piss off before we go and attack them because they're pretty tough. So there's that. Let's take a look at the prisoner. Let's see if he's any good. 16. Yeah, he's good. We'll definitely take him. So we'll recruit him into our army. That'll be another 16 prowess. There he is. He hates us, but hopefully he does well in the battlefield. That's all I care about. There's quite a few people we can get rid of for money. We're just going to be swimming. Look at how much money we have. This is ridiculous. I need to spend some of it. We've got such a good position. I don't want to slow down our conquest because everybody's weak and we're having pretty good RNG here in that regard. Let's attack somebody else, I guess. Yeah, let's attack. Probably this Powys guy is going to be the easy one. We're going to get a bunch of vassals, unfortunately. We have to take it eventually anyway, so let's just do county. We'll do that one real quick. Do it. Yeah, stack wipe. We got it. Let's create a couple of these titles. Let's go Strathclyde, or I guess it's Galloway now, but oh, what happened to our guy? Did he die? Oh no, the kid hates us. Oh crap. Dude, what happened? Yeah, the dad died. The guy that loved us. Now the kid hates us. Well, we're gonna make him the high chief. Hopefully that helps. It helps a little bit, but this dude, yeah, he's not too happy with us right now. We're going to need to take lands and donate it to him so he's not pissed off at us. But he's young. He can't join a faction as a child, so we have 13 years to deal with it. One thing to keep in mind, especially if you're newer, the best way to manage your vassals is just to make it so they can't physically join factions against you. If they're a friend, they can't join a faction. So this guy hates us for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, because we have too many offensive wars and he wants a seat on the council. If they're a friend, they can't join a faction. So that basically eliminates that. So even if he hates us, it doesn't matter. All right, so that one's done. This guy's still alive, fortunately, and we can donate that land to him. So now he owns... Why are we stressed? Is it because we're... Oh, yeah, that's right, because we're ambitious. So giving away land when you're ambitious actually gives you stress. Oh, well. But we stressed ourselves out. That's not a big deal. Now might not be a bad idea to do some restructuring here. Our bowman, we can increase that size up to 11. Like I said, having that accolade is just... straight up broken. Yeah, he's got archers up to the next level, the 3rd rank. The next rank is going to be even stronger. Thinking what we can do is create another men-at-arms regiment. We don't need it though, is the problem. I'd rather keep the prestige because then we can use it to upgrade buildings and all that stuff. If we have a bigger army, it doesn't make that much of a difference because we're just wiping everybody right now anyways. So it's probably better to just chill for a little bit. All right, so we'll take this little piece of land. Okay, we got to deal with our stress so we can flagellate ourselves. Or we can spend some money. We have a ton of money, so why don't we just do this? I'd rather not give ourselves a bunch of wounds. And yeah, so you get penalty to our health, prowess loss. And then this one, you get a loss to monthly income. We don't care about that at all right now, so it's fine. Instant war, we'll take it. And then again, this one goes to the dude that owns all this stuff. It's gonna give us more stress. Oh man, whatever. Yeah, this is gonna get pretty painful here. Come on, we can't attack. I do want to deal with these guys soon, but they've got a strong alliance. Actually, it's not even the alliance, it's them. They're the problem. If we get rid of the alliance, we will have more troops than them. We probably want to do this as an invade kingdom because we can get all this all at once. What we need to do is deal with their alliance. They have an alliance with Brittany. This dude's old. Oh, wow. Actually, this... Okay, so this is another good point to look up. I mentioned before in the thing that alliances are set up through people, not kingdoms. So this dude is 59 years old. He's infirm and he's melancholic, which means he's very likely to die soon. So once he dies, the alliance is gone. So they will no longer have an alliance here. So let's say, for example, if we declare war like right now, immediately, he has an alliance here. We have to fight an extra 1,700 troops. If we allow his ally to die off, as soon as he dies, we can declare war and he won't have an alliance with him. It's just, you know, waiting a few extra, like a year or two, it makes a huge difference. So what we want to do is we want to actually go to this guy and we want to pin him. And that means we can keep an eye on him right here. So as soon as he's dead, we'll see it up here and we can immediately declare war. We'll delay this war for a little bit. Actually, why don't we do this? Let's spend some time upgrading some stuff. Why don't we do that? Because we haven't upgraded anything since the beginning. And we picked up our final perk that we wanted to get. I guess we could just stay here. I mean, we're not taking any more land. Oh, wow. We actually have an extra domain holding. So we could probably switch our wife off of this and just have her assist. Yeah, and then we'll just get bonuses all around. That's fine. And then if we pick up another one we want to keep, we can switch her again. We can toggle. The thing about having a good wife that's really important is you can toggle. You can toggle what you want her to help with. So it's pretty important. They got rid of their ally and we just completely dominate them now. 5,000 troops. So why don't we go ahead and do this? We'll do the Dutchy. Hopefully there's no vassals. No vassals. If you can't find your little flag for where to spawn people at, you can always find it over here. Go to the military tab. Click right here for the rally point, and then you can do it from there. So if you ever can't find it, because like right now we're in this small part of the map, but when you start doing a world conquest or any big project, you probably want to use it from this screen because it's kind of hard to find people. Oh, nice. We don't even have to siege. So, done deal. We probably want to give everything in the south to the same person. So, whoever this guy was, we're going to go ahead and give him the same thing. Now, Cornwall. Nice. So, we can do the Cornwall. Let's go ahead and give him both. So, this guy is going to... We're going to grant these two and the Dutchy, the High Chiefdom of Cornwall. So, he's very happy with us, which means we should be able to convert his religion. Nice. So now he's insular. He's the same religion as us. Interesting. So here's one of the things I was telling you about before. So we want to make sure our vassals are strong enough to deal with their smaller vassals. So for example, we gave this guy 2 pieces of land and he inherited 1 vassal. He's actually going to war right now for his survival. So let's say we gave him only 1 fief and he had to manage like 6 vassals that hated him. He would instantly get gobbled up and you would have to start over. You'd have to deal with a bunch of rebellious people. So you always want to make sure you give people a fighting chance to take over the people beneath them. So just because they like you doesn't mean they're a good vassal. They have to like you and they have to be able to hold on to their power. And you can't help him. Like right now, I can't send people in to help him. Like there's nothing I can do. This is a war he has to win on his own. That's why I'm trying to make these guys strong enough to be able to defend themselves. That way I don't have to get involved and deal with vassals that hate us. Because like, let's say this guy wins the war. He's a -21 to us. He hates us. This guy's -21 and he hates us too. So I guess it, oh no, -7. Actually, this guy would like us even more. That's kind of weird. Why does this guy hate us so much? Oh, because the count. Yeah, he wants a council seat. Without that, he would like us more though. So let's go ahead and spend some money and upgrade some stuff. So we'll do Kent, York, Gwynedd, Ulster. Do we need to do Wales? We don't need to do Wales, but we'll do Wales. Okay, so we have a bunch of titles and we don't want to hold on to them because you're only allowed to have 2 duchy titles before your vassals start getting pissy with you. So you don't want to own everything yourself because then they'll hate you. Like if we look at this guy right now, there's a pretty big debuff for too many duchies, -60. That's huge. If we didn't give this guy a ton of land, he would hate us right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to give him his duchy that is rightfully his. He owns most of Kent, so he can have it. Kent's all yours. Now that debuff goes away. It's -15 for every one that you go over, it looks like. So let's go ahead and get rid of the other ones. So these are the ones we're keeping. We are getting rid of York. So let's go ahead and give away York. All right, no big deal. He doesn't hate us. And then we want to give away Gwynedd. And that was, let's make sure we get the right guy here. Yeah, it's this guy. So he can have that duchy. And if we look at this guy again, too many duchies, -15. We still own 1 too many, but you can see it stacks up a lot. So like I said, you want to be mindful of it. Going 1 over is probably not that big of a deal. 2 or 3 over, that's a big deal. Definitely don't want to do that. So Ulster, This guy's still pretty happy with us, so we'll give him Ulster. There we go. So now we have no debuff from them. Everybody loves us. That's under our control. Yep, it's gone now, so that's good. All right, let's see. This guy is still kicking. He's 60 years old, infirm, melancholic prognosis. Health is fine. What the heck? Oh no, he's got a hunting cat, feline nurse, temperate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So he actually his health is fine even though he's old and in bad shape because he's got so many buffs. And they go away in 3 years? 4 years? Shoot, man, he's gonna have... That sucks. The other thing we could do is we can try and help it along by murdering him, but it's a pretty low chance of success right now, so that may not be a good idea. Let's pick off some of these small ones, I think. Come on, we still have a truce with, but we can do this guy. And I think we can attack this guy at the same time, and then we'll have to deal with his ally, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, this is the one with the alliance. Let's actually end this one because I don't want to have to deal with this guy sieging us down. So we're just gonna, we'll take that one right away. York needs to go to this guy, so we're gonna give him that. And then this one goes to Lancaster, so that'll go to this guy. Oh, it's the same guy, actually. All right, I'm an idiot. This one we can probably disband. Let's do a big upgrade project right here. So let's do markets all around. I'd like to do markets first. I should have done this a long time ago, but whatever. All right, this one already has a market. The next one I like to do is the war camp because it gives you +1 knight. We're just going to spam a bunch of knights. And then the market gives you money, so that's always nice to have. The more money you have, the more times you can go on hunts, you can do feasts and stuff like that. So it's kind of good to have a bunch of different stuff. Oh, we're actually short on money. Let's wait 1 month to get a tick, and then we'll... Oh, we got it. Nice. There we go. So we just did a huge expansion of our infrastructure here. Yeah, we could have done it sooner, and, you know, we can upgrade more of these buildings. They'll give us more levies. It'll make our troops stronger. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, but I think this should be good for now. And we could just raid these guys into the ground, but I think we'll hold off on doing that. So Mercia definitely needs to be cut down to size. Oh, look at that. We could get so much land, but it's going to be a bunch of vassals. If we take this, we will get 3 yeah, it's the same vassals. But you know what? Now it's okay because this guy owns a bunch of land. He'll be able to handle it. He can probably take these vassals on, no problem. Wait, is this the kid that hates us? This is the one that we gave a bunch of land to. Yeah, what the heck, kid? You literally have nothing without us, man. We'll deal with the vassals for now. It's not a big deal. We will personally deal with it. So let's go to war, take these out. And again, we got 2 armies. If he goes to siege our capital down, that's a problem. We'll have to leave. Really hope that's not the case. But he might do something annoying like that. No, they went over here. Okay, so he went across the water to link up with his buddy from Sieland. But we might take this land fast enough to avoid having to do any or worrying about it, so we'll see. There we go. That's done. We got 30% war score. We're going to need a little bit more, but we can probably scare this guy off. See if we can get him off the siege. Yeah, usually you don't even have to fight. You just need to dissuade them from sieging. All right, I'm going to send this guy up to siege because this one needs to go get some supplies after the siege. He's kind of hurting right now. Wait, let's go get some supplies here. Yeah, perfect. And like I said, we'll just keep shoving them off of fiefs. You generally want to let them get a little bit of siege progress done because every month that they go, they're losing troops to attrition. Let them attrition themselves down. You go through, poke them off, and then you back off, and they just keep doing it again. It's the AI is pretty dumb in this game. But then I guess that's kind of true for every game. All right, they are actually not worried about this, so that's kind of concerning. What we could do is we could break off enough from the siege to keep it going, and then we can reinforce. So we'll probably do that here. They are not getting off the siege, so we have to interject. No big deal. That actually ends the war. Beautiful. We can do that. Disband, and we're good to go. So now we have 3 disloyal vassals, but they're our direct vassals. All right, so Mercia is pretty weak. Powys is still under protection. And again, this guy still has that alliance. He's going to die soon. I could feel it. Wait, we picked up a fief. Oh, we picked up Derby. That's right. I forgot. So let's go ahead and give Derby back to this guy. Grant it to him. That'll put us back under the cap. We're good. These people are still broke. We need them to have more money before we ransom them. Let's also deal with... I think Mercia is probably going to be a good one to take here. We don't really have many targets. We got to take on Mercia. We'll deal with that. Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have a bunch of vassals here. We're going to get 5. We're going to get 4 vassals. So we'll get in there right away. Oh, actually, we should probably not fight yet. Let's deal with their army first because they do have a pretty sizable army. Now, we don't want to fight them on bad terrain because they have enough troops to where they can actually cause some significant damage to us. So let's just wait. Let's see where they end up. And if we can take a defensive siege in favorable terrain, that would be the best case scenario, which it looks like they're going to give us if we can catch them in time. They're on forest. He's going to go hang out on the mountain, isn't he? Two options here. We could just take the fight. No, he's going to get off. He's losing supply every month, so he will eventually starve. He's actually going to leave this, which means, oh yeah, he's backing himself in a corner. He's not going to have a good time here, for sure. He's going to try and go out on the ocean. He's not going to make it in time because it takes forever to disembark. So we'll spank him right here. It's not going to be a stack wipe. Yeah, there's no way that's a stack wipe. But that's a pretty hefty win. And we took some people from that battle too. So we're probably going to have to abandon this. Let's actually go ahead and meet them head on. We need to progress somewhere. This guy's going to make us chase. So we'll just keep chasing him. If we have to take a fight like this, that's fine. We'll deal with it. So like I said, they're going to go ahead and attrition themselves down each month. They're going to have 5 months worth of attrition. We have more troops than they do. We probably have better quality as well. So we keep a close eye on this. We don't want to get too close and scare him off. We want him to keep taking attrition. There he goes. He's down even more. Oh, crap. Again with the freaking rebellion, man. I'm going to do something that I wish I didn't have to do. We're going to have to force a fight here. And then we're going to have to go back and defend. So that's just... Yeah, he's going to keep forcing us to chase him around. So I really don't want to lose anything to these rebellions. It's going to be quite annoying. Now, what we could do is... How much time? So we have 44 days for this siege. This guy's got 9 months. That's more than enough. We'll be able to go down there and kick him off. And we'll be able to deal with the rebels here. This is actually perfect. This is really, really good for us. All right, now where's this guy running off to? Okay, as soon as this is done, we're going to send him over to relieve that siege. All our trading posts just finished and our income just shot up. That's pretty good. All right, rebellion's been dealt with. Let's see how good that rebel leader is. He might be worth taking. 13 is not great, but 24 Marshall's pretty good. Yeah, we'll take him. Now, let's get back over there. I don't want to go across the water. We'll save the money, and we'll just come down the old-fashioned way. Oh, boy, we're getting it. This is what I was talking about earlier. When it rains, it pours. We're getting raided from Vikings, so we're going to have to deal with that. Hopefully, we capture somebody here and end the war. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what we needed. What I'm going to do is, I'm a cheap bastard. I don't want to pay for it. So we're going to manually march our guys all the way around so we can meet these Vikings when they get here. So war's over. We just took a huge chunk. Yeah, Mercia is pretty much down to 2 pieces of land now. We got a couple of these things, actually. So what we're going to do is give off... Let's see. This is part of Mercia, so it's all going to have to go to the same person. This guy in the middle was doing a pretty good job. So we're going to give... everything to him. Did he? Oh, nice. He kicked it. Yeah, remember I was telling you before that Vassal was hating on everybody? He kicked him out. He took his land. Man, life is cruel sometimes. So this guy can have up to 8 fiefs. I'm for sure going to give him a bunch of land right now. So he's going to have all 3 of these. And then I want him to have the Dutchy so he can kick these other vassals out. So he's going to be really good laying down the law on these disloyal vassals here. I forgot to give him one more, actually. Let's give him this other one. This one. And actually, let's see if he will convert. Yeah, 100% chance he'll convert to insularism, which is what our religion is. Nice. So he's happy about that. All right. Well, we got to wait a little bit longer. So our troops are in motion. They will get down there and be ready for a big battle. No big deal. We'll wipe them up. No problem. And then we can get back to work. Oh, here they come. Oh, that's a big one. They've got over 8,000 troops. So we'll back up and we'll reinforce. One thing that's nice when you're fighting against the Viking guys is they can't reinforce their troops. So as they attrition down, they actually cannot recharge those guys. So it's just a matter of time before they run out of troops. They're going to land over here. Yeah, they're going to split their attention, which is good for us. We can whittle down their elite troops first. We'll deal with them. And then that'll cause them to reinforce. And we should be able to destroy them. All right, we're marching as 1. Let's make sure we have the strongest guy out. It's our vassal who absolutely hates us. Minus 100. What the heck? Who are you a vassal of? Oh, okay. It's one of our recent ones. Holy crap. 29 prowess. We're going to take out the smaller group first. And by the time these guys reinforce, it's just going to be a mess. They're going to be... Yeah, they have no chance. There we go. We didn't lose hardly anybody. We got a bunch of prestige from that. We'll disband and we're in good shape. So King Ribolon is still hanging on. What the heck, man? Look at this guy. 63, infirm and melancholic. He's still in fine health. Yeah, this dude's not going to let go to the very end. Wessex is looking mighty weak. And as we already know, he doesn't own a ton of land. Yeah, look at, he took a bunch of land in Wessex. So he owns everything in Wessex. If we take this, he is landless. So we're going Dutchy, Wessex. This dude is just going to get stomped. He's only going to have non-landed titles, or whatever. I don't know what you would call that, actually. He won't own any counties. He's just going to have a duchy and kingdom title. So he's basically useless after this war. We're going to hopefully catch this small group. All right, there we go. We got him. Got him cornered. Stack wipe. How many troops does he have? 1,100? Is that these guys? No. Where's his other army? We'll keep our guys somewhat close by because I don't really know where his army is. Where is this guy's army? Sometimes they sneak out and they go after your capital. It's kind of annoying, so you gotta be wary of that, but I don't see him. So I think we're just gonna take this and be done. We'll have his capital, we'll have this other chunk of land, and we should have all the bottom of England. One thing I was gonna mention, you have to be very careful. We can marry our son off right now. This thing, sometimes people see all these and like, oh, I gotta clear all these off, otherwise, you know, I'm doing something wrong. We don't want our son to get married just yet. Or if we do, we want him to marry somebody that's old. We're basically repeating the same thing because as soon as we die, we're playing as him. So if we marry him off to another young person, we're going to have to deal with a massive succession as soon as that character dies. So either same thing, marry him off to somebody that's kind of old. Maybe he needs some help in the stewardship department. So we can have him marry Mabila. She's 35. So she'll still have some kids, but she's not going to have like 50 kids. And she'll be able to help a lot because she's got really good stats here. So actually, yeah, let's have her marry Mabila. It's going to hurt on the prestige, which sucks. When we take over, we're going to get that prestige hit as well. But whatever. Okay, you're marrying that old lady. Okay, here they are. So they were off doing God knows what. Yeah, and he's got low supply. So that means that if we attack him right now, he's going to get a massive debuff to his combat effectiveness. So let's definitely go take a fight. Yeah, look at that. So when you don't have enough food, army supply, you get a -10. So he's just not in good shape at all. They do have another army. It looks like they're hiring mercenaries. So they're going to, not only are they going to have no land, but he's going to be broke because he's blowing all of his money off right now. Let's go chase this mercenary group down. Again, we want to be careful we're not attritioning our troops. So just keep an eye out when you move them around. All right, that should be a stack wipe. Yep, stack wipe. And this guy is trying to siege that down. No big deal. We'll chase him around. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess it works out even better that way because then he'll take land that we'll end up taking anyways. So it's like no big deal. Hopefully we can end this war soon because we're at 94%. We don't need much more. Well, we don't have to worry about much else. Let's just, I guess what you would call an EU4. We'll just carpet siege him down now. Let's take a look. So right now he owns 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's got these titles. No big deal. Let's see what he goes to after we take him down. So he took a single piece of land. Yeah, so I guess he takes only one piece. But, I mean, like I said, he didn't have that before, so it's better than nothing. Most likely, he might have to deal with rebellions. Maybe some people will split off. Oh, nice. We can spend some of our piety to get some gold from the Pope. We'll definitely do that. Oh, also, we need to keep doing these titles. So I want to get Mercia under control because I want to get rid of these vassals that hate us and under control that guy that can go in there and clean it up for us. So let's go ahead and give him High Kingdom of Mercia. Yep, that one. And then this guy down here, he didn't clean up Kent yet somehow against a 12-year-old girl. How come you can't kick your freaking vassal out, dude? He'll do it eventually. Let's give all this stuff to him. I don't want to pay for the money to usurp. So we're going to wait for that one to pop on its own. Yeah, we'd have to usurp. I don't want to do that. So Powis, this one needs it, but I think let's do this one first. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, we'll take it. So instant war. Now this is part of which duchy? This is East Essex. So I'm thinking this land down here will go to one guy. The Mercia guy. Oh, it's different though. Shoot. I think I did one too many. We'll give it. Oh no, it's the same guy. Yeah. Do we want to give it to him though? Mercia, East Anglia, and East Sex. Yeah, that's fine. We'll give all this to him as well. You can have this. Dude, this guy is still alive. That's crazy, man. It's those stupid the cats. We got to get rid of the cats, man. Yeah, we got to, and the attentive care. I think that comes from the wife. If we kill the wife, does that get rid of the intent? Oh, look at that. Scheme, we can kill the wife. 95% chance. Kill the wife. Get rid of that bonus. Oh no, Sweden. How did we lose land to Sweden? That was ours. Yeah, we must have had a bad succession. Somebody must have been tied to them before they were tied to us, unfortunately. Sometimes that happens. It'll give you a little warning up here. It'll say that you're going to lose land when this person dies. That's probably what happened. Sweden doesn't seem too strong. This is an easy war for us, even if we have the same troop number, because we can easily siege this down before they get here, and then they'll have to land and take it, which means we'll get a good buff. So I looked at the assassination route, and it was like 5%. On both sides, so that ain't gonna work. He's actually gotten stronger since then too. Cheshire up here. No big deal. Just get in there and take it. All right, done. So it's kind of sucks. We're gonna have to do it slowly because unfortunately we can't take. They're like right on the border of a bunch of different duchies. So unfortunately there's no like easy war that we can do to take a bunch of land, but that's not that big of a deal. All right, let's make sure we're giving it to the correct person. So who is, oh, we don't have that one. It's the guy for York. Yeah, this one. So we want to give it to him. He will be a good steward. We need a successor. We don't have one. We will definitely pay somebody to do this. Yeah, make sure that your accolades don't go dormant. So like if you don't have a successor and this dude dies, it's pretty painful. So we'll make sure we get somebody in there. We still have a truce with most people. We have about a little over a year for Mon, but I'm not feeling like waiting a full year. Oh, we can declare war on this guy. He snuck in there. I didn't realize he was by himself. We'll take that one. Yeah, looks like he broke away. So what we can do, yeah, I didn't realize he picked up that alliance. So what we'll do is we'll take him out as well. As soon as this war is over, we'll declare war on this little one. Take that. And then that should be 13 months, I think, by the time that's all done. And we can take that, the last piece of Mon. War's done. Unfortunately, she's part of that kingdom, so we can't actually do anything there. So Mercia, East Anglia, and East Saxe is going to go to this guy. So let's give him that as well. Yeah, so we still need a little bit of time here. 6 months, that's not bad. I really want to kick Sweden out of here. It'll be a pretty easy war because they're just not going to get here in time, I don't think. So why don't we do that? We got 6 months to wait. Might as well just do this. This war is probably going to take longer than 6 months, but it's not a big deal. Get right on there and we'll keep an eye out. See where they're going to try and land. At least we need to take the war goal. We'll get ticking war score for that. I still can't believe how long this guy survived. Infirm and melancholic. Survived another like 8 years now. I think it's been since we first noticed him. Here we go. We'll finally take it. Still no sign of the enemy anywhere, so we are getting supply here, so we're good. Yep, we'll just wait it out. We'll get ticking war score. Yeah, it'll cap at plus 150%, so as long as we don't lose a ton of battles, this war is pretty much in the bag. It is going to take a lot longer than I was hoping, and there's not a whole lot we can do in the meantime. I guess we could spend some money and get some more prestige. We could also go around build more buildings, because we have space for that. Gathering Hall is nice because you do get prestige. And like I said, that's what we're using a lot of. But I feel like the war camp's still the best. Getting that +1 knight and 150 levies is quite good. And it also increases knight effectiveness. So it's just really good no matter what units we decide to use. So let's just keep doing war camp. There we go. So that's all of those. We can start upgrading. Let's see, this guy has got bow and arrow. We can upgrade this palisade to level 2. That's going to give us even more levies. And it'll give us more archer damage. So pretty expensive though. There's no upgrades to be had at any of these other ones, but what we could do is we could upgrade the tribal holding now. So this one can go up, and this one is extremely expensive. But going up to tribal hold level 2 gets you 0.3 more tax, basically double the stats on almost everything else. Not quite double in the levies or garrison. Garrison's double, but the levies only go up 150 more. So it's still worth doing. We want to upgrade all of them. We don't need the prestige. We would generally want to save the prestige in case we need to pass some of these succession policies or, you know, the voting. We don't have to deal with that, so we're just gonna, I guess we'll just spend it upgrading buildings. It looks like we can appoint a new successor, 19 prowess. That's a good find. It doesn't look like they're coming to contest this anytime soon. Let's go somewhere where we've got a little bit more supply. We are starting to run low on supplies at that location. Now, we did take out this guy's wife, and she was supposed to be providing him with the comfort or care, and it looks like his health is now poor, so that actually did work. He was getting care from the wife, We killed the wife, and now his health is actually in bad shape. So he may die sooner than I thought. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than this. I think he's going to go soon. Poor health. Yeah, he's still kicking though. Man, what a tough old dude. As soon as this is over, we can declare war on Mon. Now, unfortunately, the vassal we created over here got kicked out, it looks like. And this dude does not like us. Yeah, it looks like he took the Duke title for himself. That is exactly why I try and make very strong vassals when there's other vassals and they're below, below them, basically. They need to be able to hold their own. This guy was not able to hold his own against these others. So he just got steamrolled. Oh, look at that. He finally showed up. All right, he's going to try and get out at sea, but we're going to catch him. That should give us a decent amount of war score if we can catch him and destroy him. And that's a stack wipe. That's enough war score to let us end it. Now, we were giving land to this guy. He doesn't like us, but we could sway him if we give him even more land. So, yeah, I think that's what we'll try and do is we'll just give him a ton of land, get him on our side. We need to give this away, and this is going to the same dude that's gotten all the other stuff in this area, so you can have that. Interesting. So this changed... Yeah, this changed hands, but we still have a truce with them somehow. Still have a truce there. Let's finish up Mon. Let's just take these guys off the map. Oh, he died. Yep, he died. It must have just happened. So we need to finish this and immediately declare war on this guy, because that alliance is done for sure. All right, there's the guy from Mon. Where's he going to show up? He's actually trying to defend, so hopefully that'll end it. We got to finish the siege. And we're going to keep upgrading tribal holds when we can. We do have enough, just barely. So that'll be another one. I know it's expensive, but it does add up quite a bit when you get them all done. Finally got that done. We're going to go ahead and give this to the kid. I think if we give him enough stuff, he will eventually like us. We'll plan on giving him quite a bit, so we should be all right there. Now, we are getting kind of old. I don't want to lose the chance to do a kingdom invasion. You only get one of these per lifetime. Oh, I messed up. I spent all that prestige. Shoot. We needed it. Totally forgot about that. I guess we could do... No, it has to be that. Yeah, it's got to be that. So we just need to save up for a bit, do some raiding, do some other stuff. If we declare war here... Yeah, we don't have enough for that one, so I guess we could do some raiding. So we're going to do some raiding because that will give us quite a bit of prestige and money. None of this stuff's been raided in quite a while. Supplies are running pretty low, so I think we're just going to head back. Yeah, we're going to have to take some attrition too, unfortunately. We got 67 out of that one, and... Oh, of course. We gotta fight them, and we have low supplies, so this actually might not be good. No, we're gonna win. But yeah, I definitely didn't want to fight these guys right here. We got a little over 100 on that one. So it puts us at 571. That's exactly what we needed. And we got a ton of prisoners. Look at all these. Wow, that's a lot. That's one thing that's really good about raiding is you can make money directly, but you can also make it indirectly just through all the ransoms. So we're going to unpin this guy. And let's see what war looks like. Yep, no ally at all. So we're just going to do a kingdom invasion. That's it. Yeah, after we finish this war, we need 75. We only have 66. There's a lot up here in this one. So I'm pretty sure this war will be enough to start the empire. And then another 2 or 3 wars, we can clear these guys out and then just own everything. So let's go right for the capital. We'll siege 2. They're right next to each other in case we have to reinforce. Crap. Our chancellor just died. All right, here they come. It looks like they're going to siege instead of trying to fight. So we'll just, we'll take the capital. So we successfully took the capital. All right, we are starting to lose supplies. So let's go resupply here. And he'll just sit on this mountain. And we should be able to kick him off. We have a pretty big advantage here. And we are being attacked by the Northmen, it looks like. Yeah, another 8,000 coming in. That's fine. We're in good shape in this war. Oh, we just stack wiped them. That was huge. All right, well, we need to end this sooner than later so that we can focus on the other guys. So why don't we do that right now? Let's try and siege these down. All right, here come the Northmen. They can take 1 or 2 things. As long as the war score doesn't go, you know, that high, then it's fine. We just don't need to go to 100. As long as we stop it before then, we'll be fine. Right, this thing's done in 3 months. Jeez, that's so fast. 6 days. We should be able to get there, though. These 2 are going to be done soon. All right, there we go. That war's done. Let's finish it off. So we got the entire, basically the entirety of Scotland is all ours now. Let's go ahead and put our new items to work. We got a trinket, so some roe antlers, give us some prestige and stress gain reduction, and a dagger. +5 prowess is pretty good for a dagger. We're way over limit. Look at that, 20 out of 7. So that's not ideal. Got a lot of prisoners we can get money for. Let's go ahead and deal with that. Do the rest later. We can start the Empire of Britannia. That's kind of cool. Let's do that. Yeah, we are now an emperor and we own pretty much everything up here. We do need to give away some lands though, so let's do that. I think what we'll do is let's give this away to one person and hopefully they can keep this other guy in check. I think that would be ideal. This guy seems pretty good. We'll just give everything to him. He'll sort it out. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any of these titles. Let's see if we can create them. Yeah, we can. We'll at least give him one so that he's not like stuck with not being able to make vassals. So he can make vassals now that we make him a duke. There we go. So he should be pretty happy there. Let's go ahead and rally both of our forces. This guy wants to attack us. There we go. Smash through that. And he supposedly has another 800 somewhere. 1300. I don't know where the heck this guy is. He's stuck sailing or something. We got to find out where he is, and then we can finish the war. He's supposed to be here somewhere. Let's also give this guy the High Chieftain of Lothian. That'll give him control over these crappy vassals. If we do the white piece, we give up on getting the prestige. Oh, you know what? He's over here. We'd have to go attack him. Yeah, we're definitely not doing that. What a waste of time. Man, that's so stupid. We can create another accolade because we become an emperor. You get a second one when you do that. Not see any good ones. We'll hold off on that for now, but at least we had the option. I don't know what to do here because we can't. Yeah, we should just do white piece. Such a waste of time. Yeah, that's fine. This is 2 wars to clean this up. This one's 2 wars. So we got basically another 5 years. We can do both of these wars. That wraps up the first run. We were able to form an empire title before our starting ruler died, taking just over 36 years. Now, most runs don't go this smoothly though, so I redid it and ran into significantly more problems the second time around, which means there's more to learn from. Let's jump right into run number 2. We want to make sure we do an 867 start date up here at the top, and then down at the bottom left, we're going to play as any ruler. Now, there's a few options to pick in terms of who to start with. It starts with a single county. I prefer Ormond because the ruler is only 24 years old. We'll have plenty of time to expand and get our house in order before we pass on to an heir. Now, before we jump in, we need to look at our starting stats. We don't know the exact stats that we have, but we do know some of the personality traits. We actually got pretty lucky here with this guy. We got some decent ones, and you see these ones are highlighted in green. These are going to give you a bonus to your piety gain each month. In this case, we actually have 2, so we'd be getting +2 piety. The only thing you need to know about that is we will use piety to declare war on our neighbors, so we do need some of it. If we were to start with a bunch of red outlined things, that means we would be getting negative piety each month, meaning it would be very difficult to actually expand. So if you have red options here, make sure you re-roll your character. This is a good character, but I'm going to re-roll it just for the purposes of this. So you go back in the bottom left, you click the back button, exit to main menu, new game, and again, you just recycle it. 867, and hopefully we get another decent one. And in this case, we actually have a bad one. We got -2 for greedy, so that's not good. We did get chased again, so that offsets some of it. But again, I don't recommend playing with a bunch of these negatives. So in this case, I'm going to re-roll it again. I'll edit the rest out till we're ready to go. Okay, we're going to roll with this guy. He's got Diligent, which gives us some stewardship. I highly recommend for this run, making sure you get somebody that's got some stewardship bonuses. So in this case, we got a +3 from here. Arrogant gives us some prestige. Not really that important right now to know what that does. Stewardship, another +2. So we actually have a +5 from this character. Not bad at all. We don't have any green, which means we're not going to be getting a piety bonus. Not the end of the world, so I think this is something that we can work with. Like I said, just make sure you don't have a bunch of the red ones. Let's go ahead and start. Now, first thing first, we generally want to start from left to right up here at the top. Let's go ahead and choose our lifestyle first. Now, in the very beginning, I recommend going Martial. So we're going to switch over here to this red one, Martial, and then we have to pick a focus first. Not really going to go into too much detail here other than we're going to pick the middle one because it increases control growth. This will make sense very soon, but let's just pick authority focus for now. Next, we need to worry about getting married. There's a lot of different strategies to do here. Again, we're just going to keep this very simple. What I would like to do is pick somebody that's going to help complement our main character. So we have 14 Stewart on our own, which is actually quite high. Stewart helps determine how many pieces of land you can have. Right now, we can have 5 pieces of land. We're currently only owning 1. We can have 4 more. But if we have a wife, the wife can actually increase how many we can hold. So having a good wife does make a bit of a difference. So what I'm going to do is sort by stewardship. So let's see if there's a decent one. There's actually this lady, Ingebjorg. Totally butchered her name, Ingebjorg. She also has an inheritable trait. So these are good. Again, you don't need to worry too much about it. If you see things up here that are green, this is good because it means your kids could potentially get them. So 18 Stewart, she's ready to go. Let's go ahead and marry her. So we'll send her a proposal. Let's also go and take care of some of these up here on this current situation tab. So if we click that, there's a lot of things that we could address right now. Starting from the top, we can pick a court physician. Now, unfortunately, aptitude is poor. So the best person that we have is bad. So let's actually not assign somebody for a court physician. I'm going to show you how to set up your court very quickly. I'd say it'd take you maybe 3 or 4 minutes to get this done. So at the top right, we're going to look at our council. You see this green chair, or F4 is a hotkey. We're going to look at our court. We've got a decent people here, actually. So if you look at these numbers, these are the ones associated with this job that they're doing. So 12 is decent, 10 is okay, 17 is really good, and then 16 decent. So these are all actually quite good. If they didn't have good numbers here, we could replace them. In this case, I don't think it's necessary. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out the rest of our courtier. So we're going to go to this tab right here, the courtier, right below the chair. So, or F5 is the hotkey. And then this middle button right here, the courtier. Now, these are all the people that are in our court, either people that are already in our court or people who are potentially able to join if we pay them money. We don't want to pay any money. We're cheap. We're going to be cheap bastards this time. So let's go ahead and add some filters here so we can look at the people we want to look at. We're going to find people to join our court that can help fill jobs for us. So we need to do what's called a filter. So this little eyeglass button, we'll click that. We're going to go down to marital status, unmarried, and then right below it, we have gender. Let's go ahead and flip that to female. We want to find all the females in our court who are not married. Now, this lady actually will cost us a little bit of money. I'm suggesting if it's cheap enough, do it. 11 gold is pretty cheap. I think it's worth the price. The reason we want to find unmarried females is because we can send marriage offers to anybody we want to just about and have them join our court. So I mentioned earlier that everybody in our council is actually pretty good, so we don't really need to worry about that. The next thing we need to fill for is champions. These are people that are going to fight on our behalf. These are basically nobles. We don't have good ones. 11 is not terrible, but that's our best, and everybody else is downhill from there. So what we want to do is fill our court with males of high prowess so that they can fight for us and do a really good job at it. So let's go ahead and start this lady we just hired for 11 gold. We're going to click on her portrait. We're going to click find a spouse up here in the top left. And now we get to find her a spouse. Very, very important. When you marry a female off from your court and you don't want them to leave your court, you have to do matrilineal marriage. That'll cut down on the selection of how many people are willing to join you. Not really that big of a deal. It's okay. We want to find anybody who's willing to join our court by doing matrilineal marriage. We're going to click this drop-down menu, go to prowess, and whoever's on top, this dude's got 15. Next one lower is 15, 15. So these are all pretty good. Whoever's on the top, that's fine. We go down to the next one. So we did the top one. Let's do all of these, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. We don't need anybody else. Again, we're going to do the 15. Now, let's say, for example, in your game, you don't know what these numbers are going to be. If you get somebody that's terrible at something, like let's say this guy was a 4, we would for sure want to replace him. Then what I would recommend doing is go to your courtier tab, just like we were doing here, choose the next person available, get them ready for marriage, matrilineal, and then we want to sort by whatever it is they're short on. So if we have a really bad steward, we could marry her off to this guy. He'll join our court, and we can replace him with a 17 steward, which is really, really good. In this case, I'm okay with having a mediocre steward. I'd rather have good combatants. So I'm actually going to keep focusing on people that are going to fight for us. So this guy, again, he's got 15. Now we get to marry off our sisters. We're going to whore out our family, which is kind of sad, but also kind of how it worked back then. We get a guy with 21, really good. So 21, we're going to hire him. Our other sister is going to be married to an 18 or 17. This guy's a little bit older, so I would maybe think twice about that. He might die soon. Not soon, but in the relatively near future. So if we go with somebody who's quite a bit younger, 13 years younger, we do give up 1 prowess for it. So that might be something to consider. Like if this dude's 80 years old, you probably want to take somebody else. He's not going to last too long, but it's fine. We'll take him for now. There we go. So everybody's getting married. We'll leave them be. As soon as we unpause, those marriage proposals will start coming in. The next thing we need to do is worry about, again, we'll come back up to our current situation tab. Court physician. We need to hire somebody that can do the court job. Now, we don't want to waste our females because only the males can do certain jobs, but females can be in the position of spy master. They can also be in the position of court physician. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this filter. Now we want to look at the unmarried males, and we want to find somebody. Oh, this dude's really old. Yeah, we want to find a wife for this guy for two really big reasons. Number one, we want to find somebody that's got high learning, because high learning is what determines how good of a surgeon they're going to be, or a court physician. Not only that, but she's only 24 years old. She has a long time to live. The husband, he's going to die soon, 77 years old. So what happens is she joins our court. When he dies, we can remarry her to somebody else, either a combatant. If we lose somebody, we can fill another court position. So anytime you have old people in your court that are unmarried, marry them off to a very young girl. And as soon as they die, you'll be able to use them to fill your court with good positions. So in this case, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm going to butcher it though. Kness? Maybe the C's silent, whatever. Anyways, this lady, handsome young lady. So she's going to join our court. And again, she will be a court physician for us. This guy's fairly old as well. Let's go ahead and get him a spouse. I don't really care who they are. I just want young. The younger they are, the better, because that means they're going to live a long time. She'll join. I don't really need to marry off the other people yet. I think we're good there. Now, next on the list, we'll assign that court physician as soon as she joins the court. We have to unpause to let the marriages go through. Next, we're going to station our men-at-arms. We have 3 different regiments. We've got armored footmen, we've got light horsemen, and pikemen. Now, we have most pikemen. We have 3 out of 5 here. The other ones are only 1 out of 5. So we're going to station the pikemen first, because stationing them basically means you get a bonus for that unit. So right now, these guys do 22 damage and 24 defense. By stationing them, he picks up another 11 damage and 9.6 defense. It's a massive, massive bonus. So you always want to make sure you boost them up. Yeah, you can see now it's actually 33 and 34. So quite good there. We probably want to boost these guys up. So their numbers are only 3 out of 5. We have room for a few more. It's going to cost us some of our prestige, which is this number right here. It doesn't matter. Let's spend it. So we'll put 2 more into the prestige. I think that'll help quite a bit. And that's pretty much it. Most of our people are accounted for as far as marriage goes. Our brother could get married too. Why don't we do that? Let's get him a marriage. Now, I would highly recommend in the beginning is don't do marriages that result in alliances. So if you ever see this right here, next to a marriage proposal, this means you have a potential alliance. When you marry this person off, it will result in an alliance. Again, I don't really recommend taking an alliance at this stage of the game. I would probably find somebody else. So for him, let's go ahead and find somebody that's got good traits. So what we can do is we can go to the filters, traits, inheritable traits, and we'll just pick anybody. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. We'll just pick somebody. We want him to have a lot of kids? Yeah, let's do fecund. So his fertility is plus 50%. This lady is just a savage. There we go. So she's going to join. Now we just need to unpause, let our marriages go through, and then we'll start looking at the next step. So you can see you're going to get completely spammed by all these pop-ups with marriages. We sent out, I don't know, 9, maybe 10 of them. So again, you're just going to get bombarded. Now, I'm not going to go over every single pop-up because that's going to drag this thing out. But what I would say in this type of campaign, because we use a lot of prestige for what we're doing, we need prestige to hire units and pay them. I recommend taking options that give you prestige over options that give you gold. So in this case, we can take 75 gold or we could take 350 prestige. I'm going to for sure go prestige in this case. So we'll go that route. And what we need to do is we need a little bit of time to pass, because if you see right here in the top right, our total soldiers is actually pretty good. Almost 1,000 troops in the beginning is good. Our pikemen is not completely full. We need a few months for them to replenish. They gather 50 a month and they have 350 right now. So basically 3 more months, they'll be at full strength. But we probably have some weak neighbors that we can attack and take advantage. So what we're going to do is start checking. You right click on the flags, declare war, and you can see how strong they are. So we outnumber these guys by quite a bit. Let's check the other neighbors, see if there's a really weak one. Yeah, this guy's super weak. We're definitely going to go after him. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but what I recommend in this campaign specifically, we are going to try and target a couple pieces of land. So right now we own the county of Ormond. We're going to go 1 level up from that, which is a duchy title. So a duchy is made up of several counties. So in this case, the Duchy of Munster is made up of 4 different counties. So we want to make sure we own all of the counties in the Duchy of Munster, and we're going to also own all of the ones in Connacht. So we want to own all this land right here on the west side. So it's probably better to do your expansion first into these lands so that you can take advantage of these lands before you start giving land away to vassals and whatnot. We want to take the land for ourselves so we can become strong. Let's check a couple more neighbors just to see how strong they are. These guys are pretty strong. Yeah, these guys have more troops than we do. This looks like the juiciest target at only 420 troops. So we're going to go ahead and declare war with the Conquer County Cassius Belli, which is basically saying we're going to jack your land. It's going to cost us a little bit of piety, which is what I was telling you before. You don't want to have negative piety from those personality traits. It's good that we got rid of all the negative ones and we only have either neutral or positive ones. It's going to cost us 15. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we want to move our rally point, which is where our troops are going to come out of, as close to the enemy capital as we can. So what we do is we click on this little red flag. We'll move it. We have two options. Let's move it closest. And then down here in the bottom left, raise here. And we're just going to immediately move them. They won't move until the troops are all rallied. They're going to head out there, smash some skulls. Now, before the troops meet, we can take a look at who we want to lead this. So right now we have our brother-in-law who's commanding the troops. He has 21 martial skill. He's going to be the best person for the job. We could lead it as well, but we would not do as well. Every point that you get in here means that you're going to kill more of their troops than they will kill of yours. And of course, if they have a commander that's got higher than ours, then it's going to be the opposite. So you always want to get as good a commander as possible. But let's go ahead and fight this battle. And we should smash these guys handedly. Oh, our wife is pregnant. Nice. So we're already putting in work. And every time you finish a battle that you win, or a siege that you win, or if you raid somebody and you take stuff, you have a chance of capturing some of their people. So in this case, we got this guy as a prisoner. Let's go see who we got. So we're going to go to the courtiers tab again. And up here on the top right is the prisoners. Let's see what his stats are. So he's actually pretty good martial. He's got good martial stats. His prowess is not great, but his martial skill is pretty good. So we could hire him and just keep him as a backup commander if we really wanted to. And we could do that by negotiating release, which is this button right here, and then recruit. And you'll see he gets released and he joins our court. So now he's part of us. Probably not necessary in this case where our commanders are really good, but if you get somebody that's got good stats, it doesn't hurt to bring him in. And they're just going to go back and forth until we capture it, so we can speed this up. Now, one thing we do have to watch out for, we might get raided because our troops are somewhere else. They're not able to defend, so that's kind of a bummer. Oh, nice. So we won that battle and we actually took all of their troops. It's called a stack wipe. And we captured their heir, it looks like. So what we're going to do is take a look at the prisoner that we got, which is, of course, like I said, their heir. We can actually ransom the heir for 50 gold. So if we ransom the heir, we may not have enough war score to finish. Yeah, actually, we do have enough. So what I recommend before you end any war, you want to see what prisoners you have and see if you can make some money off of these people. So we're going to ransom their people back to them, the heir. So we'll get the 50 gold. We're going to go for 49, yep, up to 100. And you can see our war score actually dipped to only 50, so now we have to finish the siege. You have to weigh out whether it's better to finish the war fast or if it's better to have the gold. In this case, we're almost done with the siege. We might as well just finish it, and then we can get both the gold and the ward over. There we go. It's done. We don't own any of their prisoners anymore, so we can go ahead and safely end the war. Disband our troops, so we don't have to keep paying for them, and then they will keep replenishing their numbers. Now, a couple things. Anytime you take land, you always have to make sure that there's nothing else you can do. In this case, there's quite a few things we can do. Also, we forgot to employ a court physician. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see the lady that I can't pronounce her name properly is in here, and she's average. She's got 20 learning, so she's actually going to be a really good court physician. So we'll hire her for that. We can station another group of our men-at-arms. We can either do the light horsemen or the armored footmen. These armored footmen are really strong, so we're going to do them first. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we need to tell our council members to fix our land. So right now, we have a marshal that is currently doing organized army. This is going to reduce the army maintenance, and it's also going to increase the garrison size and levy reinforcement rates. Not really that important, but just know that this one's not amazing. You can also train commanders, which makes your fighting force more effective. It basically increases their effectiveness in combat. Really, what we want to do is we want to increase control in the county. We're going to do it for Desmond. This is the land that we just took. Anytime you take land fresh, you're going to have 0 control over it, and we need to get control back. So you can see right here, we're getting 1.1 per day. We get a 0.3 bonus from that authority focus I was telling you before. Remember, we picked the martial stat authority focus. We get a 0.3 from there. We also get 0.7 increase from our marshal because that's what we have him working on right now. So every time we get more control, that means we would increase our levies, which is how many troops we have, and also the taxes we gain from the land. So right now we're getting a minus 50 levies and minus 100 taxes. It's really painful. So you want to get control of your lands as fast as humanly possible. So we're good there. That war is done. We don't have to worry about them. Let's see if his neighbor is conquerable. They actually have more troops than we do, so we got to be careful there. We could take a smaller neighbor. You generally want to pick on the weaker people first. Probably would be this guy, so let's go ahead and attack him. We want to keep the wars hard and fast. So again, I'm going to skip this because it's mostly repeat. Oh, we actually had our first kid, and it's a daughter. So daughters, oh nice, and she got the inheritable trait quick. That's really good because remember we married somebody who has the physical trait quick, so it just makes them better. They get +1 in all the stats. Females can't rule unless they're the only heir right now because basically how our religion is set up. The more important thing is we want to have a son because if you have a daughter in a place that's not set up for female rule, everybody's going to hate them. It's going to make your job a lot harder. So you generally want to go with what is going to be the easiest. So we want to get a male heir in there at some point. Luckily, both of us are young. We're 24. The wife's only 22. She's going to be spitting babies out soon. All right, now we had an incident come up. Our father died, which is unfortunate. We didn't get any stress from it, so I guess we hated the guy for some reason. But anyways, one thing that's important there is we still have our mother in the court. Remember how we'd kind of hoard out our sisters? Well, you guessed it, we're going to do the same thing with our mom. Mom, you're getting married. We want a matrilineal marriage, and again, we want prowess. We want to find the baddest dude that we can find. Unfortunately, it's only 12. That's not actually good at all. It's probably because she's old. She's 45 years old, so nobody really wants to marry her. I guess we'll take a 12. Yeah, we'll take a 12. It's fine. Not the best, but again, it's better than nothing, and we replaced our father now, so he's gone. We also took prisoners from this, and again, before you end a war, just check and see if you can make money off of these people. We got 50 gold for that, 50 gold for that. They may not have money for both, so let's see what it is. So they had 50 and then 20, so they don't have the full ransom. They're not going to be around as soon as the war's over because we're going to take their last piece of land. So let's just get every bit of gold we can from them. We got an extra 70 from taking everybody, and our gold balance is actually quite strong right now. So we'll end the war. We don't plan on keeping this land long term. We're going to give this away to a vassal at some point. So we're not going to switch or increase control here. We're just going to let the vassal deal with it. That's fine. We'll just own it for temporary. We have over 1,000 troops now, and we still are gaining more each day. We have a bit of prestige that we can spend. So what I'm going to recommend doing here is let's go ahead and, well, first of all, let's station, because we own another piece of land. We can station our cavalry there. Let's go ahead and increase the armored footmen. These guys are just savages. So really, really strong units. Let's go ahead and pump 100 more. Yeah, we don't want to go too crazy because these guys are really expensive to maintain. We will get a little bit there. So that'll increase the amount of troops that we can field. And it looks like we might be getting raided here. Let's see where they go. We might have to defend our lands. Yep, they are raiding. So as soon as you see somebody raiding, pause the game. Move your rally point close by. We can raise our army here and then just immediately send them in. Like I said, they'll wait till they're full. This guy's not going to raid. You don't want to get raided because they will start killing your people. They'll capture them and try and sell them back to you for a huge amount of money. It's just not good. You don't want to deal with it. So we very quickly dealt with their raiders. We actually got some gold and a little bit of prestige from it. No big deal. Now, again, we want to start working our way up this way because these are the lands that we want to own ultimately. Let's go ahead and take Thomond. They have 900 troops. They only have bowmen, though. We have counters to their troops, so we can easily take them out. This guy owns 2 pieces of land, so we have to choose which one we want to take. I don't think it matters too much in this case. We're just going to take Thomond so we can have nice, clean borders, but it's just more for personal aesthetics. You can take either one and you'll be just fine. So same thing, raise army as close as we can, send them in, and smash these kids. Look at that. Our army is so strong compared to theirs. We just obliterated them. We actually took their leader, so this is what I was talking about earlier. We could easily sell this guy back to them. We would get 50 gold for it. But if we do that, we're going to have to fight a few more battles. Remember before they just ping pong back and forth, fighting you and running. And we'd have to finish the siege, which is going to take 8 months. 8 months is kind of a long time. If we end the war right now, we could easily attack somebody else right away and keep expanding. But if we take the 50 gold, it's going to slow us down. So again, is 50 gold worth ending the war now so we can attack somebody else? Because there's other targets we can take right now that are probably worth it. So what I'm going to recommend here is let's actually end the war and not sell him. Take his land. We'll disband the troops, and again, we're going to look to see who's the next easy target. There's a couple people up here that have 2 pieces of land each. This guy that we just took one from, this one always starts with 2 as well, the High Chieftain Mokunacht. We want to take him out, but he might have, yeah, he's got a decent army. We could probably take him anyways, but it might be good to fight this guy. This guy's having some issues right here, and he owns 2 pieces of land, Ailech and Athlon. So if we fight him, yeah, look at, he's got no troops left. He's literally on his last troop. We could take this very easily and then take this one next. So why don't we do that? Let's take Athlon. Set it right here. These 4 guys are just going to get stomped. They have 200 troops left. Oh, interesting. They took the land from somebody. So they were at war with somebody. They took it. Now we're at war with somebody. Oh, I'm so confused, actually. What happened? Yeah, they got a few more troops now. Either way, same war goal. We want to take all the land. They look like they're going to come try and take our land. They have just under 600 troops here. If we keep on this siege, what's going to happen is they're going to go siege our land. And because of the AI, they're cheating bastards. They're going to get there before we do. So what we want to do is actually fight them before they siege our stuff, because it's just going to be a bloodbath. So let's go ahead and fight them. Take these guys out. We're way ahead, so we could just charge in even if they have favorable terrain. It doesn't really matter. Again, we took the captive. So again, we could get money for this. It's probably another 50. Oh, it's 100 this time. That's a lot. That might be worth it. I'm going to say in this case, ending the war quickly is going to be worth it more because we can immediately turn and attack these guys, and we are stronger than them by quite a bit. So let's keep expanding. We want to keep our borders going and keep the momentum going in our favor. Their army's out right now and raiding as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them raid, and we're going to surprise these guys. Was it like that Dexter show?
Surprise, motherfucker.
So we're going to smash their army. They have nowhere to go. And that's it. We can go take their capital. We might have to fight them one more time, but it's okay. Yeah, we'll fight them again. But we should stack wipe them here. No, they're fighting hard. All right, they're just going to sit on their capital. I'm going to speed this up till it's done. There we go. So we got it. Enforce our demands. And now we own a lot of land. So you can see here, we own 6 pieces of land. We can only hold 5. But remember I mentioned before, we did get married was to somebody who's really good at helping us out with owning land. So right now our wife is set to assist ruler, which means she gives bonuses to every single stat that we have. We only want her to give us stats to stewardship because that's the thing that we're lacking the most right now. So we're going to switch her to manage domain. That's going to give us a 6 out of 6. We are no longer having an issue with holding too many pieces of land. So we're good. We can continue our conquest here. Now, we did lose a big chunk of troops there. We might need to hold off and recoup a few of our troops. I would also think it's a good idea. We have quite a bit of prestige. Let's spend a little on getting more troops. And in this case, I think it's, again, the armored footmen are going to be the best option. So let's put 100 more into that. And another option that we have, we own enough land in the Duchy of Munster. Remember I mentioned before, there's 4 pieces of land here. We own 3 out of the 4, which means we own a majority. And we can create the title there. So by creating title, that actually increases our rank. So we went from being a county to being a duchy now. So a lot of things come with that. We actually get more champions because of it. We can field an extra men-at-arms regiment. And there's a few other things, but those are the important ones. Another important thing that'll come into play later is you can give land away at the county level and still have them as a vassal. So that's pretty important. We'll do that probably on the next piece of land that we take because we don't want to go over our limit here. So let's start picking off these weaklings over here on the side. Yeah, let's take Osiri next. We're getting pretty beat up in these battles somehow. I'm not sure how. We have a lot better army than they do. Yeah, so we lost our Stewart. We can replace him with this champion. He's got 12 Stewarts, so he's actually better than the previous one we had, so that's actually not a bad thing. Now, we did unlock our first martial perk, and you can see it's up here. It says available perks 1. We're going to go serve the crown. This one gives us another 0.3 control growth per month, so it's going to allow us to gain control of our lands even faster. More money, more troops, etc. So very important. There we go. We won the siege. We took a lot of prisoners. This time we own everything that they have, so we can sell everything and make a ton of money. Let's go do that. So we sold the wife for 25. We're selling the husband for 50. This guy's worth 10. This guy's worth 10. So we just made a lot of money from them just by selling their captives back to them. So enforced demands, we take the land. And now, I mentioned before, we are above our domain holdings. Now, you have to be very careful when you do this. Make sure you cannot give land away of the same rank that you are currently at. So if your highest rank, let's say the highest thing you own is 1 county, or you own like 5 counties, but you don't own any duchy titles, you cannot give a county away because if you're the same rank and you give it away, that person will become independent. You cannot have vassals of the same rank. They have to be lower than you. So because we own a duchy title, we own at least one, we can give away as many county lands as we want and they will become our vassals. So right now, because we already started the duchy, we can do that. Let's give away one of these, probably the one we just took. Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. Let's just give this one away. Now we could give this away to anybody we want. Now, a couple ways to do this. When you click on the lands, you got to make sure you're clicking on the capital. You can see there's 4 chunks. These are called baronies. So there's 4 baronies to this one county. You can't click on these to give land away, but click on the capital, which is the one that has the name attached to it. You always just look to the name. That's the giveaway to where the capital is for that county. And then in the bottom left, you can do grant to, and it'll pull up all these people. We probably want to give land away to people that are on our council. So our chancellor is a good option because he's got high stewardship. So let's go ahead and give that to him. And again, he's going to be our vassal now because we own a title higher than what he has currently. So he can be our vassal. And also notice right here, we are back to 6 out of 6. We're not going to get any debuffs from that. Yeah, going over your domain holding is really bad. It takes away your income, your troops. It's quite painful. So try to stay under that as best you can. Now, we've been running our army pretty thin here. I think it might make sense to wait just a month or two and get a couple of those reinforcement ticks. There we go. So we're looking pretty healthy here. Now, one other thing that's important, when you're looking at who to declare war on, if you just declared war on somebody, you can't do it again for 5 years. It's called a truce. So we attacked these guys, we attacked these guys, we also attacked Connacht. But notice we can actually declare war on them before the truce timer is up. And the only reason that is because we had a truce with the person that was ruling there before, this guy right here. It looks like he died of old age and his son took over. The truce is between people, not between kingdoms, not between lands. It's between people. So let's say, for example, we attack these guys, we take a piece of land, and then that person dies in battle, we assassinate them, they die of old age. For whatever reason, if that person dies, we can immediately go back and declare war on them because, again, it's between people. And if the person we had a truce with is dead, that truce is now invalid. So we're going to immediately declare war on these guys. We're going to take that chunk of land and be done with it. Now, they're actually getting attacked by the Briefni. We're going to let them attack and burn their troops. Actually, they're not going to attack. Looks like we got to do it. Here we go. War's over. Sell off prisoners. Since we own everything, we have no use for any of these people. There's another option for getting easy people in your court. So you can see if you have female prisoners, double check and see if they have a spouse. This person did have a spouse, but he's actually dead. This was the guy that we declared war on. This was the chief. We can recruit the wife into our court and then marry her off because she's unmarried. So we'll take her in. Again, we're going to go to our courtier. We're going to arrange by female that are unmarried. And there she is. You can see her. She's right there. Actually, let's end the war first. And it looks like these people were trying to take this land as well. And so we own the land now. So we actually have the war transferred on us. So we have to deal with these guys. We just have to fight, get them off. We either take their land or we'll kill their army. Either way, it should be enough to end the war. Some forts are a lot harder to take than others. This one's a level 4 and it's on a mountaintop, so it's got pretty good bonuses. Let's go ahead and leave and see if we can smash their army, and maybe that'll be enough to end the war. And our wife had another kid. Holy crap, it's another daughter. We had 2 daughters. We don't have to worry about succession issues yet, but if we keep having daughters, we won't have a proper heir, unfortunately. There we go. We are definitely going to end this. There's no need to siege them down. So that war's over. Now, once again, we are over our domain limit because we own land. We took another piece, but we don't want to keep this one. Ultimately, we want to give that one away. So let's give it to the same guy. There's several ways to do this, to give land to the same person. I find the easiest way is just to go to that person, the land that you already gave. You right click on his portrait and then grant titles. And then you just click on the land that you just took. So we can take, you can have either of these. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to go ahead and give him Ossuary. There we go. That puts us back below the limit. We are in great shape. Our vassal loves us because we're giving him a bunch of lands. And once again, our prestige is looking really healthy. Let's go ahead and pump one more group into, we're going to do another 100 into the men-at-arms. Now, we also own enough land in the next duchy that we want to own, which is Connacht. So let's go ahead and click on that. We'll create the title. It costs us a little bit of gold, but we do get a lot of prestige for it, so it's definitely worth it. And that's going to open up the option to start the Kingdom of Ireland. So that's the next title that we can obtain. So we'll go to the Kingdom titles. So you can see right here, the Kingdom of Ireland. If you click on this tab right here and then click on the flag for Ireland, You can see down here, if we own 8 out of the 14 counties in Ireland, we can become the king. And because we just took our 8th, we can create the title, and we are now officially a king. Now, when you're a king, you actually get to place your 2 banners, and it's totally random which banner you'll get. In this case, we actually got a really good one. We get +1 knights. That's really good. And then the other one is kind of trash. This is more common. Natural dread and prestige per dread. It's not very good. And you get there by going to your throne room, which is right here, your royal court in the bottom right. And then this tab right here is court artifacts up here in the top left. It'll show up with a plus sign. You just put them on. So by being a king, we actually get more benefits as well. We can have +1 more domain holdings. So we went from 6 out of 6 to 6 out of 7. So we can hold another piece of land. We get more champions like we did last time. And then we get another man-at-arms that we can hire. And what I'm going to do actually is hire a bowman and a light footman. These guys are both very inexpensive, but they do quite a bit of damage. So we'll go ahead and put both of these somewhere. We'll let them do their thing. And then again, our army's continuing to grow. Now our truce ended with this guy over here. We can attack him again. This is another piece of land that we want to own. We want to own Briffany and Enos, and then we'll have everything we want. We can give these other pieces of land away. So let's go ahead and take this. We will have almost all of our lands consolidated at this point. Now, something interesting happened in the middle of that war. We're getting attacked by Vikings. This is an event that happens kind of, I don't know if it's random, but it happens several times. It will happen several times in your campaign. Just be aware it's not usually that big of a deal. And it will usually come at the worst times. Like if you're in 1 or 2 wars at a time, they will just spam you with these. So it's fine. We'll deal with it. We're almost done with this war, and then we can focus on dealing with these Viking guys. There we go. So we'll end the war. We need to give away a piece of land, so we're going to give away Athlon, because that's not what we want to own. Actually, we are 7 out of 7. We can hold on to it. We'll give it away when we own this Briefni. Now, they sent 3,600 troops here. Let's see where they're going to go siege, and then we'll go attack them there. Now, oftentimes, they come in 2 groups. One group is going to be highly trained troops, so in this case, it'll be Huskarl and whatever the other one is, Figment, I can't remember how you pronounce it. And then the rest are going to be these levies, which are actual garbage. We're going to attack the smaller group first. Oh, they're going to attack us, rather. So this is good news. We'll get a head start on taking out their highly trained troops, and then we'll smash the levies when they reinforce. Yeah, look at that. Tough battle. We're going to lose a lot of troops, but we are going to obliterate them. So, like I said, these Vikings are usually not that big of a deal, and believe it or not, it can be a positive to do it, because when we end the war, we're going to get 350 prestige. It's quite a lot. And you can see our prestige is way up there, 1,600. Really, really, really good. Now, a couple things we can do now. We've got options to start an Accolade. We can start another Dutchy. We can give some family members away to marriage. Not really that big of a deal. Some champions. There's a lot of things we can do. We are short on champions, though. We have 10 out of 12. That's a bit of a problem. So let's go see if there's any unmarried females. There's a lot of unmarried females, actually. So let's go ahead and do that first. Our sister, give us those big hunkin' men. 22. That's really good. So prowess, we're just going to go down the line and get everybody married to big hunkin' men. Now, some of these people, the options aren't very good, like 10 prowess. So we're probably going to hold off on them. We've got a few really good ones going out there, though. We'll have some really good warriors. Let's actually let the marriages go through, and then we'll look at starting an Accolade. So you can get to the Accolade screen 2 different ways. You can go to the champions and Accolades right here on the army, the military tab. And then you can see it's this giant plus sign up here. We can have 1 Accolade. And the way you do it is you click on anybody on this list. Not everybody's going to have the same types of accolades. So what you could do is you can hover your mouse over this little helmet symbol, and it'll tell you what they're possibly up for. Now, in this case, Marauder, Thug, Valiant, these are all decent, but it's not really the one we're looking for. If you look down here at this guy, he has the option to do the Archer one, which is actually, in my opinion, one of the better ones. Anything that upgrades your troops is really good. So let's go ahead and give him the Accolade. So he has Archer. It gives us plus Archer regiment size. So we can, instead of getting 1 out of 5, it's going to be up to 9. So we can have up to 9 regiments of archers in there. It also boosts their combat stats. So if you look right here, it's a plus 10 archer damage and plus 10 toughness. As this guy wins more battles, he's going to increase the rank of this. And it'll end with giving us plus 8 regiments instead of plus 4. 25% less archer maintenance, more damage, and more toughness. It's such a good thing to have. You always want to get good accolades. if you can get it. Some of them are not really that good, like this one, Prestige per Dread, like Big Whoop, who cares? Territory Advantage, yeah, some of the other stuff's not that good, but you know, it's really the primary one that we're after in this case. So we'll create the Accolade. And then you can see here, now our Archer went from 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 9. So let's spam Archers. Let's just, let's get as many Archers in there as we can. Our army is going to absolutely skyrocket in size. And our Queen is pregnant again. I'm telling you, this lady is just doing a bang up job. No pun intended. So let's let a couple months go by so we can get a few more troops and then we'll start attacking people again. Here we go. This guy is, we don't have a truce with him and he's got 2 pieces of land. So let's go ahead and take that. Actually, we could take the Dutchy. Yeah. So at this point, we have 2 options. We could attack this guy for a county, which means we get 1 piece of land, or we can attack for the Dutchy, which is everything in the Dutchy that he owns. And in this case, he owns 2 pieces of land and he doesn't have any vassals. So we would actually get both of these with a single war. Now it's more expensive. It's going to cost us 95 piety, whereas doing the single Dutchy is only 35. So you're actually paying a premium. So if we were to take these 2 separately, it only costs 70, but we don't have to worry about a truce. It's only 1 war. So let's definitely do the Dutchy war. There we go. We got a son. And unfortunately, he's not smart. The wife did not give our son the quick trade, unfortunately. But that's okay. We do have an heir now. That's good news. We did get another perk as well. So let's go ahead and take the next perk, which is increase county control progress gain by 20%. So that's going to increase our progress control even more. And speaking of which, we almost have full control here. Let's go ahead and switch this to somebody else. So we go back to our council. We own a lot of land that has low control. So let's start increasing control. Enos is one we just took. So it's going to be really low. We'll switch it to there. Now we can end the war. Let's take it. We got both of these. And they were being attacked by Briefne. So we have to go ahead and defeat these guys. They were sieging. Let's go ahead and defend that siege now. And it's a stack wipe. And we captured somebody important enough to end the war. Beautiful. And we have almost all of Ireland now. That's pretty quick. We could attack these guys. We still have a truce with them, unfortunately. And this guy's huge. It's usually not possible to get this land. Look, he's got 10,000 troops between him and his allies. So not ideal there. We'll have to wait some time on that. But let's go ahead and finish off the last one that we don't have a truce with. Now, one thing I did forget to do is give away the land because we are getting a big debuff here. You can see we're 9 out of 7. That's not ideal. So let's go ahead and give more land away to this guy. There we go. He loves us even more. There we go. That's it. Let's go ahead and give this land to him as well. Now we just need to take these 2. And actually the truce just expired. So we can take this land. This will be our last piece of land that we want to personally own. We'll just finish this up nice and quick. Now we own all of what we want to have, but we also have this extra one off loan. So let's go ahead and give that away. And that brings us exactly where we need to be. 7 out of 7. Our vassal is very strong, but also likes us a lot. So that's in our favor, good thing to have. We are going to have a faction come up. So this is oftentimes when you take a bunch of land recently, you're going to get people that rebel because they don't like what you're doing. So we're going to have to fight some peasant rebellions here in 11 months. Not really a big deal, but just something to keep in mind. Let's take a look at our champions. How are we doing? The weakest champion that we have employed in our military is 7, 8, and 10. They're not great. So what we probably want to do is see if we can supplement that with somebody better. We can look through our prisoners as well and see if they have a good combatant that's in here. You can see some of these guys have 9, which is not great. It's like marginally better than what we currently have. Yeah, we don't really have anybody that's that great. I think we'll probably skip. Now we need to start looking outside of Ireland because like I said, we're going to need some time to take these guys out. They have a strong alliance block that we're just not going to be able to get through right now. There's a lot of easy targets outside of that are going to be easier to deal with. This guy's got a strong ally, probably not the best target. What I recommend at this point is to just look and see who's an easy one to pick off. Like this is very easy. It's a county war. It's going to be cheap for us to declare war on. It's only 58 prestige. They have only 450 troops, and that'll give us a foothold on the other island. We don't have to sail or go all the way around. We can just spawn in here. So this is a good jumping point. Cornwall sometimes is a good one too. Nope, they have a very good ally, West Francia. So that's off the table. Any of these guys? Nope, he's got 1,000. 325. This is a good one as well. This one would actually give us... yeah, that wouldn't only give us 1 piece of land. Let's see. So let's just go ahead and go with this guy. He's very weak. And very easy. get across the water, you just click and it'll cost you some money as soon as that army is raised. So 24 gold, it'll cost us a little bit to get there, but it's going to be good. We have a jumping off point on the other island. Oh, holy crap. Our wife just had twin boys, neither of which are smart. What the heck? How come you're having all the smarts went to the females, huh? We got 2 smart daughters and then 3 idiot sons. Holy crap, that's a lot of kids. So now we're going to have to deal with succession for sure. We're going to have succession issues because we have 3 different males that need to get land. So I'll show you a couple different ways that we can deal with it. It'll be pretty easy in this case because we have a lot of land that we can expand into. But let's go ahead and start working on that. So war's over. We got to give this away to somebody. And let's start talking about succession because this is going to be pretty important soon. You find your succession tab up here by going to your realm, this F2 or this green crown. And then on the right side, it says succession. And then down here, it says titles lost on succession. This means that our primary heir will lose whatever titles are listed here. So right now we own 4 counties in this duchy, 3 counties in this duchy, and then the 2 duchy titles, and then of course the kingdom titles. So we own quite a bit of titles. If you're not sure what you own, just click on your main character and it'll list them all right here. So starting at the top again, we're a king. We also have 2 duchies and the 7 counties within there, plus this extra one that we need to give away. So we'll give away that soon. We take this off and that's basically what we own. But again, when we die, this primary son is going to get 1 king title, 1 duchy title, and only 3 counties. So instead of having 7 counties, he's going to be down to 3. That means he's going to be very weak. And his brother's going to have 1 county and 3 duchy. And then this kid's going to have 2 counties. Not ideal. You don't want that. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that each kid has as much of the second highest rank that you have. So right now, the highest rank we have is kingdom title. We only have 1. So we don't have to worry about splitting that, right? It will always go to the primary heir. We go to the next title below. Again, we have 2 duchy titles. So that means everybody, all these kids need to have at least 2 duchy titles, and then we will have satisfied most of their succession needs, and we will not have to split anything. So if we take land over here, and we give them counties and we give them duchies, they won't have to get it from succession. We'll give it to them before we're dead. So basically they become landowners before we're dead. We're giving them their inheritance beforehand. So what we can do is let's start satisfying one of these sons. Let's go with this one. We're going to go ahead and give him the title. And now our little man is a landowner. He is actually our vassal. This little kid who just got born owns more land than I'll ever know. So that's how life was back then. So what we need to do is we need to take a ton of land and make sure this kid is happy with where he's at. There's a few pitfalls there though. We won't go over it yet, but we will run into it soon. And so we need to be aware of a few things. So let's start taking more land in this area if we can. There's 1,000 troops here. Not that big of a deal. 300 troops there. That's probably the more obvious one. Now, the problem here is we have 2 options. We can take a county, or we can get both of them if we do the duchy. The problem with doing a duchy war is you will actually get a vassal. Some of that land is not directly owned by the king or whoever it is you're declaring war on. So what I find is the most helpful is whoever you're declaring war on, click on their picture and then look at their titles. So when you hover your shield over their titles, it'll highlight what they own. So you can see they're the duchy owner of all that land. And the county is only this land. So they actually have a vassal in Gwent. They don't own it. So if we do a duchy war, we're going to get a vassal here, which we don't really want. Let's actually do conquer county, and we'll just take the one that he personally owns, and then we'll go to war with him again later for that. There's a few reasons why. It'll make sense later, but just be aware, you probably don't want to get vassals in the early stages of giving land away to somebody. They need to be strong enough to hold it on their own. And if they have a vassal that's already established, that vassal can cause you a lot of problems. So we're just going to keep it simple. Let's take a county. Now we have enough troops where we can split and siege both of their lands at the same time. So we're going to do that. Now you split your armies down here. If you click on your army down here, it says split. You can do the hotkey F or just click this button right here. And then just select one of them and have them go. So he's going to go smash these guys. All right, here we go. So those guys are now rebelling that I was talking about earlier. We have 2 options. We could avoid the rebellion altogether, and it'll lower the control of all the counties that are going to revolt, which is really bad. 75 control goes back to almost what we started with in the beginning. We don't want that. So the other option is they will spawn an army of peasants, but we only lose 25 control. So that's the ideal one. We're going to go with that. We will have to fight some people here. Only one group of 211. That's not a big deal. We'll go back there and smash them soon. All right, this war's done. And again, we own this land personally. We can give it away to whoever we want. We're going to go ahead and give it to our son. Now he owns 2 duchies. Let's go take a look and see what that does to our succession. So before he was getting 3 counties, 1 duchy. He's still getting 1 county, 3 duchies. And the reason is because, again, we have to fulfill the 2nd tier rank that they're going to get. We don't have to split the kingdom titles, but we do have to split the duchy titles. So again, we have to give him 2 duchies worth of land. That means we have to conquer enough land to be able to start the duchy or take the duchy from this guy. So we got to take all the land in here and then give that duchy to our son, and then he will be happy with his inheritance. So we'll get there. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. First thing first, we need to go deal with this rebellion. Let's go send one of our groups there. We don't need both. And then we will disband this one. There we go. We smashed him and we took him prisoner, which is good because we can hire him back. So we're going to finish this war. And then again, go right to your prisoners. And you can always see the peasant leader because he has this little sickle symbol. So let's see how good he is. He's got 11 prowess. He's not bad. 18 martial. So he's a decent leader. We'll take him under our wing. We'll recruit him. Yeah, we'll go ahead and attack this guy. Again, we'll keep taking as much land in this duchy as we can because we need to give it to our son. Looks like he's actually locked up and he has only 400 troops left. So that should be an easy target. And our son is starting to get a little older. He's age 3 and he gained the trait bossy, which is not bad. We want to make sure our son that we're going to play as soon as we die, we want the one that we're going to play as to be able to hold all the lands that we have. So what we want to do is we want to make sure he has good stewardship focus. So let's go ahead and click on our heir. You can always tell which one it is because he's got this crown underneath his portrait. These other ones don't. So he's a vassal. He's just a kid. And these are both kids. So no big deal. So we clicked on his portrait. And then right near his head, there's the education focus. We want to pick stewardship. And that's going to force him to do stuff that will basically give him bonuses towards stewardship. Or more likely to. We also need to give him an education. So let's go ahead and right click on him, educate child. And we want to find somebody that has really high stewardship. We actually have high stewardship, so we're going to do it ourselves. We will personally mentor him and make sure that he has a good upbringing. Always keep checking your current situations from time to time. In this case, we can ransom somebody for 10 gold. We'll send it off. All right, war's over. We got a bunch of prisoners. Let's see if there's anybody worth anything. No, nothing good. We'll end the war. We'll give it to our son. And we actually captured an artifact from there. So we can go to our court. You can see this little number above our royal court. That means there's something waiting for us. And up here, the court artifacts, we can put it on a pedestal right here. This is going to give us prestige, renown, knight effectiveness. I mean, we got it for free because we jacked it from them. So can't argue with that. Let's go ahead and give this to our son. Our 2-year-old now owns 3 pieces of land. I mean, talk about born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Now, we can usurp the Principality of Doihiborth, however the heck you pronounce this duchy. What that means is somebody already owns this title, and we would have to pay a lot of money to take it from them. Or we can take all the land in this by ourselves, wait a few months or a few years, and then the title will disappear and we can start it for cheaper. We don't need him to have the title right away. We can own it ourselves. And you can see he can hold 4 counties himself without going over the limit. So he's actually in good shape. He doesn't need the title yet. We will need it at some point, but let's do it as cheap as possible. Who else owns land there? It looks like this guy owns some land there. So we could do is we can go to war with him. It's going to be an expensive one because he's got 2,000 troops. And we also got another perk. Let's go ahead and place that. I'm going to go with this one right here. The casus belli cost is minus 50%. Every time we go to war, we have to pay either prestige or piety. In this case, we're mostly spending prestige, which is something we don't want to spend much money on. So this is going to reduce that cost by 50%. That's a really good perk to have at this stage of the campaign. So we'll put our point in there. Let's go ahead and take this county right here and just clean up our borders a little bit. I know it's not a good one. It's not a good idea. We can take more land by attacking other people, but I kind of want to consolidate this so we don't have to worry about it until later. Let's just get in there and take it. Now we can see he's actually counter sieging us. We'll see who's going to finish first. 8 months. We're actually going to finish ours first. It's only 4 months left. So we'll finish our siege and then we'll go attack him. There we go. We caught him attacking. We'll defend the siege. And we'll continue taking his land. Now again, we got to check and see whose siege is going to finish first. Now we have 15 months on ours. His is 3 months. So there's no way we finish the siege. We have to abandon it and defend. It's unfortunate, but it's what you got to do sometimes. So we'll see if we can catch them separated. They split up. So they may actually become an easier target now. Yeah, we stack wiped him. He's off. These guys are going to go... Oh, no, they're going to go raid our lands, I think. That's unfortunate. We might have to spend money going across the water. I don't know what they're doing. All right, they're running off. We'll just finish the war. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, you want to have good relations with your religious leader. So in this case, it's our archbishop. We don't have good relations with this guy at all, unfortunately. So what we want to do is we want to sway him. So you right click his picture, you go to sway, and that means every couple of years we get a chance to increase relations with this guy. So it's just going to take time. We need to get relations with him so that he can donate both money and troops to us. Right now he hates us, so we're actually losing out on a lot of money and troops from him. So this is an interesting one. Our siege should end in 4 months. His will end in 5 months, but he has a tiny, tiny force. So what we're going to do is we're going to split our forces. We're going to send somebody to go relieve the siege. There you go. So it's actually over. Let's finish the siege so we can take some prisoners. Yeah, we got his son. And again, we're going to give this to our newborn son. So he's pretty strong now, and we just need to take this last piece. Now, normally we would have to wait for a truce, but I don't know if the guy died or I think we got a bonus and it undid the, our chancellor was able to clear the truce. It's just a random event that can happen, so we actually can attack him right away. Let's go and do that. We'll clean up the last piece of this duchy, and then we're going to give him the duchy title, and then we'll see that change in his inheritance. There we go. Very easy, quick war. And now you can see right now the Duchy of Deheubarth, we can do it, and it's only going to cost 87. If you remember from the previous screen, it was going to cost us 250 gold to usurp. But again, I'm a cheap bastard. I didn't want to spend the money. We just took the extra land anyways that we're going to take eventually, and it reduces that cost because the title was destroyed after we took the guy that owned it. So we save, I don't know, 67% of the cost. So we got our title now. Let's go ahead and give it to our boy. We're going to go ahead and right click on his portrait, grant titles. We're going to give him this last piece. And if we scroll down, we can actually see the High Chiefdom of Deheubarth. And if you hover your mouse over the shield, you can double check to make sure it's the right one. You can see it flashing. This is definitely the land we want him to own. So we're going to give him this title, and we're going to give him this title. So now he is a duke, a 2-year-old duke. Oh no, he's grown up. He's 4 years old now, sorry. So if we look at our succession, he drops off. He's off the succession list. Before, we were going to lose a bunch of stuff. Now our main son is going to keep all 4 of these counties and the duchy title, and this other son is going to get these 3 and that duchy. Obviously, we're going to take land before that happens. We just need to take another duchy. Now, we could continue taking land here since we already did, but we have to be very, very careful. Remember when I mentioned you cannot give away land of the same title as you, otherwise they will become independent. So we cannot give away kingdom titles. That would be a travesty, because then that means one son would inherit the Kingdom of Ireland, another son would inherit the Kingdom of Wales. Yeah, so one son would get the Kingdom of Ireland, the other son would get the Kingdom of Wales. This son, because these two are the same rank, they would become independent. You would have to go to war to win all this back. It's a real pain in the butt. So we need to make sure that we do not take enough to make the Kingdom of Wales title. So right now, we have to have 7 counties and we only own 5. So we need to stop taking land in the Kingdom of Wales. We do not want any more Wales. Stop. No more Wales. We need to look elsewhere. Either we take land up here in Scotland or down here in England. These are the other 2 kingdoms where we can start taking land in and still safely have a good succession. There is another method for doing it. You could add a vote to these. It's a little complicated and it costs a lot of prestige. So I usually recommend not doing it that way if you can help it. But yeah, this is one way to do it. Like I said, we're going to be conquering a lot of land anyways. We might as well figure out how to give it to our kids. So Mercia is maybe next because they own quite a bit of land. Let's see where they own most of their land, actually. Yeah, he owns quite a bit here. And if we take the Duchy of Mercia, we're going to get most of what he owns. It's going to be quite a bit. The only problem there is we will get 4 vassals. That's kind of a pain in the neck. So we probably want to maybe take some of these smaller ones. They're going to be easier to distribute the land to. Oh, this guy is just ready to be taken. Yeah, he has 2 pieces of land here. We will get 1 vassal if we do this, which is fine. We'll deal with the vassal. But like I said, we need to get land for our other son so we don't have to worry about his succession either. So let's go ahead and do the Duchy War. Now, they don't have any troops. You can see if you click on the war button down here, it'll show how many troops they have total. And this can change throughout the war. They can hire mercenaries. If they get another ally, this can change drastically. So try and keep tabs on this once in a while. You can see here he's got no troops left. We're just going to split and siege down 2 or 3 things at once. So let's just take these 2. Now we got another peasant uprising. We're going to fight it because we already have our troops deployed and we're kind of close to the area. This one's a big one though. So this one we will have to spend some time cleaning up. No big deal though. We just finished our war. We're almost done with the siege here. I would rather let this siege finish And maybe we'll get some prisoners. It doesn't look like it. Let's see if there's any prisoners to sell before we go to peace. Yeah, there are a few people we can ransom off here. Let's do that. There we go. That's done. Let's go ahead and go back to our homelands and try and clear off some of these. Oh, actually, these guys were attacking, so we have to deal with this war too. I did not realize that, unfortunately. That's okay. We'll let one of our stacks go deal with the rebellion, and the other stack's going to go do some defending against these guys up here. Yeah, we want to give all this land away to our son. Unfortunately, it's being raided, but let's give it to our other son. So they're twins. They're both landowners now. All right, we smashed one of the rebels. The other one's landing here at Thoman. We're going to do that and then come back up here and go back to war. They are actually stacking up some troops, so we might need to come rally back and defend. First thing first. All right, rebellion's done. Let's go ahead and recruit this guy if he's got decent stats. And he's got 21 prowess. You are definitely joining the ranks. We're going to force them into our army. And they're actually coming to defend. Unfortunately, I think they're going to get there before we finish our siege. Yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah, it looks like we lost the battle. We almost had their capital. Not much we could have done about it, though. Yeah, we caught them trying to attack us. We're just going to smash them. Let's go ahead and siege their stuff down. There we go. Siege is done. We can ransom some people. 50 gold. That's pretty good. And then we'll end the war. Now, as I mentioned before, the person that owned this duchy actually had a vassal, so we actually inherit the vassal. Kind of an unfortunate thing, but what we need to do is make sure that our son has enough troops and enough power to fight this guy off. So we need to keep conquering lands in his duchy, so we need the rest of Strathclyde. Going to be these two. Oh, actually, sorry, this is one in Annandale. So Galway and Annandale, who is owned by Sudrejar. He's the big boy, though. That is not happening. All right, well, we could attack Scotland, I guess. Nope, that's not happening either. They're very strong. So we just got to shop around and see who's an easy target. There's an easy target. He's got 5 troops. And what we're going to do in this case, we don't need a whole lot of troops. We'll just raise some of our men-at-arms, send them in. Now, once in a while, when you have somebody as a ward under your personal care, you get to choose if you want to keep certain traits or if you want to change them. In this case, we can either keep patient, we can switch it to forgiving, or we can switch it to trusting. The problem is every time you do these other options, it causes you quite a bit of stress. So in this case, we'll probably just keep patient. That's not a bad trait. All right, we own this random piece of land over here. I don't think it makes sense to give that to our sons. They're going to be just fine without it. Although I guess we could give them each 2 duchies worth. Why don't we actually do that? Let's give them both 2 duchies worth of land. So I'm going to go ahead and give this kid this one since he's going to be closer. We'll give this one 2 duchies worth as well. And then our succession will be 100% good to go. We got another perk available. And in this case, it looks like we have some really strong opponents to fight. So we probably need to pick up some firepower here. Let's go down the Gallant tree. This is going to give us on the right side, if we spend 4 perk points, we're going to get... This one's not really that useful, but you get down here, you get 75% knight effectiveness. That means our knights that have really high prowess are going to be even more effective in combat. We get a little bit of advantage in combat, and then also we pick up 4 more knights. So 4 perks on Gallant are really, really nice on this right side. So we'll go down that, and that should help us manage some of these guys that have really, really strong militaries. Now, we also have the option to pick up a Dynasty legacy. This is something that over time you'll accrue renown. In this case, we got 292 and we can spend 250 of that on any of these bonuses. There's a bunch of them. I don't find the level 1s to be that interesting, and I doubt we'll have a whole lot of time to get much past it. So what I'm going to do is recommend not picking a legacy and just saving it in case we have to disinherit an heir. It costs us money to do that, so we can take them out of the inheritance. Right now, we've got 2 twins. They look like they're in pretty good shape. We're probably not going to have to split up the kingdom if we keep taking a little bit of land. But if we have more kids, I don't know if our wife's pregnant. Yeah, she's 37. She's going to slow down on having kids soon, but she might pop out another son, so we'll see. We might need to use that renown to just disinherit somebody. Now, we do want to keep this accolade going. If we lose our acclaimed knight, and we don't have a successor for it, this thing basically gets put on the back burner. You don't get the bonuses. Now, we found somebody that can be a successor. This is the peasant leader that we had. So he's actually going to fill in as the successor. As soon as this guy dies, he'll take over, and we'll continue getting bonuses for this. So pretty good to have that. We got to keep looking for targets to attack. This guy's looking even better now because he doesn't really have any alliances, Mercia. Wessex does have a pretty good ally here in Scotland up here, but yeah, that's going to be a tough one. We'll deal with it though. Let's go ahead and attack Mercia and take some land from them. Now, if we do this, we're going to get a bunch of vassals here, which we don't really want, but I also don't want to attack one at a time. It's going to be too slow, I feel like. So we'll probably just have to deal with the vassals. Now, we're going to start our war from this little tiny county that we took earlier. This will be our launching point. Let's just start taking land. And he actually launched an assault over here. He's going to start taking our son's land. I don't really care. As long as they don't take our land, it's fine. They can take whatever they want. We'll deal with it. Oh, we picked up another perk. So again, we're going to keep going down this chivalry dominance side. We'll get our 75 knight effectiveness. That's going to help a lot. So he's trying to siege race us. We have 2 armies. We should be fine attacking with one and sieging with the other. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. He's going to try and siege some stuff back. We're not going to allow that. Yeah, we caught him. We stack wiped him. He's out of here. All right. Very, very good. Now, again, we need to make sure that our son has enough strength to deal with these vassals. If we give him all this land, he may have a bit of trouble here. These vassals are ours right now because we don't own the Dutchy title of Mercia. So if they rebel against us. If we give the Dutchy title to our son, they rebel against him. And we don't really want that. So maybe what we'll do is we'll give him the land, but we just won't give him the Dutchy title yet. So let's go ahead and grant him all this land. We'll make him even stronger. Yeah, he's going to have a ton of land. Look at him. This kid is going to be balling out of control. And that was a pretty big war. We got a big chunk of land from them, so that will help quite a bit. Unfortunately, everybody else around us has pretty big alliance blocks. It's going to be a bit of a problem here. And again, remember, we can't attack this guy. That's not an option because then we'll have to deal with splitting up kingdoms, which we don't really want to do. This guy's pretty small. We could attack him, actually. He owns one piece of land here. Why don't we do that? There you go. We're done. We got that. And that's actually a different piece of land. It's not part of Mercia. So I don't want to give this kid too much land because he'll be really strong. We don't want him to be able to compete with us when we take over as our son. So I'm going to give this to a vassal. If we had another son, we could start taking land for him as well. If we had 3 more sons that we had to give land to, we could do that. But in this case, we don't have to do that. So I'm going to give this to somebody else, somebody random. It could be somebody in our cabinet like our steward. We can make him a vassal. Why don't we do that? Let's make him a vassal right there. Here we go. So we can start the Duchy of Strathclyde or the Duchy of Mercia. We don't want to do Mercia yet because, again, as soon as we give this to our son, these vassals are going to be pissed off at him and they might attack him. He may not be strong enough to deal with it. So if we look at his troop count, he's got 553 troops. It's not very good. One of these vassals has 686 troops. This one's got 291, 184. So if they band together, it could be actually pretty big trouble for him. 358. Now, they can't go against us because we have nearly 5,000 troops. So they won't do anything to us, but they could do something to him. Same thing over here. Our son's got 187 troops. It's not anything. It's not enough. This guy's got 382, so he outnumbers him by a little bit. So I think we're going to hold off giving him that title until we can actually handle it for him. Again, we can't really do anything here. We're kind of stuck. Oh, I take that back. There's another piece of land here that's split off. We can take very easily. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, we're actually running out of prestige, and I suspect it's because we have a lot of very expensive men-at-arms. I generally recommend not going for armored footmen and a lot of pikemen early on just because of how expensive they are. They're very strong in combat. They do a good job, but holy crap, they're expensive. Now, another option we have right now, we burned through all of our prestige. We're actually negative right now. So one thing we can do is we can spend our money to gain more prestige, or we can fire some of these guys and just recruit cheaper ones. So that might be something we'll look into. Again, these are very expensive troops to maintain. It's just going to be painful not having them because that makes us quite a bit weaker. So I'm a little hesitant to do that, but we can do for sure is we can go to our activities tab or F9. Let's go do a hunt. And it says that we are not employing a master of the hunt, which is probably a good idea. I recommend doing that. They're not very expensive either. And the top guy is excellent. We'll let him do it. And you get 2 options, either hunt or falconry. I find that hunt is better. It generally gives you more prestige. And you want to find a place that's got as many pluses as possible. This one's got +2 and +1, so there's a +3. That one's not very good. 2 and 3. And then also choose one that's closer to you because then you don't have to travel as far. So this one's really close to our main character. So we'll go right here. We can also hire a caravan master. That's fine. And then you'll notice right now we are going through one low chance of danger, no medium, and no high chance. So depending on the route that you take, you might need to hire some people to help you get through that safely. In this case, we could pay a little bit of money to hire somebody to deal with forests. So that would be the forest guide, and that removes this low chance of danger. And it only costs 6 gold for that, so not bad. There's some options here with the hunt. We can increase the chances of success by spending more gold, which we probably want to do. We also want to increase the prestige gain, so we're going to put even more gold in this. It's going to cost us 241 to do this, but I think it's worth it because we really badly need prestige. So let's go ahead and do the hunt. Now, unfortunately, we failed in our hunt. We had a pretty low chance of success, but we're still going to get a decent amount of prestige from it. We're back up to 264, so we can declare war, do a few more things. Another thing we can do is we can create these titles. The titles are going to help because that's going to give us a lot of prestige. So 300 prestige for 87 gold. It's really good. Now, we also are going to have too many titles. We don't want this title up here, this Dutchy of Ulster. Let's go ahead and give it to this guy that we gave all the land to over here. So he can have this one. And then now we are no longer holding too many duchies. If you hold too many, your vassals will start to hate you. I think it's minus 15 relations each one you go over. So if you can have up to 2 duchies before you get a debuff. So we already own the 2 that we want. Everything else we got to give back to somebody else. But our prestige is okay. We're at 500 now. I think we're in good shape. All right, back to the task at hand. We were supposed to declare war on this guy for 38 prestige. Let's go ahead and do that. There, so the war's over. Now again, this one is in a different duchy. I don't want to give it to that one son. Let's give it to somebody else. So we could give it to our marshal. He is on our council, but he doesn't have a position. So we could give it to him. That'll make him very happy. Yeah, why not? We got another perk. So let's go ahead and put never back down. And then last one's going to be household guard. We probably don't need to stay in here anymore. We can go to a different branch if we wanted to. But that's going to help boost our combat effectiveness quite a bit. And we might need it because a lot of these guys are really strong. It's not that they're strong, but all of them combined are very strong. They've got some strong alliance blocks. This one actually is not that strong now. It's only 2,100 troops, so I think we should probably deal with them. I don't want to keep dealing with prestige issues, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one of these guys loose. Let's go ahead and get rid of the armored footmen. They cost way too much. So we're going to go ahead and destroy them, and we will replace them with the light footmen. We'll increase their numbers. So we took a little bit of hit for troops, but it's okay. We needed to do it. Now, one thing we could do here, if there's no good war targets, we could start raiding these people. We'll take money and prestige from them. But I think at this point, let's take a little bit more land since these guys are fairly weak. Yeah, we aren't getting any vassals from here, so we can give the whole thing away to somebody. I think that's the plan. All right, they're going to go siege that down. They got 5 months. We've got 4 months. But unfortunately, it's probably not going to finish in time for us to reinforce. So we have a little bit of a conundrum here. I think we'll probably take the fight, even if it means we don't win it. It's probably worth it just to delay them. And we actually won that anyways, but yeah, that was kind of a close call. We don't want to give up the siege when we're more than halfway done. And we actually finished it right off the bat. We don't have to continue the war. Let's go ahead and disband. So now we own all 3 of these, and we can give it away to somebody else. We can also create the title. So we're going to create the title of East Anglia. You know what we should do, actually, is give that to this son. This son is going to need all the help he can get. Yeah, he's kind of got a rough time down there. So let's go ahead and make him a duke. We'll give him the High Chiefdom of East Anglia, and then also this one as soon as we get a little bit more control for him. So now that we have both sons accounted for, let's check our succession. Oh boy, did I give it to the wrong one? No, I didn't. But everybody wants to have 2 duchies instead of just 1. That's the problem. So we were planning on doing that anyways. But yeah, he's still part of the succession, unfortunately. So now Cornwall is down here in the corner. They have no allies. They have only 400 troops. Let's go ahead and take him. Right, so he's in good shape. What we could do is we can give a little more land to our vassals that we were giving land to. Cornwall's not really important. We'll give it away and make this guy happy. Yeah, I generally don't like to have a ton of vassals all over the place. I'd rather have a few smaller number of vassals that have more land and make them happy rather than having a ton of unhappy ones because everybody wants more than we can give them. So all right, we definitely don't want our accolade to lapse, so we're going to go to this tab and seek a worthy one. It's going to cost us a little bit of prestige, but I think it's worth it. We don't want to lose that one. Yeah, I think now is probably a good time to do some raiding because there's just nobody to attack. They're all really strong alliances, so let's go ahead and raise some raiders, and you'll see how strong this is. Being tribal allows you to raid people, and it's just super overpowered. Here we go. So we're done raid with these guys. We got 144 gold and also 144 prestige. So they basically paid for themselves and then some. These guys are still raiding a little bit. Here we go. This guy, oh wow, he capped out 254 gold. So we got basically 400 gold from that and 400 prestige. Really, really strong. And it didn't cost us that many troops. We also picked up another perk. So here's our household guards. Now we have a lot of champions. We actually don't have enough to fill the roles that we have. So let's go ahead and marry some more people off. Unmarried females, anybody that has a pulse at this point. I don't care how good they are at combat. We just need them. One thing you have to be careful of is you don't want to marry people within your own court because that doesn't get anybody into your court. You want to find people from the outside so that you can actually use them. So this guy's 16. That's pretty good. We'll pull him in. And we can marry our daughters off. Usually your direct family is going to be really, really strong candidates. So she's young. She's only 21 years old. And she can marry this guy that's got 28 prowess. Welcome to the family, dude. And our other daughter, she can marry this guy that's got 25 prowess. So really good. So you can see now, looking at our champions, we go all the way up to 28. Our strongest is 28. And now our weakest is down at 10, which is okay. We picked up, remember, the +4. We only had 14 before. Now we got 18. So our army is getting even stronger. And we got somebody that can become a successor for our archer. We could continue to raid. We got the Danelaw up here now. That's a new one that just formed. England, they still have some allies. We're at the point where I think we could probably take these guys on, though. They're not super strong, actually. Yeah, that guy's a little bit strong. Probably better to fight these guys. Yeah, he's really weak now. So we've been waiting for a while for this guy to weaken enough to where we can take him on. So why don't we do that? Let's see what land he owns personally. Looks like he owns everything in the Isles. Yeah, the Dutchy of Mon, which is all the stuff on the island. That's probably going to be the best one if we do a Dutchy war. Again, we can see that there's no vassals going to be given to us. So we'll actually take all the land directly from him. So we probably want to do that one, and then we'll give it to our son. Our son's going to be happy with his inheritance, I think. And again, we should have taken the title from him because he owned everything in that duchy. We don't have to usurp. We need to wait a few days, though, I think. And we got a peasant uprising. We're going to deal with that real quick. Now, after we get all these perks, this is pretty good. But if we want to keep going down this route, we could go down the middle of strategist. And we pick up hit and run. This will increase all the stats of, well, for most of our troops anyway. So we can go down this one. Peasant uprising is done. Back to the task at hand. We need to give away some land to our son. And hopefully, no, we still have to usurp. We don't want to do that. You know, we should. It's super expensive, but let's just do it. Yeah, you can see before it's only cost us 87. Now it's going to cost 250. So quite a lot. Actually, I just remembered we gave our son Dutchy down here as well, so he just needs Strathclyde. Let's go ahead and give it to him. He should be able to handle it on his own now. And then we'll give the Isles to somebody else. There we go. So High Chiefdom of Galloway, that's going to satisfy his duchy, I believe. So if you go to our succession, yeah, the only one that's pissed off right now is the other son, but that's because we didn't give him Mercia yet. He might be able to handle these guys on his own. Let's see how strong he is. He's got 839. I think that's probably enough now. I think he can handle it. Hopefully he can, because if not, we're going to have to pay the price later. But let's just see what happens. So our son, we're going to give him High Chiefdom of Mercia. There we go. He's a duke twice over, which means his succession should be satisfied. Yeah, and then right now we have one son that's going to inherit these. If we don't give it away, we have to give these away anyways. Because right now we have 2 duchies. We're currently holding 3 duchies, but we're going to give this one away. But if we had 3 duchies, then that means these 2 sons would need to have 3 duchies as well. Nice, the game crashed. I have to freaking do it over again. So let's take a quick look at our succession issues. This son has only 1 duchy. As soon as we give him the Duchy of Mercia, he'll be fine. He won't be having issues with succession. Our other son has also same thing. He only owns 1 duchy, but as soon as we give him the duchy up here, he'll be fine. So I think the Isles we're going to give to somebody new. Let's go ahead and give that to somebody that would be happy with it. Let's see. Here we go. So we got another vassal. He'll hold onto that land for us. And it looks like the Danelaw lost their ally. They have only 4,000 troops, which is about 2,000 less than what we have. We should be able to bully these guys. Alfred the Great still has a decent ally in this dude up here in Scotland. So yeah, we'll have to wait on those 2. I think the Danelaw is probably the next good target. And let's see who is the ruler. Godfried the Bastard. So he owns only 1... Oh, that's really bad, actually. He only owns 1 piece of land. So anything we take is going to have a ton of vassals in it, unfortunately. Yeah, that's kind of rough. All right, well, we need to start chipping these guys away, so let's go ahead and declare war. Now, there's siege and some stuff down here. Let's go defend it. It's going to cost us a little bit of money to get on the boats, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah, we're going to smash these guys. Oh, wow, a lot of people are dying. We just got a bunch of stress that's going to push us over. So, unfortunately, we did get our stress level up to level 1, which is generally not the thing you want. You want to have stress below that max. We get a couple options. We can become a drunkard, which is going to reduce our stewardship and prowess. We don't really want that. We could take this one, which is going to reduce stress, and it gives us the positive trait, actually, Confider. So we get diplomacy +1. I'm not sure where these guys are going to pop up. We kicked them off of the siege. Doesn't look like they're really going after anything. Oh, here they go. So we'll keep an eye on them. We'll probably need to fight them. They're going to try and siege stuff down. So what I recommend is making sure that your troops are well gathered. You don't want to fight piecemeal, so don't go in one by one. Group up at least one tile away. If you group up on the tile right next to them, they'll flee too fast. So we group up one tile away, and then we bum rush, and we smash them. Look at that. Smashed. We actually stack wiped him. He got destroyed there. So they have nothing left. We can carpet siege, meaning we can send all our little groups everywhere. And they're pretty much defenseless. They might hire some mercenaries. There we go. We took enough land. We can finish the war. And actually, I thought we were supposed to get vassals here, but it looks like we didn't. So now we can create another vassal of our own. And again, we can create a bunch of titles here. We'll sandbag these in case we need to boost up our prestige quickly. So each one we create is +300, and it's at the cost of only 87. We have a huge amount of gold. We should probably start using some of this gold, but again, I'm trying not to be too complicated with what we're doing. We could do another hunt. We could do a feast. There's a few things we can do. Not really that big of a deal. We're making very steady progress. The other thing we have to keep an eye out for, the Danelaw. We don't want to create the Danelaw kingdom. So yeah, 5 out of 6, we don't want to do that. And then same thing down here, 14 out of 16. And the ultimate goal is to create the Empire of Britannia. And we need quite a few counties for this. So this one we need 75. We only own 43. So we need quite a few more. But we're getting close. We're getting close. The next logical target is going to be either England or up here in Scotland, or however you pronounce that, because I know that's not... Alba is not how you say it. I already got chewed out for saying it that way, so... I know. I'm saying Scotland on purpose. Now, the alliance between Scotland and England right now is pretty strong. Alfred the Great is only 44 years old, so he's still got some time left. This guy's pretty young as well. He's only 52, so he's got some time. Which means we could try and murder one of them. It's only 5% for this guy, so that's not going to happen. 5% for this guy. Yeah, that's not great odds. So we got a couple options. We could just bite the bullet and fight them and then just deal with their armies. Or we could wait until one of them dies and then pounce on them. We're getting up there too ourselves. We're 50 years old. Speaking of which, we are getting old, but again, our succession is secured. We have several heirs, but none of them are going to take our initial lands because we ended up expanding into lands that they are going to own themselves. So not that big of a deal. We were in a position where we could take enough land to actually do that. If you're kind of stuck and you know you won't be able to take enough land to fulfill their succession, then that's not really an option. Then what I would recommend doing is, I didn't realize our sons are dead. Wow. This one died in battle, got his head ripped off. This one got his head ripped off as well. So not a great track record. And then this guy is one-legged. Oh, crap. Yeah, our kids are pretty terrible, actually. Okay, well, that's another way to deal with succession, is you can let them fight and then they end up getting killed. That's not good, man. Yeah, if your kid's old enough to be in battle, you can force them to be combatants. Let's say this was our kid, we could force him to be in battle. You click the force button. Yeah, I actually should have forbid them so they wouldn't die. I didn't realize that they were in there fighting and then they got stomped. Now, one thing that I just realized, because we only have one person to split the realm apart with, well, not split, but to pass everything down, we have no succession issues. We now no longer have to worry about those top level titles being split. So for example, if we still had our other two sons alive and we took enough land to form a kingdom, even if we don't form the kingdom, that title will be created upon our death and it'll go to one of the sons. So obviously you don't want to conquer a bunch of kingdoms unless you can give all of them to only one kid. Otherwise, you're going to split your kingdom and they'll go off on their own way. So in this case, we only have one alive. And that means that we can actually conquer whatever land we want. But let's make sure our heir does not join any more battles. I should have done that in the first place. Yeah, we're going to forbid our boy from going in. And some of these other guys that hate us, what we should do is we should probably force them to go into battle. It's going to give us weaker units. Yeah, we're not going to be using the best of the best, but at the very least, they'll have a chance of dying in battle. So let's go ahead and attack. And let's see who gives us the least amount of vassals. This one, we get 2 pieces of land, and both of them are vassals. This one, we get 5 with 3 vassals. So obviously the bigger one's going to be the better option here. Let's go ahead and finish this war. So we're going to send one guy to siege and one guy to chase them down, get them off of our land. And we actually captured him trying to raid some of our lands in the back. It's an easy war. Now, one thing we could also do is we could load up our son, just give him all the land, a ton of stuff. When we do that, when we kick the bucket and take over as our son, we'll be getting all that land ourselves as well. Although he only holds so many things in his personal name, so maybe it wouldn't make that big of a difference. Yeah, because if we give it to him, he's going to have a good chance of defending against these guys. They're going to have a hard time raising up and rebelling against him if we give it to him, so maybe it's not a bad idea. Yeah, so we'll give it to our boy. Now, we don't really have any options to go to war here other than up here in Scotland or down here in England. We are running low on prestige, but we have a lot of money. So why don't we create the Kingdom of Wales? It's going to cost 175, but it's going to give us 400 prestige. And like I said, we don't have anybody split the realm with, so we'll be able to keep all those titles. I think it's probably time to do the big war. It shows that they're slightly ahead of us, just barely. But because it's the AI, and because they're split, it looks like half of the troops are coming from Scotland, the other half are coming from them. So they're not going to be able to join up before we actually get in their lands and cause some problems. So this is a good example of how to fight a tough war. So because they're split, we're going to spawn down in England and we're going to chase after his army before he links up with his ally. So we'll try and do that. And then we'll kind of figure out what we want to do after that. So invade kingdom, it costs us a lot of prestige, 500 prestige. But the nice thing is we'll get the entirety of England. And then we can figure out what to do with the rest once we're done with that. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off. So I don't want to go in and invade his lands yet. I want to see where he pops out. If we start to siege and then we have to get off of the siege, what's going to happen is we're basically just throwing away troops at that point. We are getting raided. We can go deal with that. And let's back off our other army. Oh, he's actually coming in to siege. Well, let's deal with the raiders and then we'll come back down and deal with him. He's going to siege. He won't instantly siege it, so we'll have time. All right, there's a stack wipe on the stupid raiders. Let's go ahead and link up one tile away from where he is. And let's also keep an eye on Scotland. So it looks like he is going in the water. He may try and join this battle here, but I think we'll get there before he can. All right, here we go. We're going to go in together. So 6K versus 4K. We should be in great shape here if we can catch him. Yep, we got him right before he got off. And here comes Scotland. They're trying to join. They're going to be too late. They're going to get smashed here. Now, unfortunately, it's not a stack wipe, but it's pretty good. Let's see where Scotland wants to drop their troops off and see if we can meet him there. Yeah, it looks like we'll be able to get there in time. This might be a stack wipe because he's just getting off the boat. Anytime you come off the water, you get a very big debuff. Yeah, opponents recently disembarked, minus 30. That is huge. So stack wipe, please. And it's a stack wipe. So there's half their army. Now we pretty much control the battlefield. They have only 2,800 left. We have more than double. I still don't want to go in yet. I want to be able to stack wipe them. So rather than just kicking them off our land, I want to put them down once and for all once they come back and try and siege something else. And what we'll do is let's go ahead and move back into the interior so he feels comfortable sieging something. Maybe he'll come over here. Oh, there he goes. So let's see where he ends up. And then again, we're going to try and link up a couple tiles away so we don't spook him off of the tile. We're going to come in and destroy him. He's going to run, but we should be able to catch him. Oh no, our wife died. 49 years old. She wasn't even that old. Died in her sleep. What the heck? Maybe somebody murdered her. So we do need to get a wife because we were using her for our domain limit. Now this would be a horrible time to marry a young girl because now we're basically planning as if we don't have any issues with succession. So we're just going ham. If we get a young wife, we could have a bunch of kids and then they will end up being heirs. We definitely don't want that. So we're going to go infertile. We're going to look at all the people that are infertile or old, and we'll try and find one that's going to give us decent stewardship. So 57 is a little bit too old. I think 49, anything over 45 is good because they won't be having kids. This lady hates us. This lady kind of hates us. So we don't want somebody that hates us too much because then they'll have a chance of If somebody tries to murder us, she'll definitely join in the plot to kill us. So, and she's 51, she can't have kids. So we'll go ahead and take her. The bad thing here is it is going to knock us down with prestige because we're marrying somebody far below us. But we can counter that by spending a little bit of money. We'll just create some titles. So why don't we create Strathclyde? That'll pretty much negate that minus 300 that we were getting. And then we're going to give this title to somebody up here. This guy kind of doesn't mind us too much, so we're going to give it to him, and he will really like us now. Oh, no, he hates us even more. Oh, it's because we kicked him off of the council, I guess. Yeah, this says we'll actually lose the battle, so let's go ahead and fight him on more favorable terrain. The Wetlands has a debuff for the attacker. We want to go on either plains, or we want to fight him on something where... There, so we got a wife. Yeah, we want to fight him on somewhere where we're either defending a castle on bad terrain, or we're attacking into neutral terrain. So... Managed domain, we probably don't even need... No, we do. Yeah, so she's contributing a lot. Plus 10. So she's really helping us a lot. Yeah, having a good wife makes such a big difference. Marshall, we're going to go ahead and take this next one. Hit and run. This is going to boost the effectiveness of our archers and skirmishers, spearmen, all that. Alright, so he's going to head up this way. We're just going to shadow him. It says we're going to lose. Oh, it's because we don't have a commander. Holy crap. How do we have no commander in there? That's weird. All right, there we go. We'll see. It says we're even. I think we're going to smash this guy because we have so many troops. Yeah, pretty costly battle, actually. So we lost about the same amount of troops, but the thing is we outnumber him by a lot. So every troop he loses is pretty painful for him. So again, we're going to just hang back for a second. We'll try and take a more favorable fight here. Let's see if we can find a good one. There's another trick we can use. I think we'll do it on the next time he comes back. Let's see what he does. All right, he's heading over this way. Let's go meet him. And let's cut off his escape route. So he has to go further into our territory. Now, the further he goes in, the more likely it is he gets attrition. Like, he just got a big chunk of attrition right there. Over 100 troops. So you can't just walk past fortifications without taking attrition. Like, generally, you have to conquer your way through. Like, let's say I wanted to conquer this one. If I just walk past, I'm going to take a huge chunk of attrition. You have to conquer one of these so that you're touching the next adjacent county. So he's just going to keep going all the way through. He'll probably take another hit here soon. Oh, this is really good. If we can get him on this tile, we get defense, and it's on a hill tile. So it's going to be a big advantage for us. It's not going to be a stack wipe, but it's going to be another decisive win. And oddly enough, their troop number keeps going up, even though we're killing a lot of their men. I think they're either getting mercenaries or it's Scotland coming back, but I haven't seen them really show up yet. So again, let's hang back and wait before we start attritioning our men down on their fiefs. Let's go ahead and wipe them out. They're gonna go back this way. Yeah, here comes Scotland. We'll have to deal with that. Oh boy, we're gonna catch him? No. Now we definitely need to catch him before he links up with Scotland. Don't want that. So another pretty big win. We're getting comparable losses, which is not ideal, but not much we can do about it. We have to keep fighting him back. And we are going to catch him out. That's the stack wipe. Now, here's an opportunity to pick up a good combatant. So this guy is wandering around. We can throw him in jail. He's got 18 prowess. And because we threw him in jail, we can immediately tell him to join us again. Yeah, here he is. So we'll recruit him and he will join our ranks. That was Scotland gone again. And we actually captured the king. Yeah, they're down to 1,800 troops. They're down to the last little push. We gotta try and catch this guy again. Let's see if we can attrition him down. Oh, he's hiring mercenaries. Yeah, he just increased his troop count by quite a bit. We might be able to catch those mercenaries before they get on the water, though. And that'll be a stack wipe. They just threw away a bunch of money. We're gonna catch him before he gets on the water. Yeah, we're having a really hard time stack wiping these guys. I don't know why that is, but it might make sense to start sieging stuff down because this war is kind of dragging on a bit too long. And again, we're running low on prestige, so let's go ahead and create another title. And we'll just give it away. Yeah, let's start sieging down. If we have to, we'll jump off of it. But I don't see his army anymore. He might have given up. But we have a chance of dying here. Pretty high chance, actually. So we have a 60% chance to live. And we're spared. Interesting. Alright, they're fighting again. Yeah, they're gaining more and more troops. They just got 4,000 troops. Wow. Yeah, it's Scotland's going to be coming in. And if we don't stop him, then we're going to have issues. Let's go ahead and use our secondary. This guy's siege is not going all that well, so we're going to go ahead and switch. We'll let one of them stay on there. This siege should finish 4 months before we need to get off and attack this guy. This guy was going to take a really long time, so let's use him to go chase the Scottish down. We got 6 months on this siege. They have 10 months on theirs. I'm gonna jump off of this one because this is gonna take 8 months. It's gonna take too long, and I don't want them to join up together. Let's go and assign our successors so we don't lose the archer. I don't necessarily need to fight these guys. We just want to make sure they don't link up. So we'll just keep moving around to block them. Just keep denying him a chance to get out. It looks like he's going to get out. We're going to have to squeeze around some other way. Or, you know, we can join back up with this guy and try and get there before he links. This siege should end very soon. Yeah, that's done. Let's go back and defeat these guys. There's no way they reinforce in time. Yeah, so we did end up separating them in two, and we'll be able to stop the siege anyways. He's given up his siege so he can survive, but it's not going to last much longer. And it's not a stack wipe, but it is a pretty big win. Right, let's rush over there, and he's going to try and unsiege this, but we'll definitely get there in time. Fortunately, he's getting away into their backfield. Yeah, we're just going to have to fight him as one big army now, unfortunately. If we could take a fight here on the plains, that would be ideal. He's just barely going to squeak out, so we're just going to keep following him. Again, we could siege, but you're not going to beat the AI in a siege race unless you have better technology, and we definitely don't have better technology. So let's let them out. Let's see where they go. Now they are splitting, so if we can catch one by itself, yep, we're going to smash this guy. I don't think he's going to reinforce, but he will. Just in time too. But we're still going to win. Let's try and siege something down here while we're waiting. We keep losing all of our generals. I don't know, everybody keeps dying in battle. So we need to move back and get some supply. Our supplies were really low. Now they're starting to come in like they're going to attack, so let's go ahead and link both of our armies up. Nope, he's going to back off. Alright, they're going to try and siege race this. They've got 10 months, we've got 8 months. Might be enough time for us to finish and get over there and defend it anyways. Let's try it. And of course, we're getting attacked by Vikings. As I mentioned, they're going to do it at the absolute worst times possible. So we're going to have to go back and defend that at some point, but we want to finish this war. So what we'll have to do is we really have to keep an eye on the war score here with the Vikings. They can take a little bit of land, but we can't let them get 100% because then they'll end up taking the land from us. So we got to be pretty cautious here. Now this guy's only got 700 troops in this small stack. We could attack that stack and force him off of that land. We'll probably end up losing the battle. Oh, he's actually getting off. He's going to give up the siege. Yeah, we just kicked him off the siege just by maneuvering. So we'll join our forces again, just in case. He's not going to chase, so we're good. We'll go back and get some more supplies. Yeah, they're starting to siege us down. That gives us 85 war score. It's not enough to take the win, but we're pretty close. We don't get any more war score from battles because we're capped out there. So we have to take land to finish this. We can't just do it by destroying their armies. I'm wondering if we can keep baiting them. Let's try and take this piece of land, and we'll just keep trying to kick them off. Wow, Scotland's sending another army. They have 8,000 troops. No, that's the wrong one. They have 5,500 troops. That's insane how they keep managing to pull armies out of their butt. That's insane, man. Yeah, we don't really have a choice. We can't let them get those armies linked up. They just have too many troops. So we'll reinforce this one, and it looks like it's going to go our way, but it's a pretty tough one. And we have a and we have a rebellion going off. So on top of all that, Vikings, etc., we got to deal with a rebellion now. Let's try and section this guy off by himself again. See if we can stack wipe him. And we ended up dying. All right, so we have to replace all of our counselors. Everybody hates us. Now, we didn't let our son... Oh, we did let him get married. He didn't have any kids yet, though. All right, we're going to put our wife on managed domain. That gets us to 6 total. We're going to be over by 1, which is unfortunate, but not much we can do about it. We do have to give away a bunch of land because we got it through inheritance. So why don't we grant some of these... Now, as we give away land, we'll make people happier. We have a bunch of titles that we need to get rid of. So that puts us under the limit. We actually have exactly what we wanted to keep. So our succession was fine. The only problem is we're in 4 wars. Oh, we're in a holy war right now too. We are in so many wars right now. This is crazy. Oh, the Peasant Uprising disbanded. Holy crap, that helps. Yeah, that's really good. So that'll be that. The Vikings are about to take this piece of land. That gives them only 19 war score, so we should be okay. I think we're in decent shape. We really need to take more land and end this war as soon as we can. We need to get some prestige. I didn't create all these titles specifically for this reason. Your prestige, when you die, your prestige does not transfer over to your child. Only the money does. Prestige, piety, does not transfer over. You have to build it up each life. So we created a couple titles. We got a nice boost of prestige that's going to help us quite a bit. And we spent it to build up our troops. Let's do another title, and then we'll go ahead and give those titles away. So East Anglia, let's go ahead and give East Anglia away to somebody. They all kind of don't like us, so we're just going to give it to one of these guys that likes us a little bit more than some of the others. Yeah, he might be happy. Yeah, he actually is pretty happy now. The Welsh, need to get rid of this one. Give away Northumbria. It looks like one guy owns all of it anyways, so it kind of has to go to him. He's coming around to us, only minus 12. And then the last one is Mercia. Yeah, this guy doesn't mind us too much, minus 15. So he should like us quite a bit. There we go. Now, when you're filling your council positions, you generally don't want to have people dislike you because they could join in on a plot to assassinate you. So I didn't choose the best of the best. I basically just chose people that weren't going to hate me the least. Although the Stuart, I didn't have a whole lot of choices. So that's who we went with. If Scotland's coming in to join him, we need to not let that happen. There we go. We caught him before he got out. If we stack wipe, this should make a huge difference. No, it's not going to be. It's a tough battle. Alright, let's go. We got to relieve the siege here. This is going to be a close one. It says that they actually have even numbers, or even chance. And it's going to kick him off, but we want to fight it. Make sure he doesn't come back. We're so close, man, but we're going to actually have to leave. We're going to have to go fight off the Vikings. We don't really have a choice. If they take 2 more, we're going to lose everything. So we have to abandon the field. They will probably take back 1 or 2 pieces of land, but there's not much we can do about it. We do have some troops here for some reason. The nice thing about fighting the Vikings is we only have to wipe out their troops. We don't have to re-siege stuff back. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, they're for sure, these are going to siege our... Yeah, they're sieging our things back. So that's going to be gone. All of our progress is lost. We'll have to start from scratch again. So those Vikings are gone. Where are the other ones? Looks like they're getting ferried around. We'll have to meet them up here. They lost most of their troops. And they still have 200 and something, 225. We have to fight those guys before we're actually able to finish this war. So that is really unfortunate that we have to do this. Yeah, that war should have been done. Now they're taking back everything that we had. But that's how this game goes sometimes. They just pile it on. You just have to keep your cool, make good decisions, and then you'll come out ahead. This is so stupid, man. We're chasing this one guy around and we're just burning through our troops because we're getting attritioned. This is so stupid, man. Alright, we're going to split our army in half. So he has really nowhere to go. There, kidding me, man. And they... Oh, you're freaking kidding me. He just picked up allies. So now he's got allies we have to deal with. So we're unsieging some stuff. We got to go fight him. And this other war that we were winning, we had 85% war score. Now we're actually losing it because we had to spend so much time over here. Oh man, hopefully we have enough troops to actually come back. It's going to be a rough one though. We're losing so many troops to... But we can finally finish one war, that's the Danelaw War. We unsieged a couple things and then we are in good shape. So we're actually taking land from this. Interesting. Yeah, I guess it was an offensive war that one of our vassals was doing and then the vassal died, so we inherited the war. The Danelaw. Who owns land in the Danelaw already? No, it's a fresh one, so we'll give it away to somebody new. Alright, we really gotta end this other war. It's getting quite obnoxious. I knew it was gonna be a tough one, but I wasn't expecting these 20 other wars to pop off at the same time. But again, that's just how this game is. It always happens that way. Oh, and this guy's gonna finish his siege. Wow. He had like 3 months, and then the AI just cheated his way to instantly winning that siege, so we couldn't get it. Now, they're actually gonna win this war right now if we don't unsiege some stuff. I don't want them to link up, but we don't really have a choice. We have to unsiege. Yeah, that relieves a little bit of pressure. Let's go ahead and move our troops. Alright, we're gonna start taking land. We'll push them off once in a while, but we'll keep sieging down. We need to get some siege progress going. Now, they're low on supplies, which means they're gonna have a rough time fighting. So, actually, I don't want to fight. I just want to kick them off the siege. If we can kick them off the siege each time. And this guy's by himself, 800 troops. Yeah, we're gonna pick him off. So that's a stack wipe. They split their troops because they wanted to go siege somewhere else, so that actually was a good opportunity for us to go ahead and attack. So they're going to go siege down in Cornwall, no problem, have fun. We're just going to go ravage their lands, siege as much as we can. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and split... You know, let's keep our troops together. I think we'll do that. We need to work our way down to their capital. That'll make a big difference if we can take the capital. But you can see our war score swung drastically just by taking back the stuff that they sieged and then taking 1 fief. Pretty big difference. He's actually going to try and attack this, so we need to reinforce. We send our troops over, and we got there just in time. We're going to win that. We'll just keep sieging like that. Let's make sure we get supplies before we go back. He's going to try and unsiege, and we'll go reinforce. Another pretty nasty battle, but we kind of have to. Let's go siege some stuff that are nearby. So it looks like our wife had a kid with somebody else. We're going to throw her in the dungeon. Oh, we just took both of these, and it's enough to push us over the edge. So we're actually going to enforce demands and this horrible war. That was so bad. Oh man, but that's the stuff that makes the game interesting, I guess. So we don't quite have enough to form the Britannia. We need 10 more, but we're not far off. And there's a lot of easy targets. I mean, that was definitely by far the hardest one that we'll do. Everything else should be pretty much easy at this point. So let's clean up a few things. We have prisoners we can get rid of. Let's make a little bit of our money back. Transfer one of our vassals. Now we need to give away some land here. We can create these. So Cornwall, Kent, and Wessex. Let's create all of them. We've got plenty of money. That's going to give us a huge boost of prestige, which we desperately need. And then as far as giving these lands away, let's go ahead and give them away to somebody that actually likes us. This guy likes us. And I find the easiest way to make sure that you're giving away the right land is to go in this screen right here. So once you give away the first land, you scroll down and you look for the one that's highlighted. So the Kingdom of Wessex, the High Chiefdom, I mean, and then we're going to give everything that's underneath that. So that's everything within Wessex. We don't want to give him anything outside. That's fine. He'll be fine by himself. He'll be very happy for a while. Now, the same thing with Kent. Let's go ahead and grant this to somebody. So we give him High Chiefdom and then the 3 underneath. Now, this guy doesn't like us. He's the current Duke. We can give him his lands back. If we give him these 2, he'll like us quite a bit more. Yeah, he's almost at even right now, so that's not bad. And then same thing, who owns most of Weiss? We give him his lands back. That's actually it. He still didn't like us too much. It's fine. We'll deal with the rebellion if we have to. I mean, there's not a whole lot of... I guess we could have given it to somebody else that actually does like us. We're kind of in a point where we just want to steamroll everybody and get this campaign done with. So let's take the Dutchy. Clean up our borders here. And we took the capital and the war quickly. And what we could do, this guy wasn't too far away from liking us, so we can give him a little bit more land. That'll push him over to actually liking us, because he does own quite a bit of land. So we'll create the title there, and let's give it to him. And now he's plus 68. So he's pretty influential here. He owns a lot of land, and just by giving him 2 more pieces of land, he's now in our good graces, as they say. Let's go after the Earldom of Mon. He's got 4 pieces of land right here that we could take. It's going to have a bunch of vassals, but at this point, we just want to kick everybody out, and then we can worry about stabilizing our kingdom later. It's not that big of a deal right now. Let's go to war with these guys. Now, we are getting attacked by Vikings again, right in the middle of a war, but we should expect no less. And it looks like they want to take the same thing as they were going after last time. Again, we have time. Let's finish this war up north first. I really don't want to split our attention. We're going to instantly end that war. We don't have time to mess around. We got to go deal with these Viking invaders. Now, we took over a couple vassals there. So what we could do is try and give it to one of these guys. If they like us, they don't. So let's find a new vassal. Now, one thing, you always want to make sure you're not attacking across rivers and stuff like that. Rather than going straight in from this province, we're going to come from here. Actually, I don't know. Are we still getting... No, we're still getting a river crossing. So we'll go down one more and then do it. Yeah, now there's no river crossing. We're not going to get a debuff there. That'll help us a little bit. Oh, wow, that's a close battle. We're just going to squeeze out a victory and end it. Take our land back. And now we're at peace. Let's go ahead and zoom out and kind of see what we've got going on. Hopefully the game doesn't crash and we can actually play it this time. So this guy got spit out. It looks like it's very small. Unfortunately, split into 2 in a different county, so we can't do them both in one war. But that's going to be an easy target. So let's go ahead and take both of those. Yeah, so we can either do... That doesn't really matter. We'll just do a county war. Let's take Lancashire. We're only going to use men-at-arms. We don't need to raise all of our levies. It's just not necessary. Looks like somebody's trying to claim our throne, but doesn't look like it really did anything. It's interesting. We can create the Kingdom of England. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we can restore our Accolade. It's kind of expensive. Costs 300, but we did lose it, and we want to get that back. So let's go ahead and do that. Sell some prisoners. There. So we got our Accolade going again. Okay, so we found somebody that disliked us the least. We gave him a duchy and a county title, so he's pretty happy with us now. Looks like there's little things that are getting spit out here. They're breaking apart into a bunch of little things. So what we can do is we can chain war these. One thing you have to be careful, if you want to declare war on more than one person at a time, you have to do it all at once before you raise your troops. So for example, if I declare war here, and if I click raise the army, we can't declare another war. What we have to do is we have to go one by one, declare all these wars. There, so we got 3 wars at once. Now we can raise our army, and then we can split up and defeat them piecemeal. Actually, you know what we'll do is let's go down here. We'll take out everything that's kind of close to each other, just in case we need to reinforce. I don't think it's going to be a problem. These guys don't really have any troops. 68, 1, and 245. Yeah, they're pretty much hosed. We got 2 out of the 3 wars done. Let's go ahead and finish up this last one. There you go. All 3 wars are done. We got 100% across the board. There we go. All 3 done. We got 3 pieces of land out of it. We're going to give these recent conquests to this kid that we recently gave some stuff to. We'll make him even happier. He'll be a little bit stronger, but he'll definitely be on our side. Now, we're only 1 county short of being able to start the Empire of Britannia. And the only available target is going to be up here in Scotland. He has no allies, but he's got a pretty sizable force considering how small his kingdom is. But I think we could just do invade kingdom, take everything. I think we'll end up doing that. He's already at war with somebody, so his troops are raised. Let's see if we can catch him off guard. Okay, he's going to try and siege us down. Oh, he's going to get stomped right here. We'll start sieging him down. We'll keep our troops together to defend because I'm sure he's going to come after us. Looks like he might actually go off and just siege some stuff, which is fine. We'll group up and boot him off when it gets close to finishing, and then we'll just keep sieging their stuff down. So let's get into position so that we're not too far away. There's a siege done. Let's go ahead and work on their capital. And time to boot him off. So again, we just click where he is, like 1 tile near him with an overwhelming force, and he'll just leave. We don't actually have to fight him. We can just let him attrition his troops down while we siege everything down. But there's another win. He's starting to siege this down, so we'll set up on the mountains over here. We should be able to take about... Alright, he's getting a little bit close. And it looks like he actually wants to fight... Oh, you know, that one's not connected, so we gotta go down to this one. Yeah, he's not gonna back off, so we'll actually fight him. But we have a pretty big advantage here. We're defending. And there you go. Let's head back. Make sure we can defend our sieging forces. And that's the war. That's Invade Kingdom. We got everything. And now we can create the title Kingdom of Scotland and Empire of Britannia. Let's do both. Actually, let's just create everything. There's everything. So we are officially an emperor. We did it in, what, 867? Little under 50 years, it looked like. Wow, that was pretty fast. We're going to be able to finish up everybody. It's going to take a few wars, though, unfortunately, because they're in different parts of the map. So if we did Dutchy wars, we'd have to do it in 4 pieces for that guy. And then this one's only a single one. But we pretty much have control of the entirety of Britannia. So like I said, it's kind of trivial at this point what to do next. Obviously, we'll want to clean up the lands up here, give these away to somebody that can manage the vassals. We don't really have much of a succession issue at this point. We've only got 1 child. Our wife's in jail. Actually, can we execute her? Yeah, we could, but she's an adulterer. She deserves death, but that's all right. We'll let her live. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope you picked up a few things here on how to deal with succession, how to deal with tough wars, how to go from a single county up to an emperor. Hopefully this was helpful. We'll talk to you soon and see you in the next video.